Well, let's see. See if I'm live right now, dude. It's gonna take a minute. Well, let's see. Okay, I'm live. Dude. My god. It's been a little bit. It's unironically been a little bit, man. I know. I was gone for a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm back now. I'm back. Well, we still gotta go through a little bit of like the FCK shit, dude. We're only like what 5 hours through. But my god. What's up, J7? What's up, Art Clips? I saw Ace kick a grandma down the stairs. Nuh-uh, that wasn't me. What's up, Ace? What's up, Platinum Amex? Yeah, so we got a lot to go through still. Are you real? Yes, Graceful. I am very real. Very, very real. And this is the technically the 4th stream about this 9-hour video. But I'm making sure I go through all of it. My god, dude. But yeah, God, you left us without saying goodbye. I'm sorry, but I'm back. I'm back with the milk. I'm back with the cigarettes. All right, I'm back finally. Now, God, dude, I gotta stop taking like a little bit of long breaks, especially when I have something to do like consistently over and over and over again. But yeah, because now I gotta get through this and then the Toasty interview, and I guess now Lio Convoy dropped like something, a Nezzy monster thing, which is like an hour and a half as well, dude. This FCK shit, dude, I'm not gonna leave. It's never gonna stop, bro. Anything doing with the FCK, I feel like it's just not gonna stop. Which, again, nice break from Jar. But admittedly, before I go to the Toasty Vanilla call, I'm probably gonna just watch the Jar thing and then go back in the FCK so I can keep a nice little balance. God, dude, fucking hell, man. It's been a lot. It's been a lot, dude. We've got through like what, like fucking, like I said, like 5 hours through this video. So there's still like 4 hours left, bro. But yeah, I mean, one thing, before we start, dude, look at this really cool drawing, bro. Like this, dude. Nice to start off with some wholesome art, dude. It's really cool. I got like a little top hat, wearing a white hat, dude. Honestly, it's so good. I even made it my PFP. It's great. I love it. But yeah, I guess I don't want to be distracting us too much. We got to get straight into it. Get straight back in the loop of things. And yeah, this is pretty much where we were left off. Fucking around here, dude. See, look at that, dude. Almost a perfect 4 hours left, bro. My god. But you know what? No one can say I quit. I'm going through the fucking whole FCK thing with full commitment, full dedication, going straight ahead. All right, I'm covering this shit. Even if, it's been made very clear to me what they did was egregious and it's hypocritical and ironic of what happened, I'm still powering through it because I need all the context. I need every little bit of context. All right, no skipping here. All right, we're going through it. My god. But yeah, let me turn up the volume just a little bit for you guys, and yeah, let's fix the quality a little bit just so it's awesome for you guys. And dude, 1.25 speed. Let's go.
Way doesn't understand that.
I have no idea why she kept trying to spin this as if I was remotely attracted to her. She said in the Mad Libs video back in September of 2020 that I was acting like a stalker boyfriend.
See, he and his little friends were sneaking around in my Discord server. I kicked out one of said friends due to allegations of sexual harassment. And no joke,
Bro.
Almost immediately, Akumu contacted me and tried to explain to me that his friend did nothing wrong. So here's the thing. I was pretty tired, and I was also doing something else that was pretty important at the moment, so I was not taking him seriously that night. I even got to the point where for 5 straight minutes, I argued with myself over what Splatoon idol is better. Meanwhile, he kept going on his tangent about how awful me and my friends are. I guess he eventually got tired of me ignoring him and began insulting me. Meanwhile, I was still there fangirling over Callie. I'm honestly so amazed that during that whole damn thing, you couldn't take a goddamn hint. Bro, I'm sitting there talking to myself about cute girls and purposely ignoring you, yet your potato brain convinces you that you're such an intellectual you felt justified insulting me.
Dude, you were like actively letting false allegations be spread publicly. What the fuck is this cope? I was just really enjoying Splatoon while someone's getting slandered of sexual assaults. Dude, you were unironically, like, accusing someone of being a sexual harasser and just don't care. Like, again, like, you claim to have, like, a moral compass, but you just don't fucking care. You made it very clear that you don't care about serious situations. Like, fuck off, dude. Like, it's I mean, I don't know. It's one thing to tell Kumu Akuma to, like, fuck off, but, like, you just made it very clear that you just slander people for fun. My god, you suck.
Like, seriously? Did it ever just occur to you that maybe, just maybe, I was messing with you? I swear, never in my life have I encountered someone so dense. It doesn't even stop there. A few days ago, Akumu tried to contact me again. The conversation itself isn't important. What matters is afterwards. That night, I was exhausted, and all I wanted to do was play video games with my friend. I was not going to put up with Akumu. So I just deleted our conversation and I kicked him from my server. And then, like an obsessed boyfriend, he messages me on an alt account saying something like, "You'll never get rid of me." I did the same thing to that account, and then he adds me on Twitter, once again, singing the same tune. Akumu, listen to me. I don't know what your damage is, but I want nothing to do with you. I don't care about you, and frankly, you're acting like a stalker. You get so upset at the sheer mention of you. I can't imagine being such a sad fucking individual where you're at a point in your life that you're stalking a bunch of people you hate and watching their every move on your 70 plus accounts.
I never expressed.
Dude, you know what? 70 plus accounts. Wow, nice Snapcube reference. But you know, I should start taking that tactic, dude. I should just, like, start slandering people if they're like, "Hey, Space, what the fuck? Ace, why would you say that?" "Oh, you're obsessed with me, dude. You're obviously obsessed, dude. Fuck up. Like, fuck off, dude. Fucking hell."
Expressed any interest romantically or sexually towards her. My type has never been whiny lying whores. Then again, Xena, her friends in the art community, had themselves convinced I was into Madame and simping for her. So maybe that's where she got the idea from.
Use the flame retardant on your item. Yeah, I got it. Alright. Because I'm fucking stupid. Hold on.
What's up, Faceless?
Can we use this? Yes. Bro, it's been over a year, LMAO. Yeah. Can we throw this? Look inside fireplace. Yes. Alright, guess we'll throw
What's
those
up,
in there.
Solar?
Can we not throw them in? Huh.
Bro, I forgot about that. I forgot about that, bro. The fucking smoke alarm still, bro. This is awesome, bro. Come on.
Or do we have to do it while looking inside? Yes. There we go. The girl stopped crying. Oh, I guess we have to go out and check on her. Save this. Alright, guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. That's just... I'm so tired. I'm so fucking tired. Like, holy shit, how hard is it to respect someone's boundaries when they say leave me alone? It's really not that fucking hard.
She wanted to talk about respecting boundaries. You spammed my comments with degenerate copy pastas the same day your friend uploaded his hit piece. But boundaries, right? But I couldn't learn to take an L. You kept running your fucking mouth, and I told you all to leave it be, or I would just keep going. You specifically were told this on Twitter and in DMs.
Hold on. Akuma, you're still fucking here. This isn't about a relationship to a year of bothering you. The ovaries are on the ovaries are on this one. I'm only returning to the bullshit you and your friends threw at me. I'm not throwing any bullshit at you, Akumu. Literally, if this is about the Libby video, all I asked is for you to leave me the fuck alone, and you can't respect that. What the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus.
Art commentators where they're trying to be held accountable for fucking anything, dude. Holy shit, dude. That's why, like, this kind of, like, pisses me off a little bit. And I know, like, it's like gonna be like the same stuff, but, like, really, dude, it's, you cannot even take it, like, say I'm sorry for, like, what you did. It's like, you want other people to do that, you expect other people to do that, but when you fuck up, you're perfect and you make no mistakes. So when people hold you to that, it's just you're being gay. Like, I just want to be left alone. Dude, you unironically are throwing stones in a you're throwing stones in a glass house, dude. Fucking hell. All these people are jokes.
God damn it. I'm so fucking tired.
Didn't Miss ZZ groom a minor? Or was it appropriate a server full of minors? I think you're talking about like the FCK where like specifically where a lot of people were talking and even tagging like slimmers and like having like porn be shown in there, if that's what you're referring to. That's such a funny thing to say right after. It's like, dude, this person can't take accountability. Didn't this person groom a minor? Dude, fucking dude. God.
And holy shit, this isn't about a relationship. I'm fucking kidding, Akuma, but you know how to take a joke. Block them. Trust me, guys, I am. I'm blocking him from my account. I'm blocking him from this chat. And like I said,
wait, you're talking about being in a relationship with a minor? What the fuck? Akuma's only a teenager. He's a young blood. Dude, and you're a grown woman. What the fuck?
Get on their multiple fucking accounts to ignore me.
Now, because of this hysterical fucking tantrum, she ended her live stream just 5 minutes later, telling me to fuck off. This is where we make our way into 2021, starting off on January 5th. Name's Junkie, with the help of someone named Phantom Heart, put together a video on the Toby drama, in which he sought to be fair to all parties involved, to detail all grievances, and whether he did or didn't is very debatable. However, Junkie and Phantom went around doing interviews with people about it, one of which was Toasty Vanilla, and the interview is rather damning. And I have the entire thing. It too will be re-uploaded and within the playlist below. Considering it's 2 to 3 hours, it was of course clipped and cut down for the video. January 22nd, 2021. Nezzy Monster released a twit-longer apology. So drama from a couple of months ago that I do need to clarify. A couple of months ago, I apologized for not handling a situation correctly. I banned someone for sending a shirtless photo to another individual without permission. I reacted hastily. I undeniably panicked and warned the server. Someone then came to me saying that I was falsely accusing his friend and proceeded to send me screenshots that were not related to the situation and in fact from months before. They decided to wait and make a video showing the screenshot proving otherwise instead of showing me then and there to clear the air and rectify the situation. I let them talk and they decided to withhold information for some kind of gotcha moment. However, I am still at fault. I should have calmed down and properly looked at the situation. I've already apologized for how I handled the situation before knowing this, but I want to apologize again. I did not intend for this to happen, nor did I have any malicious intent. I apologize to the individual I banned in causing panic in my server. It will not happen again. Have a nice day. Perhaps you've already caught the plethora of issues with this twitlonger, but I'll break it down. The first problem with this twitlonger is that nowhere in it does she state that she accused Person A, that she accused this guy of sexual harassment. She says that she banned him and announced it and warned the server, but she does not clarify what she specifically said that he did, which was apparently that he had sexually harassed a member of the server. She does not state that she accused him of that, and she does not apologize for falsely accusing him. No, she instead apologizes for the fact that she banned him and acted hastily and didn't properly look at the situation, almost as if she's trying to tiptoe around what she did and avoid people connecting the dots on what I'm accusing her of and what she did with this apology for what she apparently did. But if I accuse her of that, well, then it's a bad faith assumption. A couple of months ago, I apologized for not handling a situation correctly. She never apologized. She didn't even fully retract the claim, let alone admit she was even wrong. Nezzy Monster claiming that she apologized months prior is a complete fucking lie. She's just whipping the shit up, saying it, so it looks like she actually apologized for it. Because I have everything. The August 25th announcement, the day after she falsely accused Person A of sexual harassment, she didn't say she was sorry. She didn't apologize. She didn't use any of those words. She doesn't even clarify that she falsely accused him of sexual harassment in the announcement. No. What she does is she clarifies that he's not evil, but she won't be tolerating his behavior and not to attack him because he's underage. That's not an apology. So where is this mystical apology? Because it wasn't on her Twitter account, wasn't on her YouTube. She proceeded to allow Toby in the live stream on September 16th to claim that I was falsely accusing her of making false accusations.
No, it's no allegations. It's just somebody who's trying to currently ruin Nezzy's life by doxing her. So ignore him, please, guys. Thank you. Moving on.
Pretty much.
It's rewind time.
Pretty much.
And then she gave 6 screenshots out of the 16 that I gave her to Mad Libs, so Mad Libs could say that I was falsely accusing her of making false accusations.
Yeah, the static.
Now we're going to move on to Nezzy Monster. Now, she didn't actually want to be in this video in person, but I'm still going to be talking about her experience with this kid regardless, because it's probably the worst of them all. Now, obviously, this all started when she and Connor Sprocket released a 2-hour collab, ripping his Slimmers video.
Fucking Nezzy striked first. What are you on about, dude? Come on. Like, dude, these people are fucking pussies. They'll like, fight first with their bigger platforms, but then they respond, right? Akumu probably, realistically, got like a few thousand views, right? Unironically, right? This is just like a testament to like their sensitivity, because it's like, unironically, if Nezzy Monster just ignored like Akumu, like nothing would have came from it. Nothing really would have happened. I don't think like fucking like they would have got more shit from Akumu if they just simply ignored them. Because like Akumu at best was probably getting a couple thousand views. Well, like this literally has like over 100K or something like that. So their videos, right? Like I forget exactly what was on like Nezi's channel, but it's like they get lots of views, they do well for themselves, right? If they literally ignored Akumu, they wouldn't be in this situation right now. But their ego was shattered by not even like a 100 sub channel at the time, and they felt like that they had to be right against them. So they kept going and kept going, and now they fucked themselves. They kept making mistakes and they fucked themselves. It's kind of funny. Fucking hell.
And harassment of her to absolute shreds. And he of course responded to the video in both a comment and a sloppy, hastily made video that came out about a week after theirs. After that, it was apparently all well and good. He only DM'd Nezi a couple times to ask how's that L, as she's told me in voice chats. These conversations have since been deleted because she's blocked him because she no longer wants to deal with his harassment. He also probably bugged her on his old Twitter accounts, but those accounts have been suspended because he breaks the rules all the time. While all that may have been deleted, I'm sure it was just typical Akumu spamming. What hasn't been deleted, however, is his most recent little tantrum he's throwing at Nezi, one that has been going on for about a month now. And guess what he's doing now? That's right. Spreading false allegations. And what false allegations is he spreading about Nezi?
Ironic.
That she spreads false allegations. Allow me to explain.
That's
About a month ago, somebody in Nezi's server made another user uncomfortable by sending inappropriate photos to them. This first announcement has been deleted because she did update the announcement later, which I will show. Now, these images were not pornographic, and she specifies this, but the user did send inappropriate topless photos of himself to another member of the server.
So that Madlibs could double down on the sexual harassment claim. That was September 29th. So at what point did she previously apologize? Because nothing was said about it after in October, November, or December. I banned someone for sending a shirtless photo to another individual without permission. If she's admitting to being wrong, why is she still phrasing it as though he didn't have permission to send the photo? That's a little odd. I reacted hastily. I undeniably panicked and warned the server. Someone then came to me saying that I was falsely accusing his friend and proceeded to send me screenshots that were not related to the situation and in fact from months before. She's referring to yours truly. And the reason these screenshots were from months before was because the very incident where the shirtless photo was sent to another individual, that incident happened in June, she learned of it in August and banned him in August. Obviously, if I'm going to send you screenshots that are in relation to the event, they're going to be from months before. You fucking idiot. They decided to wait and make a video showing the screenshot proving otherwise, instead of showing me then and there to clear the air and rectify the situation. I let them talk, and they decided to withhold information for some kind of gotcha moment. Here's the kicker, folks, and this is where Nezi just shot herself in the fucking face. She said that I decided to wait and make a video showing the screenshot proving otherwise. And the video that she's referring to is my response to Madlibs, and particularly the segment responding to the Nezi Monster segment where the false sexual harassment accusation was peddled once again. And here's a little fun fact, by the way. All 16 screenshots that I sent Nezi Monster in our DMs on August 24th, I used in my video responding to Madlibs. All 16 of them, not a single one less. If the screenshot in that video disproved it, that would be the same exact screenshot that's in our fucking DMs. The screenshot where Teddy told person A to send here, which anyone can go fucking look back and see it's right there in our DMs. I should have calmed down and properly looked at the situation. I have apologized for how I handled the situation before knowing this, but I want to apologize again. I did not intend for this to happen, nor did I have any malicious intent. If you didn't intend for it to happen, why did you refuse to admit to being wrong? I took this to Twitter. You all said that it was harassment because I was accusing you of what you did publicly. I had another conversation with you in your server, Nezi, and you still refused to admit to being wrong. That was the same day that you were on the live stream with Toby, where Toby was denying that you were making false accusations. So if you knew it was false and that you made false accusations, why were you denying it September 16th? Why were you allowing Toby to deny it on your behalf on that live stream? If you knew that you were wrong then, and you apologized for what you did then, why did you allow Toby to say that I was falsely accusing you of making false accusations? And why did you allow Madlibs, in the video that she made, in the segment defending you, to say that exact same thing? Your story's not adding up here. Accusing someone of something that you know is false and refusing to admit you're wrong is malicious. But because the SEC had this cope of, well, if I just say I didn't have any malicious intent, you can't say I had malicious intent because you don't know my intent. Actions speak louder than words. I apologize to the individual I banned for causing panic in my server. It will not happen again. Have a nice day. Nezi had person A blocked. He would have never seen this twit longer had I not shown him. She didn't have me blocked. That's the kicker. As mentioned previously, Nezi Monster sent 6 screenshots to Madlibs, and 2 of them wound up in Madlibs' video, but none of them were the screenshot of Teddy telling person A to send the photo, proving that it was Nezi Monster who withheld the screenshot from Madlibs, which is just ironic considering Nezi claimed in that twit longer that I withheld it from her. That's not all, folks, because Omega Slime, who used to be an FCK member, replied to Nezi Monster with this. But you didn't apologize to him, though. I literally just did. That was the whole point of this. I did it multiple times. I would have apologized sooner if I didn't have information literally literally withheld from me. So here she
Cope.
is repeating the same thing that she said in the Twitlonger. You mean this information you got months ago? You're blatantly just lying at this point, plus you have person A blocked. If you really wanted to apologize, you would have unblocked him so he would have seen this. And in his Twitter reply, he has a recording that I gave him of me and Nezzy Monster's DMs. So what did Nezzy Monster say in response to a literal top to bottom, or bottom to top technically, recording of our DMs? 1, I have him blocked because he was sent to stalk me, as Akumu literally admitted.
Bro.
2, I got a cropped screenshot saying, send here, and that's it. The situation is done. I fucked up, and I admit that. I have apologized publicly. We're done here. At no point did I ever say, claim, or admit that I sent person A to stalk Nezzy Monster. Are you seeing the early reoccurring theme here? It's either I'm stalking Nezzy Monster, or I'm one of her stalkers, or I'm sending people out to stalk her. The perpetual victimhood is never ending. And this was just in 2020 and 2021. And then her claiming that she only got a cropped screenshot that said send here, and that was it. That's a fucking lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie that she can see in the recording that she's replying to. Nowhere in that recording do I admit to sending person A to stalk her. Just throwing claims out there with no proof, or contradicting a fucking recording that was just given.
You know, that's really ballsy to just be able to just lie while you literally have all the DMs scroll through right there. Dude, Nezzy's a fucking insane beast, bro. Non-stop lying, bro. What the fuck?
To her just to keep supporting the lie that she's trying to peddle to the public. But if I accuse her of lying, it's a bad faith assumption. Shortly after Nezzy's Twitlonger, Madlibs uploaded a mistake in my Akumu video. Considering how short it is, I'll play the whole thing.
Hey guys, it's Madlibs again. I'm really sorry about all the fucking downer uploads lately, but this is something that I feel needs to be addressed. Recently, somebody came to me with concerns about a segment in that video I made about Akumu. They sent me a screenshot which proved that I made a huge mistake in the Nezzy Monster segment. There was a screenshot that proved that the person in question, whose name I censored in the video and whose name I'm still not going to say directly, did ask before sending the shirtless photo of himself. I had never seen this screenshot. No one ever sent it to me. If I had seen it, I would not have included that segment in the video at all, or I would have heavily rewritten it. The girl who this happened to has been talked to, and she says that she was still made uncomfortable, and
Poor research. See, I don't get like why people would even think that that's a good excuse to use. Like, poor research is not a good excuse for a video, right? Like, maybe you could try to say it for explaining, but like that's not going to alleviate criticism. It's gonna be like, oh yeah, this person just didn't check all the facts before making the video. Yeah, they're good. They're good. Like, why would you think that? That doesn't work.
I'm not trying to say that her feelings are invalid. If she was uncomfortable, she was uncomfortable. However, since the way that I wrote the segment was heavily reliant on the misinformation that the person did not ask, I feel like it would be wrong to keep it in because it is spreading misinformation. I was going to wait until my video where I come back to talk about this. I was going to have a segment at the end where I apologize for all mistakes that I've made regarding current and past dramas. But Akumu has been making videos claiming that I'm cut it out because I'm trying to hide it and trying to act like nothing ever happened, completely ignoring the fact that there is a pinned comment on the Akumu video acknowledging and apologizing for my mistake. But I can understand how that can come off as me trying to hide it. So I wanted to say it in a video. I made a huge mistake. I did not look as deeply into the situation as I should have. I acknowledge that mistake, and I apologize. I'm not going to say the person's name because, again, I censored it before and I don't want to put his name out there all of a sudden. But since I'm sure he's going to be watching this, I'm very sorry that I ran with misinformation. And I'm very sorry that I put that out there. And I just... this whole thing's been a mess. Anyway, I felt like it was only appropriate to address this in an actual video instead of like a post or something. So yeah, there was a big mistake there. I have cut it out of the video, not because I'm trying to hide it, but because I felt like it would be wrong to just keep that in the video when I know that it's wrong, because new people who come to the video aren't going to see the pinned comment all the time. So I just want to put this there, cut it out of the video, and take control of the big misstep that I made. Once again, to the person that I accidentally spread misinformation about. And I'm not saying accidentally because, oh, it was an accident. Don't get mad at me. It was a fucked up mistake that I made. So to that person, I am sorry.
Madlibs had then removed the Nezzy Monster segment from her video, and I, at the time, in 2021, believed that Madlibs had knowingly made the false claim, and was just trying to hide it or cover it up. So I did accuse her of that in a couple of videos. That accusation was false. Madlibs was just misled by Nezzy Monster. That doesn't vindicate the rest of the other issues with her video from September of 2020, and trust me, I'll be getting into them in a separate video. But it was still misinformation that I put out. My fuck up. Overall, there were quite a few events in 2021 that aligned the stars for what you're watching right now. 2021 was the same year that I kept mentioning discussing the possibility of me making a retrospective series on the FCK and what really took place in 2019 and 2020. Only if the art and slideshow communities, because they're totally so different, and their audience kept pushing the narrative from the FCK and Co. That was the prerequisite for me to make this series. If they left it be and actually moved on from the situation like they had constantly told me to, I wouldn't make it. They did not move on, and I'd like to show you just a few examples of that. February of 2021, specifically on the 9th, there was a group chat comprised of several people. The priority names are Communist Creeper, Call Me Neil, and Carmen Rider. Now, the earliest mention of me is actually from Carmen Rider, who said, "So, Fry told me that Akumu was giving you problems, ? And Lena said yes. He showed me a comment from your video, because I commented on Lena's video. Carmen then says, "I know about Akumu from Madlib's video, so I'm aware of his antics. Is he doing anything else to harass you?" "No, but I fear that he'll likely dox me." "Alright, well if he does bother you / dox you, you can let me know. I'm not going to be afraid to bring him to light. He may be a doxer, but if I remember correctly, he's a kid, and I'm not going to let some kid ruin people's lives." Thank you so much, Carmen. You're welcome. I'm glad people are joining my side. I will be away from my PC at 1 p.m. CST, and a bit after, but if something happens with Akumu or Luke, just let me know. If there was something that I've done, I would admit to it. It's one thing for Luke to get himself into petty drama. It's another thing for Akumu to dox people over said drama. Yeah, I know that, and I don't have any money for a VPN. I have $84 in my account. I know there are ways to get a cracked VPN, but either way, we can't have him getting involved. What sickens me is that, ironically enough, Akumu used to be a fan of Jar, one of the people Luke threw under the bus. Akumu even harassed him and doxed him too, so
yeah, can you evidence? Proof?
apparently, I also harassed and doxed just a robot. Wait, so if I'm getting this correctly, Akumu harassed Doodletones over something related to Jar, which is funny since Jar most likely doesn't even care about Doodletones anymore, but then he doxed Jar as well? How does that even make sense? I do remember that someone did attempt to dox Jar over the drama with Timos Boss, but I don't know if it was Akumu or not. It's possibly Akumu. Probably. Basically, they were trying to show his real face, when in reality they show the old channel owner's face. The person who doesn't even mind their face being shown. I can't believe this man is still going. That's actually funny. But sad. Oh, and that as well. Part of me wants to laugh at how ironic it is, but another part of me knows how sad and pathetic it is. The conversation continues.
Yeah, like a little side thing. I remember these because, what was it, like a little bit ago? I literally like had like a conversation with like Manga Comment about it. Never had like a follow-up or anything like that. But it was so dumb because apparently Manga Comment would use the argument of, "No, I never actually accused Akumu of being a doxer. I just said to someone, hey, just in case he does dox you, call the cops." And I always thought, dude, that logic is stupid. You are literally, you're insinuating that he's a doxer. Otherwise, why say it? Why say it? And Manga Comment acted like it was okay, like if that was said to him. But it's like, you know, even if I take it to an extreme, right? You know how, like, evil it would be if I'd be like, hey, ma'am, just in case Manga Comment grooms you, make sure to call the authorities. All right, make sure you're safe. Obviously, he'd have an issue with that. And then, but like, I would sound stupid if I hit him with, "I'm not calling you a groomer. I'm just saying, just in case if it happens, this is what you should do. All right, I'm not saying you are one, okay? I'm just saying, just in case if the situation were to take place, this is what you should do." It's like, it was really dumb. It was really dumb because obviously, the insinuation's obvious. The implications are obvious. So it's like, I don't know what the fuck he was on when he was arguing with me that day.
On a little bit about some shit that I don't care about, nor do I even remember what it was about. Fry then says, "If he doxes me, I'm going to beat the shit out of him." And Lena says, "If he doxes all of us, then guess who we're gonna get?" And then Fry says, "And reporting him to the authorities." That I can probably do, but I can't really sue him since lack of funding. Plus, I'm not gonna sue a teenager. Either way, if his parents catch on to his doxing and shit, then he's probably not gonna see a cell phone until he's 35. Oh my god. I said, guess who we're going to report Akumu to? Well, the authorities, of course. Well, the first person is just a robot. Oh, him too. And then after that, we get him into a Discord call with Akumu, and then tell him to call the cops on himself. That way he'll be arrested. Oh, however, we must find out where he lives. If we do find that out, we should probably keep it between us and law enforcement. He may be an asshole, but I doubt his parents deserve the harassment from a potential dox. Has he made any threats to you, Lena? Well, that's helpful. No. Considering he's doxed people before, he probably wouldn't be so open about it. Or how did you have any word of this video? He didn't upload the video yet, and he didn't say anything recently to me. Like, how did you know he was making one? Fly Die Sky told me because she's a detective of him and a friend of Doodletones. Do you know how long it's going to be or any other info? No, I don't know how long it is, nor do I have any information on the situation. Because of the doxing claim that the FCK peddled, especially Ponder, Nezzy, and Madlibs' videos, Carmen and Lena were gleefully imagining me getting arrested and beat by the police in front of my family for doxing. For context, they, mostly Lena, were pushing Call Me Nil to make a video on me, whilst telling Nil I might dox him because of it. That if I were to dox Lena or Nil, they could just call the cops. That my mom would give me a whooping when the cop gets there. Okay, editing me here, because I just now noticed what Lena said at the top of this screenshot. Common even told me that if he ever tries to dox you or anybody like your parents or friends, call the cops. This was said in the group chat after Lena was on stream with Sin and Common, where Common, while drunk, was running his mouth about me. If I believe that there is possibly some credibility here, it is Lena, and anything she says should be taken with a massive grain of salt, but it was said right after being on a stream with Common where he was running his mouth about me, so it wouldn't shock me if he did say this. Nowadays, nobody really knows the definition of accountability. It's crazy. There it is. The art and slideshow community's favorite fucking word. Or if the mom allows this shit, both her and him get an ass whooping from the cops. God, I'm just picturing it in my head and it's fucking hilarious. Lamau. Score one for me. Just a kid and his mom being pummeled by batons before getting dragged into 2 separate patrol cars. I would grab my popcorn for that. Me too. Just a lovely sight I would watch for sure. I would even record it too. This was all because lovely Lena thought I would dox her or Nil because of Ponder the fucking fruitcake cocks. But Akumu, do you have proof of that? You can't blame them without proof. The same day they said this shit about me getting beat by the cops and arrested in this little group chat of theirs, I got into a comment slap fight with lovely Lena, where she specifically brought up Madlibs and Ponder's videos. On the 13th, someone on Twitter told Nil that Akumu has tried to dox a minor before by asking someone to do the doxing for him. And of course, linking part 1 of Ponder Sprocket and Nezzy Monster's fucking collab. February 21st of 2021, Carmen Ryder shared Madlibs' A Year of Harassment and Accusations video and the announcements of his Discord server. So yes, this absolutely was a direct result of the lies and false accusations that Ponder, Nezzy Monster, and Madlibs propagated about me. Some will say, but that's Lena and Carmen Ryder. The community doesn't like them, as a means of avoiding my point, especially when it comes to the delusional sense of internet justice. Lena was all over the place and originally liked by the majority. She was even one of the people who reacted to Nezzy Monster's announcement about Person A. Details matter, folks. Details matter. The point is, Carmen, Lena, and this group chat are just a few examples out of the many from what I've had to deal with as a result of this community smear campaign, from them fear-mongering their own community about some mean 16-year-old. It was February 28th of 2021 that the name's Junkie took to Twitter to complain about Rin, who was going by the name of Jesp at the time. He was accusing Rin of doxing. How? Because, quote, you leaked the actual funeral home that's holding the burial and cremating the body. How did Ren leak this? By showing information from the public GoFundMe page to do with the situation that Ren was discussing. So Ren is at fault for sharing it in a video, not because it was publicly listed on the page to begin with. Mind you, Junkie himself also shared this information publicly, yet Rin doing it was a problem for him. Another rules for thee, but not for me. How many have you counted so far? How about August 27th of 2021? Kai Weiss and a couple of the art audience were mocking me for having the Twitter username of Pariah. Pariah means outcast. A friend of mine named Vera made the point that I was in fact outcasted by the community, to which someone else by the name of Lindata, or Linlins as he now goes by, an ex-SCC member, big shock as you'll see, replied with this. As I said, if someone responds to being called out for being transphobic with I won't bow to your ideology, he is outcasted. But given how he labels himself a pariah in a desperate attempt to play the victim card, he got what he deserves. Bitch, you got outcasted for a good reason. Transphobes are not people. Simple. Going on about how transphobes have no right to be more than property. You know, if I really, really wanted to be as pathetic as you people, I could pull the identity politics card. How dare you tell someone with African American descent that they have no right to be more than property? Who's the bigot now? But unlike you...
Okay. Lin did not think that one through. Fucking hell.
People, I don't base my entire personality around some specific attribute of what gender I think I am, I tell myself in the mirror, or what race I am. Point is, he was throwing a tantrum over my refusal to use preferred pronouns, and then compared me to fucking Elliot Rodger, and that I was an incel with, quote, ashes cum stain on my nose, referring to Madame or Princess Ash. Which in and of itself is contradictory. How am I involuntarily celibate if I'm engaging in sexual activities? It's not supposed to make sense or be coherent, because it wasn't coherent. It was unbridled seething, because I took pride in being the outcast. I enjoyed not fitting in and not seeking this crowd's approval, and because I didn't placate to their beliefs in copium. Tantrums over pronouns and my refusal to participate in the preferred pronoun charade has been a reoccurring thing, and will continue to be as we go through this. September 2nd of 2021. Holy Majesty and Kai were arguing with Sin, to which Majesty replied, the daycare called Sin. They said they forgot your diaper. So naturally, I told Majesty to hit up Doodle Tones for that he may be mistaken.
Mr.
Majesty
Sen?
and Fox replied, and that turned into a spat between me and Majesty before someone by the name of Fegos joined in. I replied to Majesty with, you're denying the circle jerk argument. You want to tell me the CC isn't one big circle jerk, especially behind the scenes. If you think it isn't, either ignorance is bliss or you're delusional. Not to worry, a ball buster of a project, it's on its way. All will be aired. You're borderline delusional if you think that I'm doing some kind of hanky-panky, hokey-pokey bullshit behind the scenes, especially considering that very little has happened as of recent. If you're gonna report
Dude, the amount of names here that just don't exist anymore is actually insane. I mean, fuck, yeah, it's just kind of crazy. Also, Mr. Sen is really gay, dude. Fuck him, dude. Fuck that guy.
on anything, report on something that has actual value, not the commentary community. If you think there's something criminal that the entire commentary community has been doing, be my guest and talk about it. But if it turns out a nothing burger like half of your videos, I'd suggest turning your attention towards helping your IRL communities, or something like
Let's see. Every time I agree with Akuma's side, he pulls out his transphobic opinions, and I just feel guilty. Well, to be honest, as long as you can make the separation between, like, because the core of the situation, right, is that these people in the FCK are full of hypocrisy, that they're full of, like, fucking, they're hypocrites, they're ironic, it's ironic, it's irony, it's insane, right? Because admittedly, right? Yeah, I don't agree with everything that Akumu has, like fucking his standards and all that shit, right? But I still respect that he's upfront and honest about it. I don't know, I prefer someone who's not fucking fake, I guess, would be the way to go about it. Which I'm not gonna go out of my way to say this guy fucking sucks. Never support this guy. I mean, no. I mean, him and I may just have some simple disagreements, but overall with the FCK stuff, it's filled with a bunch of hypocrites that have been running by double standards or purity testers and moral grandstanders who unironically had a whole server full of kids get groomed. So it's yeah, that side's always gonna be worse. Every single time, that side's gonna be worse because children were harmed. So it's just because he happens to have his own political beliefs, it's I don't know. I don't think that discredits from the points that he's saying that has nothing to do with that. So I don't know. I'm not too bothered by it, I guess. It's agreeing with someone that the murderer shouldn't have murdered a dude, and that same person then turns around and says something I don't like gays. That sounds like a Family Guy bit. Real.
like that. Because after all, the best burn you have on any of us is that half of us are terminally online, using our time to make vapid videos arguing with each other. That is literally all it's been since the start, and pretending there's more than that is a delusional mindset, born out of a mentality that all must be uncovered. There's really not much aside from the spare 3 or 4 accusations with potential legal repercussions, but that is literally all that I'm aware of, and I've been around for a while. Keep playing detective and wear yourself out. I never said it's only this community. How many times are you going to suggest something to respond to? I said there are major issues in this community and a recipe for a lot of things that unfold within it, and it's not just a handful of people. It's among the masses. You sound like a conspiratorial nut on the radio. It's not as much among the masses as you think, my dude. It's got its pockets with people doing different things, some better, some worse. That's all that exists. Blanketing the entire commentary community under one slew of fodder doesn't help. I said, not really a conspiracy when I've spent the last few months building evidence galore of it, but do you have time to come on a stream today? We can exchange ideals and I'll show you what I mean. To which Fego said, depends on what time. I'll be busy later in the day. And I said, when are you available? Any time from now to say 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I said, how does 2:30 sound? Sounds good. And Boxafox actually replied to Fegos because they were friends and said, hey, let me know when the stream happens so I can listen at work. I need a good try not to laugh challenge in my cubicle. I wonder, are you laughing now? And Fegos then replied again, actually, I'd be busy around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I said, so is 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time good for you? And Fegos then replied, maybe an hour earlier. We then added each other on Discord, and I set up the live stream and the call that I held on StreamYard, where we discussed the same topic we did on Twitter. This community's double standards and its cover-ups for their favorite people. Fegos obviously disagreeing with me. He thought the idea of cover-ups and secret things happening behind the scenes was conspiratorial nonsense, and that it was a very over-exaggerated and ridiculous idea about this community. I apparently deleted the stream, but I have no recollection of ever doing this, nor can I think of a reason as to why I would. Then, on October 15th of 2021, during a debate about gender that I was having with a Twitch streamer named Bunk, a debate that was held because the aforementioned communist creeper kept starting shit with me and then pulled an Ethan Klein and had someone else argue in his stead. Someone appeared in the chat. Someone who was grandstanding me about maturity back in March of 2020.
Oh yeah, Heaton.
20.
Hold on.
Someone appeared in the chat. Someone who...
All I'm hearing from this kid is, I think logically, like all you big kids, I am allowed to sit at an adult table now. Give it a few more years, Akumo. You'll have the world figured out eventually, but at 16, you're not quite logical enough yet. Totally nothing smacks more of immaturity to me than this kind of talk. It's someone who just doesn't know how the world works. Fuck you, Hayden. Fuck you.
Who was grandstanding me about maturity back in March of 2020. Heaton Mitsuru, a friend of Nezzy Monster and Doodle Tones, an ex-slideshow commentator, because she left as of 2024, and an orbiter of both the art community and Lao Convoy, had popped into the live chat of this debate. And guess what? Heaton immediately brought up the Madame and Slammer situation in the live chat, to then accuse me of attempting to dox a minor. I wonder where she could have gotten that from.
Bro.
On October 22nd.
Heaton, you fucking suck, dude. I don't know. Like, I did not have, like, a great experience with fucking Heaton. They were very malicious, like, to me as well. Like, this was, like, months ago, dude. But the fucking Dr. Crafty stuff I covered from, like, a couple months ago. Essentially, Dr. Crafty, like, they had this whole case where he was, like, trying to come back, like, on a different alias, and, like, Bath was, like, housing them or whatever. And it was, like, the whole, like, this was the person that ended up essaying a woman. And I guess, like, according to Dr. Crafty, he didn't understand, like, the signals or something, but fully admitted to it, right? But this person was trying to make a comeback after, like, getting help or some shit, right? And essentially, at the time, I was like, fuck, I think I reached out to Baths to see if I could ask about some things, right? And I gave it, like, a little yes or no, right? I didn't, like, be like, you gotta come on the stream or else. Like, I never did anything like that, because that's gay. I always, like, give, like, you know, the way out. But, like, I don't even care that Heaton was, like, defending Bath. That's fine. I didn't even have any issues with Bath. I just wanted to ask some questions for clarity, for, like, you know, so I can understand some stuff. And yes, I happen to be streaming, so it's going to be on stream. But when I asked Heaton, because then people, you know, brought up the fucking Chuli video, so I looked into that. I couldn't find any, like, public testimonies or, like, anything from Heaton, so I did, you know, I cut, you know, to the easiest way and just kind of went to their DMs and asked. In the same breath as to admitting to, like, being, like, you know, abusive in that relationship, they come to me and, like, frame what I did for reaching out for context as I was trying to drag a frightened 28-year-old woman onto stream for content, and I didn't care. And it's like, what? Dude, okay, how the fuck, first off, how the fuck can you play the moral high ground after admitting to being an abuser, essentially, to me? But then, afterwards, frame something so fucking maliciously. Dude, like, that really pissed me off. That really fucking pissed me off. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not, like, too fond of them. But yeah, I know they're not gonna look great in, like, the FCK stuff either, because I know they're in the server. But I guess we're just gonna see how much they were involved. Also, what's up, Gokata? Like, fucking hell, dude.
At 8 a.m., Vegos tweeted, "Can't believe I willingly said yes to being on a fucking debate stream with Akumu. After looking into him, it's pretty clear to me that he's pretty cringe and not based." I replied with a question mark, and he said,
based.
"You're kinda gross, sorry. Go over some of my heinous sins and make sure your info is right. I'm listening." Vegos replied with, "The trans stuff and some other weird things others told me about. I'm not gonna categorically list each thing because I shouldn't have to say that me not agreeing with your personal beliefs is why I think you're cringe." I pressed him further for specifics, only to not get an answer and instead a block. Towards the end of October of 2021, Kai Weiss and I got into a couple of Twitter slap fights, most of which I admittedly started. He would block and unblock me, and eventually, Kai made a video on me. I replied with my own video, and he struck it down on November 2nd of 2021.
Oh, yeah, I remember
This whole
this.
Kai Weiss copyright strike situation was talked about all over the place. The art community was split between those who saw it as unfair and those who defended it and said that it was deserved because they didn't like me, such as this from Darkness Stone's Discord server, Realm of Darkness, one of the many art and slideshow hug boxes that was popular back then. Since this is right on topic, a bit of info about Darkness Stone and his server. He grew to the popularity he did because of his collaboration with Ponder Sprocket and Nezzy Monster, so the audience he cultivated was a mixture of Ponders, which is a mix of art and slideshow people who also watch Doodle Tones. There's plenty of intersectionality and plenty of familiar faces. His drama chat was also nearly dedicated to talking about me, and I even used to be in the server. That was until a certain incident that had to do with me talking about inconvenient information about these people's favorites. For full context, we're gonna go back to March of 2021. I had been discussing the antics of the Fruitcake Club members like Madlibs and Nezzy Monster within Darkness Stone's server. The other members would insist for me to provide evidence, to which I would link my videos, and they would usually brush it off rather than actually talk about it with me. That was until I mentioned Doodle Tones, and that Doodle Tones had told someone to die only after complaining about death threats. They insisted that I provide evidence, and yet just before I could, I was told by one of the admins to stop talking about it. Later on March 15th, I saw a notification across my phone with my name in it, and clicked on it. This conversation led to Jack Lockstyle, yes, the same one who would 3 years later join Senate and go around demanding people don't listen to me or FCK leaks. Well, Jack was insisting that I had a habit of not providing evidence for my claims. Jack wasn't alone in pushing this idea that I wasn't providing evidence or didn't have evidence. He had 3 people backing him up at this time, so I'm not going to pretend like he was the only one pushing this. However, I will say that he's been pushing this notion for years that I don't have evidence for my claims, or that I'm not providing sufficient evidence, even though there is a fucking galore. That's why this entire time
ZV, it's not milking a Kumu if I'm watching a 9-hour video, brother. Alright, I'm unironically trying to get through the whole thing so that I have all the context of the situation. Calm down, buddy. Calm down.
timeline video is being made, because this community constantly copes with this idea that I don't have enough evidence for my claims. So here it all is, in one timeline. You all kept pushing for this by insisting that I didn't have evidence, so I collected and collected and collected more, which makes me wonder what Jack's current thoughts are. After all, this aged really fucking horribly. But with that said, I retorted that they should watch my videos, and they shot back that I should provide screenshots in the Drama Time chat, that they shouldn't have to do research for my claim. Eventually, I told them that I would send it, but I told them not to complain, and that I was plugging in my evidence drive. They asked how old this was, and then when I told them that it was 3 to 4 years old by that point, they began complaining. Once I sent the screenshots, they immediately started denying Doodle's hypocrisy, on the basis that it was 4 years old, and that Doodles had apologized for it. As if apologizing for hypocrisy suddenly means the action is no longer hypocrisy. Apologizing doesn't wipe the slate clean, it doesn't mean that your action is suddenly changed. It was copium huffing. The same moderator, from before, came back to do some finger-wagging, and she told me that I was going to be barred from the drama chat because I discussed my goals and brought up what Doodle Tones had done again, to which I was then given a role that prevented me from being in the Drama Time chat. Despite the fact I was not the one who brought that topic back up, Jack did, and I was doing what they kept demanding of me and telling me I needed to do. Yet I was punished for sharing information. If I was just barred from the chat, how did I end up banned from the server? Stone's server members ran to him privately to proclaim that me being in the server made them feel unsafe. So he quietly banned me. If that alone doesn't give you a good idea as to the kind of audience these individuals in these communities cultivate, well, this should do the trick. Just as I mentioned before, these people were split in a divide. Those who saw Kai striking my video down as unfair, and those who defended Kai striking my video because they hated me. Hence the messages that were striking my video down as unfair, and those who defended...
I don't know why people think it's all because you don't like him. You don't like some people, but you don't strike them because their videos were fair use. Akumu's wasn't. That's why it was struck, SMH. Akumu harassing people for months. No one says anything. Kai rightfully striking him because he used too much of Kai's contents. Hell no, it's about to freeze over. Dude, what are you on about? It was like a 4-minute clip. And like, I don't know, it is fair use. Kai didn't even know what fair use was. Had an embarrassing performance on fucking John Swan's stream about it. And made it very clear he had no idea what the hell he was talking about. It's like, Kai was 100% wrong in this situation regardless. Like, and even kind of just like a hypocrite, because when they had like also a 4-minute segment of like Peaches themselves, so it's like they were just a hypocrite. They only did this just because they didn't like fucking Akumu and made that very clear. So it's like, no, there's no justification. It was a false strike. It's not a correct strike. It's not an accurate strike. It's a false strike. That is super fucking obvious.
Defended Kai striking my video because they hated me. Hence the messages that were unironically talking about bringing me to justice, even though I'm apparently Light Yagami, and the other loon suggesting I'd be assaulted by some alphabet person. One of Darkness Stone's mods, Flight Eye Sky, you might recognize that name from before, had the audacity to disagree with some of the server members inside the Drama Time chat. Specifically, they dared to point out that my video on Kai was fair use and that Kai's strike was illegitimate, and that he struck my video just to get back at me. On March 1st of 2021, around 3 o'clock, there was some conversation again talking about how, look, I don't like Akumu either, but that's too far. Basically, Akumu made a video on Kai Weiss. Kai reported the video. He's allowed to. I don't know how that's too far. I mean, with the shit Akumu makes, I wouldn't be surprised if it was literally just an attack on Kai Weiss. Isn't he just horribly transphobic as well? He is. Yeah, then I agree with Kai. He can cope, lol. I fucking hate this kid, and he's my age. He seems like such a pretentious prick. Wait, he's 17? I'm 15. Not that much older than me. Yeah, oh. He also said there was 2 genders in his Super Straight video to me in the comments. Oh, so this is someone that has argued with me in the comments. Like I said, these people were in the comments. Again, coping and seething because I dare to accept a fact that is a little inconvenient for this crowd. Eat him. The fuck? Even that argument doesn't make sense. Transphobic or not. Yeah, guys, sorry, there's only 2 genders. Half our system just fucking disappears. I guess intersex people don't exist. This is a common argument that these people do. They think that intersex somehow contradicts 2 genders. I'm not going to get into it in this video. That's for another video. Akumu is stupid as fuck. That's my answer. True. Only 2 genders. Intersex people just fade away. Joke. Yeah, he's a lackey for Carmen Rider, Lamau. I know there are more, so I'm kidding. Okay, so this person's very clearly autistic. Who the fuck is that? You, Carmen Rider. The conversation keeps going. Up until Dice comes in, down here. Dice replies, He's 18. Oh wait, he's my age. Still old enough to face consequences. Consequences for what? Saying mean things? Like I've already said in this video, these people think they are the judge, jury, and executioner. They dish out the punishment and the consequences. LOL, y'all really only remembered him from the Madame drama when he was 16, only to continue remembering him at that age rate, XD. But nah, he's 18, he told me so. I mean, he acts like a fucking child, Lamau. I just thought he was 17. Nah, he's 18. That's kind of upsetting. Kai/Omnia versus Akumu/Harley/John Swan, and possibly someone else that I won't say. The fuck? What the hell's even going on? I don't even keep up with these people. I know everything that's going on. Fucking Harley is siding with Akumu, the fuck? What's happening, Lamau? I'm kinda curious.
I mean, yeah, even if you disagree with someone's, like, personal beliefs, you could still defend something off a principle. Like, this is really fucking stupid.
So Dice starts to explain, this drama isn't about who's a jersey or not, but now it's about if the copyright was used fairly or not, since Kai can get sued or get in trouble for unfair copyright strikes. So it's not the matter of who you are, it's the matter of copyright. Yes, but why would you even go to court over something like that? Seems like a waste of time and money. Was it a copyright strike or did he report the video for harassment? I don't even know what started this. Yeah, we kind of just got nothing with no context. Well, there was some, but not much to go off of. Honestly, defending Akumu, not saying you are, won't get you anywhere. I copyright strikes it and Kai wouldn't be able to say harassment because he did the same to Akumu and did it first. He would probably get a report back from Akumu since they both made fun of each other. Sorry if I'm typing weird. I did my nails and they do belong. If you want to...
So, I mean, they just kind of, like, proved with that wording. I mean, even if they had bad wording, they kind of just proved that, like, you only defend someone if you get something out of it. So they don't do it, like, you know, out of the goodness of their hearts like they framed themselves to. They're only just doing it just because they expect something out of it, like when they defend people. But yeah, very subtle but obvious.
To know more, I know a lot. That's fair, LOL. What even started this shit? Like, what video was struck? Because to my knowledge, Akumu tends to drag things on. I already stated why I don't fucking like him, so... Again, because of politics. Well, what happened was that Kai made a video on Akumu criticizing him, and Akumu made a video defending himself while also criticizing Kai, and in return, Kai copyright striked Akumu's video. I mean, from the screenshots, it's implied Akumu wasn't just criticizing him. Okay, Akumu's kind of known for spreading false information as if it were true, as well as being high-key racist and transphobic. If Kai got the video taken down based on any discrimination that may have occurred in the video, he wouldn't be in the wrong. Nuance is important. They really love that word. And so far, none of the questions as to what this video actually contained has been answered. Now, this discussion continues on for a bit with Dice informing them that I'm mixed race is just a fun fact, to which they tried to imply and act as though Dice was saying I couldn't be racist if I'm mixed race, which isn't what Dice was saying at all. But as we keep scrolling down this chat, an interesting individual appears. Hey, I'll be the moderator here. So we have two sides. This Glat individual who's using a bot. This is the person that would later go on to talk about assaulting me, or alphabet individuals assaulting me. And the reason there's a bot talking is because the server had a bot so that people with multiple personality disorder could use the bot to express their alters. So this individual is basically LARPing as multiple people using this bot that was put in the server so he could LARP as multiple people.
Frick is not that important, goat, bro. Akumu was not stalking Frick. On God, holy fuck. Lol.
Kai was wrong for the strike because he supposedly had no reason, and we don't know for sure because Akumu has openly and repeatedly harassed Kai in the past, but nobody's providing enough evidence to know if the video was harassment. The two sides. I'm going to say what I think about this, okay? Akumu had it coming. Akumu has repeatedly harassed Kai and their girlfriend Omnia. So when someone asks what's with the bot, he goes, "Hi, I'm Glad, not a bot. Hi, please look in the pinned messages of General. If you read other pinned messages, you'd be educated enough to know." Basically, they had this pinned message explaining that he uses this bot to sort of pretend that he's multiple people. Anyway, yeah, no. Akumu got what was coming to him. He's a legal adult. Even when he was 16, he should have known better than to repeatedly harass people. Okay. I have not been here for a long time. All good. He's done this to multiple people for, what, 2 years? And we're supposed to believe that he didn't harass Kai or Omnia or fucking someone else? That'd be so out of character for him that I'd be concerned. Anyway, no, someone should have reported him for harassment a long time ago. And then Dice responds to this individual, and Glatt says, "I think it should have been done when he defended Madame for attempting to dox a minor and then harassing said minor." So once more, the history revisionism. These people have successfully, and in the larger public eye, rewritten history to conform to this idea that I was defending Madame for attempting to dox a minor. Unbiased. Individual literally has a history of being racist / transphobic / etc. Ha, yeah, see, no. Akumu deserves this. Neither of us have a bias. We just know how Akumu is, and we've deducted he's a piece of shit. He regularly harasses people on Twitter. I don't know Akumu much at all. Mostly POC, gay, or trans people. Yes, and because of that you might be biased. Do you know what the word means? I just know Kai committed a crime. Fly, look at me. Dice, fucking relax, bud. Yes, but I'm willing to trust that Akumu isn't about to stray from that pattern, so I see a transphobe who openly harasses people on Twitter, I throat punch. Ooh, you feel those chills? I feel those chills. I am relaxed. I didn't say Kai was right. I just said there's probably more going on behind the scenes, and no one is saying what. Kai blatantly admits to false flagging here. Oh, and Glitch, you said you don't know much about Akumu. I can give you a brief rundown. Alright, third time. As a mod, I should mention, I think we should slow down in the fucking chat, because everyone's typing faster than I could fucking read. Dice says, but anyways, let's just wait and watch everything go down on Twitter. See how that goes. I agree with this. When did Kai say it was a false flag in that tweet or confirm it? And this other individual responds to Glad with a link to the tweet. Maybe I'm just an old goat who can't read, but point out the phrasing to me. It's okay. Let's watch Twitter burn of this drama, lol. Pointed out I'm waiting. Me when I lack basic reading comprehension. Hardly pointed it out here. That doesn't tell me shit. That's what the situation feels like. No one knows how to read. God damn it for the love of fuck. Basically, this already unhinged individual who spends his time LARPing as multiple different alters, all of which have a hate boner for me, was losing his fucking mind and getting aggressive with just about everyone in the chat. As we keep going, Dice don't. Just don't say anything. Alright, it's fine. What did you say? Dice no. Stop. Dice chill. This is where this Glatt individual finally drops the alter and starts talking as himself. The Satan 1015 is him. Ugh. Now I see why Glatt is so pissed off. This situation is like throwing gasoline and lighter fluid on a raging garbage fire. Honestly, can't say I feel bad for Akumu. He said way too much transphobic shit on his Twitter timeline. Man makes J.K. Rowling look like a trans ally. Hey, that situation has long passed and everyone was told to stop. I wasn't in front. I went and looked because as the host of our system, it's important that I'm aware of what goes on when I'm not around, because I will still face the consequences of whatever Glatt does. I'm just letting you know the situation Glatt got in was really heated. Now, this is where Darkness Stone chimes in with this. I don't like Akumu on a personal level, but it doesn't mean he deserves a false copyright strike, unless he did in fact take enough of their video with no context or commentary that would not allow for it to be fair use. And as Akumu's content quality is getting better with more cuts, I honestly doubt it. I haven't seen a video or anything on it yet, nor have I really looked into the situation. This is just my base level opinion. So that is the general gist. Well, on November 3rd of 2021, Stone's server members couldn't accept this disagreement and ran to Darkness Stone's DMs, telling him that Fly Die Sky defending me made them feel unsafe. I do agree about being fair to other opinions, but defending him in general is making people feel unsafe in the server. Fly Die Sky explained the server has been heading
1984
in this direction for some time, and that the sensitivity is so high, citing an event where apparently someone threw a fit over an Among Us meme, and that Stone suggested to DICE that they wait until the individual wasn't there just to share the meme. DICE stated that it was hard for them to even want to talk in the server, even pointing out that Stone himself had the same opinion as hers, that I didn't deserve a false copyright strike, and he expressed it in the server that same fucking day. Yet here he was, seriously entertaining these crybabies that felt uncomfortable because DICE dared to disagree with them and dared to defend me. Okay, so I'm trying to figure everything out. Lots of people are coming at me in many different directions, trying to make points to and for this. I want to be fair, but we also need to be as safe for as many people as possible. Please give me a moment to respond. Darkness Stone removed me, not because I broke any rules, but because his server members apparently felt unsafe. He demoted his fucking admin and seemingly a friend of his because his server members got offended that they disagreed with them and somehow felt unsafe by that.
How do you feel unsafe with a person in a server? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, if they're not doing anything to you, like, what do you think Akuma's gonna do? Run into your DMs, like maniacally laugh and just start, DMing you, talking to you, pinging you in the server. Oh, like, dude, what is a guy online gonna really do, dude? Like, I don't know. I could see like what some people could do, like, but it's just nothing that he would do. It's just weird. He wouldn't dox. He wouldn't spread illegal content. And as far as harassment goes, it's not like he's like picking people from the crowd and going into their DMs and giving them a bad time or anything like that. So I'm just really confused.
Mr. Lawyer Larper didn't question the sheer ridiculousness of this. No, he took it seriously. He did all of this under the guise of the server being safe for as many as possible. Safe from what exactly? Opinions they don't like? Facts that they don't like? What is unsafe about someone expressing the fact that my video was unfairly striked? A take that Stone himself said in the server, yet he remained the owner. He remained in the server. He wasn't punished or stripped of his position. This thin masking of keeping the server safe for everyone was and is nothing but safe space bullshit. All to justify punishing and removing people for dissenting opinions. It's not that he's catering to everyone. It's that he's catering to the worst crowd imaginable. The kind of people who believe their feelings are inherently indicative of reality, that believe that everyone needs to know how they feel, and everything around them must work to accommodate those precious feelings. If not, it's a problem. If they're offended by something, that something is a problem that needs to be changed, regardless of what they're offended over and the logistics of the situation. So it's no shock to me that a good majority of the server's seething about me has been mostly about my refusal to entertain the pronoun charade over my fucking politics. About the same person who was talking about me being assaulted had a mental breakdown after looking at my Twitter feed where I defended Kyle Rittenhouse and admitted to this in the fucking vent channel. This individual also had a bot so that they could LARP as multiple people, all of which these supposed multiple identities just seethed and bitched about me. The point is, this reflects these—
Hi Ace, can you smash Akuma's video, please? I'll do it later.
communities and the people they attract.
Thanks
because
for the
many of the
two.
people in Stone server were also in the comment sections and in several other Discord servers, like Ponders, several of whom went on to join Senate. This also reflects on Darkness Stone. He's a giant fucking coward who couldn't put his foot down, so his server turned into a constant—
You know what, speaking of smashing that like button, everyone here should, like, leave a like on my stream and subscribe if you're new and join the server. That sounds awesome.
bitch fest, full to the brim with sensitive wine bags that screech to the hilltops over the slightest fucking thing. Stone thinks that I don't like him because he's one of the people who called me out. His words, not mine. And we'll talk about his videos with Ponder from October of 2020 separately. That's for another time, because there's much to be said about it. But in actuality, I don't like him because he's a man-child, a pushover with no semblance of a spine, who made a giant baby crib that pampered and catered to every fucking whine from the other titty babies and man-children he accumulated. A hug box full of control freaks who hide their controlling efforts behind how they feel. Oh, you dared to prove something that they denied? You're barred from the chat and later quietly banned from the server because they felt unsafe. They don't even have the testicular fortitude to tell you you're being banned. Oh, you said something they don't like? Defended someone they don't like? You lose your admin privileges and potentially get removed because they felt unsafe. These were and are people who can run their fucking mouths for years, but couldn't take it. Stone himself is pathetic for even allowing it to reach that point. For a guy who named himself Darkness Stone, it sure is pretty fucking ironic that he turns out to be such a brittle little bitch who rolls over when any push comes to shove. Now, several people made videos talking about the copyright strike situation, like Harley TVS, John Swan, Spockter Theory, and even Optimus. In each of their comment sections, the same art commentary audience members immediately brought up Madame and Slammers, often peddling the false accusations and misconceptions from the FCK, mostly from, and you guessed it, Ponder Sprocket and Nezzy Monster. For specific examples, how about Kai's own community post from November 5th of 2021, where he said that Ponder and Nezzy already called me out for harassment, doxing, and using too much of a person's video. How about another example? An art commentary YouTuber named Luna Tuna uploaded a video on November 8th of 2021, titled, So Kai Wise, Funny Stuff Am I Right? In this video, she specifically...
Do I need to take a break from mental health? I mean, I don't know. Dude, I mean, honestly, I think me taking a couple days off is like, it's fine. I'm pretty, like, I don't know how, it's obviously like I'm not, like, bothered by the video. It's just, I've been on, like, the same thing for almost a week now. So it's like, it's definitely going to feel refreshing when I cover something else new or something different. So that's going to be nice when that comes to shove. But right now, just kind of cruising right now.
Specifically brings me up, along with Ponder Sprocket and Nezzy Monster. This is what she said.
There's another player in this that you should know about. His name is Akumu. Akumu is a very young little edgelord who is very wrong about most things he talks about. His points aren't very good. We all kind of collectively do not like him. We would have happily shat on Akumu, and only Akumu.
When I get to the 6-hour mark, I'll pause for a bit and just chat with you guys for a bit. Like, because I want to, like, think about some things and just kind of, like, run it through.
Since the Madame drama and him trying to excuse and justify Madame's behavior, which I believe Ponder and Nessie did a video on that, he's just been a laughingstock. I mean, he was one before that, low-key, but still.
I also commented on Luna's video to inform her that she was wrong and that I would likely be talking about it in the future to clear it up. Wonder what I could be possibly referencing there. And someone else named Salty, now Dixie Normus, you might recognize that name from before, replied to warn Luna of taking me at my word and telling her to watch Ponder's and Nezzy Monster's videos. But wait, there's more. A couple of days later, on November 14th of 2021, Kai Wise accused me of attempting to dox a minor, referring to Slammers on Twitter. He has apologized for this, so the only reason I'm even including it is to show you that the art and slideshow crowds cling to misinformation and false accusations just to jingle them around like keys. As a gotcha to be...
Yeah, alright, okay. So, obviously I got... He liked the video, yeah, fuck off. But yeah, no, honestly, there's a couple things I want to, like, cover after this, because I am debating, like, with the fucking, like, Toasty Vanilla interview, because it's like, I feel like I wanted to watch this first, because that might have it. I don't even know if I want to watch the Nezzy Monster call, dude. That's... I'm just kind of hoping that he has the relevant clips included in this video, since it's, like, 9 hours, so... We'll see on those two later. But, as for Lyo's video, that's definitely going to be something I want to, like, look into later. In the Jar interview. Maybe? I might do that, like, it's like 2 hours long. Are you guys, like, getting bored of, like, Jar content at this point? Because, like, it's 2 hours. I think it's funny, because it's, like, it's 10, like, days after I interviewed Jar. So it shows to me that for a paranoid guy, Jar is still very dumb. Like, I don't know, he's still, like, putting himself through this. That call pissed me off, bro. No. Which one, Toasty or fucking... the fucking Nezzy Monster one? Probably both, but yeah. Just gotta make sure. But also, yeah, because like Jar is like 2 hours. I don't know if there's gonna be anything new in it. There's not crazy a lot happening right now, so I'm just kind of covering what's up. No, you love Jar, Ted? I guess I'll do that after the FCK coverage is done. Because like honestly, right, there's the fucking there's that Lyo video. The other thing too, because I was asked to do this. Hi guys, I got my new laptop set up. Nice, yeah, Nezzy Monster. Fair enough. Now, I'm also debating on something, because some people ask me this. This is a topic from, a fucking blast from the past, if you will. I actually got, like, quite a bit of traction from it, because I remember even put on, like, being on, like, r/YouTube drama or something like that, right? But if you guys remember this, I remember, like, covering North a while back, and some people recommended me to go watch Gildan's video on it. I haven't really seen much of it. I don't know. I don't know, because like with a Gilded's like video, I don't know what it's gonna like hold. I know like he has a lot more than what was public with like the grooming stuff, because like unironically, I think that only got out there because Gilded gave it to like Lio Convoy, and then it just like I saw it, and then, you know, because of Lio's like community posts, and then, you know, just covered it from there. But that was a very interesting case to follow. If so, I claim making that joke real. Just because honestly, right? I might watch the video. North has been always an interesting topic to me, but like the guy's a freak. I don't even know where the fuck the guy is now, right? The guy kind of just fucked off, left his Discord account. Well, I say left his Discord account, more like his server, and apparently, according to him, he was only just gonna like contact really close people. So I have no clue whether he went to go like help his own condition or not. No clue, no idea. I have no idea about that. Also, why did you milk Jar? I thought his apology was good. Well, Ziva, he literally lied, like multiple times. Like he genuinely lied about critical and crucial information, and he was stupid enough to put that information out there publicly. He is like kind of like a little bit of a snake, dude. He's just only like trying to be a people pleaser right now. Jar's only saying what he thinks the audience wants to hear. He has objectively lied about like one of those very simple things, just because his original Cine draft came out. He like said something like he didn't know it was grooming because he thought grooming had to be, you know, having at least an attraction to a kid, right? However, in his first Cinebear video, he goes in there and says, "Man, this is like says something along the lines of like, wow, this is grooming. Like it's not something I've really seen before, but yeah, no, Cine did groom." And it's like, okay, you just lied. So before, you are 100% like down and considering it grooming, but then you switched up, either because you needed her as your ally, which you did admit in like the 10th Hippleton call, or two, you thought the public opinion switched, so you switched your your video, like, and your take on it, just so that it would seem like it would please the most people. So yes, Jar has objectively lied, and the response is kind of, it just doesn't really mean anything. He's just ingenuine, like in little parts of it. Yeah, a couple parts of it, a couple crucial parts, if you will. He's a bit worse than like, you know, just a bumbling idiot, I'll say. Like, I don't know. The amount of like crucial lying is just really weird to me. There was like another video, but I don't know. I'm debating on it. But yeah, that's kind of like my plans right now. But I'm keeping my eye out just in case if something else big also happens. But yeah, I guess fucking hell. Definitely the FCK was a nice refresher from Jar, because dude, it was just Jar stream. But now, I mean, like, I just can't wait for that 9-hour mark to get there, you know, because it's very clear to me that these people, oh no, not this one, my bad. It's very clear to me that there are a bunch of hypocrites in this video. 3 hours left, dude. It's very clear to me that there's a bunch of hypocrites, a bunch of people that just preach things that they don't even apply to their own lives, and it's kind of insufferable. Like, they all have insufferable voices. They all suck. They're all gay, evil. It's cringe. But can we forgive Jar, or is he in the camps? Dude, Jar just lied to everyone. Is now running for people, but he'll happily go to people that barely know anything about a situation so he can control the narrative. All right, this guy, yeah, I don't know. I think he's a little bit like more malicious than he's leading on. Personally, I don't really care for him at all, if I'm gonna be real. But yeah, and that's even after talking to the guy and like just seeing blatant lies and going through all the Himpleton calls and everything. I've gone through pretty much everything except for that one call that has to do with Jar. So it's like, yeah, I'm definitely well versed on the topic, thoroughly briefed, if you will. But yeah, I don't know. The Jar tint might be interesting. I'll see if like he contradicts any more or lies in the call, but I don't know. If you guys think that would be fine, I'll probably go over it. I'm debating on the Gilded video because it's like, I don't know. I'm wondering if it's worth it. I wonder if he actually has plans on returning. Well, yeah, he does want to return, but like whether it's a drama content or not, he would sometimes say in some of the Himpleton calls of, who knows, maybe one day I might want to come back. which is like, I don't know. I feel like the guy that says something along the lines of like, each day revenge is what keeps me going. I don't feel like that's the type of guy that just, takes a back seat and just lets everyone cover him. He's definitely going to get a lot of spite. He's definitely going to feel vengeful, and he's going to like want to like, attack back, like unironically. So I don't know. It's really it's really something. But yeah. But yeah, I'm also like, maybe I think some people said like the Gilded North video was interesting, so I might go over that. I know I went over Gilded stuff before, so it's not like I'm a stranger to his content. I went over like the Brian Mullins stuff, which Brian Mullins, bro, this guy, he sucks, dude. I tried to like get an interview with him, and he 100% agreed in like YouTube community posts. As soon as I added him on Discord, he says in English, "Oh, sorry, I don't speak English," and just airs me. I feel like that was like the most professional and skilled way to like dodge, an interview or a one-on-one. It was so cringe. Hey Ace, how's the stream going? Sorry if I'm late, just had shit to do. Well, no, you're good. You're good. I'm just like talking about, I've taken a little break since we're at a 6-hour mark, so like we're like 2/3 of the way through the video. I'm just talking about things to do with like stream content. But yeah, I mean, yeah, so Brian, I don't know, is gonna come on. I probably, oh dude, I completely fucking like forgot. I think I actually have a better chance of getting that Mystic Mongrel person on though. So I might also talk to Gilded before getting Mystic Mongrel on, just to see if there's anything else I'm forgetting, because I watched his videos. I watched the Brian video and then the Mystic Mongrel video specifically. I think what Mystic Mongrel did was like kind of like, what the fuck, like what is wrong with you? Like, why are you sending like what you think is like suggestive image of kids like that? That's weird as fuck. You're a creep. And I don't know. I guess like that whole tweet that they made too. But yeah, no, they're unironically like a freak. So I don't know. That's how I feel about it from seeing the coverage alone. So I might have a conversation with them. We'll see. What else? Trying to think, because I know there was like another hit piece, but I don't even know if I want to go over that hit piece, because like admittedly the people who made the hit piece are like really annoying, but I know it's like full of lies. But we'll see. I'll debate on whether I want to mention or not. But yeah, so Lio Convoy Desi Monster video is probably gonna end up happening. Hopefully he's not too I don't know. Let's see if Lio, spice it up. If there's more information than I know, like than just FCK stuff, I think that would be interesting. But we'll see. Fair enough. I know Brian because of the North stream. North tried to take credit for the Wattpad fanfiction that Brian made. Yeah, no, North is a very interesting individual to me. Because like I've never met someone that unironically said I didn't know that it was wrong, because my parents only didn't tell me any moral reasons why I was wrong other than pedophilia bad. I've never met someone that unironically said that, especially in front of their school counselor and shit like that. Like, what is wrong with you, dude? You are on a whole other level of fucked up. Dude, my god. Ugh, why? Dude, look, I gotta watch the video, dude. Like, I gotta be locked in, dude. I gotta be locked in. And you know what? I'm just hoping it has new info. We'll see. I'll give it a little bit of a skim. See if it's worth stream coverage. But yeah. I'm trying to think if there was anything else, but I think I'm okay right now. God. I am still working on a video too, but like it's actually supposed to be a collab. I just been like, fucking left and right with it. The video is gonna be I think pretty decent. I think I'm pretty chill with it. I have no issues with it. There's just not a lot of crazy huge topics happening in the community, which is why I just been live streaming and just like catching like all these small creators just being fucked up, or catching up on some lore or some shit like that, Round 2 of torture. My friend can finally take victory. Laughs about North because he hates North. Dude, dude. North sucks. God. North was a very interesting character, I'll say. Like, I think, like, when I first bumped into him, I didn't think it was going to do well. At best, I thought it was just going to be, like, a thing that I covered on the side, right? But I got, like, my first peak, like, viewerships, like, so people definitely cared about it a lot. Talked to Lio about some details, and he gave me, like, a little rundown in, like, voice message. And I did, like, a little mini unlisted video just to, like, show the, saved community post that is, like, salvage and all that stuff. It's very, very interesting. Yeah, I mean, the collab with Raven, that should drop pretty soon. I just gotta lock in. I just need to also get some streams out, so, like, I'm not just dead. I feel like more than, like, 3 days of not posting something, I feel like that it's getting stagnant, so I gotta do something. So, yeah, it's gotta be soon. After the stream, I'll probably work on it. If I'm still not, tired, I might be awake enough. But, God, dude, fucking hell. I think, I spent a little bit yapping. So, I'm probably going to get back into the FCK coverage. Fucking hell. Here we go.
To be held over their opposition's head, no matter the validity. It was this situation and me seeing all of this that made me realize the art community and the slideshow crowd were never going to move on and let it go, like they kept telling me to do. I realized that they weren't telling me to move on and that it was old drama because they too wanted to move on. They were telling me to move on just so I would shut up about what their favorites did and how they lied and backed them for it. So that my side of the story wouldn't get out there. It would get drowned out and theirs would permeate. Any mention of my name, and these people took it as an opportunity to spread their narrative about me. They couldn't run me off, so they opted to try and hold it over my head. And I was damned if I was going to do nothing and just let that happen, especially from the same community that pretends to be these moral arbiters that constantly claims to care about the truth, all the while they blindly bought into anything they were told from their favorites about anyone they didn't like. December 5th of 2021 isn't really that much about the FCK, but I do think it's important for you to get a full understanding of not just my problem with these communities, but also just how ridiculous they are. The sheer inconsistency and bias at hand from people who especially claim otherwise. Someone by the name of Dulu, or Chuli, she's gone by many names, put out a video talking about an ex-friend of hers named Feghost. Yes, the same Feghost who was 2 or 3 months prior denying the double standards and cover-ups, who told me that it was a wasted effort for me to dig shit up, that I'd burn myself out playing detective, and called me a conspiratorial nut, and then later said I was kinda gross. You see, Feghost was someone who was closely associated with many in the art and slideshow communities, such as Ponder Sprocket, the name's Junkie, and even Nezzy Monster was following him on Twitter. He was very deeply ingrained in both communities. Now, Chuli's video detailed several incidents to do with Feghost that took place 2 years prior, back in 2019. Something specifically caught my eye when it came to the detailed events within November of 2019. So I'll play a clip.
However, in November, another individual who was a friend of Feghost and Jay came forward with a paste bin that was basically just a list of testimonies about various wrongdoings that Feghost had allegedly committed, and nothing else happened after that. However, something that is absolutely crucial to why I no longer talk to Feghost and want to make this video is that there's no easy way to say this next part. As I said, another allegation made in the doc, as well as the paste bin later on, was one of Jay alleging that Feghost sexually assaulted her while making another girl, who we'll call A, watch after trapping them both in a room with them. A was said to have later committed suicide, and the paste bin stipulates that Feghost was mentioned in the note, or at the very least the abuse was. Some may think that seems implausible because they think justice would have come of it, but I believe that's an ignorant view to take on the matter, as the sentencing rate for silence is extremely low in both the US and in Canada, where Feghost is from, made even worse by the fact that the victims, Jay and A, were said to have been trans women who the law is already incredibly unkind to. And I brought this up to them to ask to clarify if this was just another lie or if they could expand upon what was being talked about, and I'll never forget how they responded in the call, because to this day it sends such a chill up my spine. Feghost said, "I was hoping you guys wouldn't ask about that," and admitted to being drunk and not only locking both girls in the room with them and groping Jay, who was drunk and couldn't consent, while the other girl was sober and had to sit and watch, but they also admitted to keeping both girls silent on the matter. Feghost also admitted the acts at a later date when the other individual came forward with the situation in the form of the paste bin. The assault happened in 2015, which, mind you, is when Feghost became a legal adult. Both the Google Doc and the paste bin contain half-truths, like mentioning that Jay killed herself but not mentioning that she was in jail at the time with no contact to anyone, and the doc, as far as I'm aware, does straight up lie with fabricated evidence of a fake offense regarding sending illicit photos to a child. But the fact of the matter is that Feghost admitted to the assault and trying to keep both girls quiet about what they did. They're a sex offender who clearly permanently altered these girls' lives for the worst.
So in this group chat with Ponder Sprocket and Chule, Feghost confessed to the two of them that he apparently locked 2 people in a room and allegedly sexually assaulted both of them. Ponder even summarized some of their conversation with Feghost right here in this group chat. Looking back to my first ever interaction with Feghost in September of 2021, I was speaking to Majesty Kai and somewhat of Boxafox about this community's tendency to hide things.
I don't... Fuck, man, dude. I'm kind of surprised. Like, I've never seen someone just so fucking blatantly honest about, like, something egregious that they've done. That... What the fuck? And then layering it on top of, like, I was hoping you guys didn't ask about this, but yeah, I did it. Like, what the fuck, dude? I didn't, like, fully look into, like, the Fego stuff on my own, but fucking hell, that what the why? How do they just say that so, like, freely? Like, what the fuck? I mean, I know I'm, like, shocked here a bit, but they unironically just said, yeah, I mean, I was groping on women and, you know, just like silenced them and made sure that they wouldn't talk about it. Like, what the fuck? Just so clearly, what the? That's just fucking hell. God damn.
Cover shit up. Feghost wasn't even in the conversation until he chose to involve himself by responding to me, in denial about these secrets and cover-ups. That makes me think, maybe, he felt personally attacked or threatened by me digging into this community and suggesting to the public that there's more than meets the eye. Then again, I'm a joke they don't take seriously. It's a wasted effort, and my videos are nothing burgers. I'm more curious about Ponder's lack of talking about it. If she has, it's usually vague. After all, she is the person with the bigger platform. I think I know why she didn't, so just hear me out. This is an assumption, but I think it's a fair one. Ponder didn't make a video about it, and she didn't even share Julie's video on her community tab, let alone her Twitter account. I've checked. Unless it was deleted afterwards, I don't think she shared it. Most likely because it would raise questions. Questions like this. Ponder knew about Feghost as nearly as November of 2019. She and Nezzy Monster had started scripting the collab on me a month prior, October of 2019. That's why the video is Halloween themed. Why did Ponder prioritize some random 16-year-old who made a bad video over the alleged sex offender who was not just in her friend group, her circle, but her community? An individual that apparently confessed to her to supposedly locking two people in a room and sexually assaulting them. This wasn't degenerate shit on the internet. This was apparently something that happened in real life, though Feghost did end up admitting that he made all this shit up about himself, that it was one big elaborate ruse to punish himself, which is still completely mentally fucked.
What? Fuck. Dude. Okay. Okay. What? Okay. Okay. So, now you went from... What the fuck is that logic? Okay, you said to content creators that you did something so egregious, but now we're taken aback by saying, no, I lied, I just couldn't live with myself, I wanted to punish myself. What the fuck? Dude, what is wrong with you? Dude, unironically, what the fuck is wrong with you? Holy shit.
So why prioritize me over Feghost? Why did Ponder take part in a smear campaign and go as far as twisting my words, making shit up about me, omitting information she had so she could then falsely accuse me left and right, and subsequently make a false narrative comprised of biased conspiratorial ramblings, all of which she claimed to be against? Well, if we take Ponder's word from her comments, because it makes content. Content is...
I mean, even if it was trolling, I got content out of it. If the guy wants to purposely act like he doesn't know what he's talking about to get a reaction video, that just ends up making my content more enjoyable and my audience as a result. Really, my content just ends up benefiting from it. Okay, buddy. Dude, literally, like, the whole, like, I sleep meme. 16-year-old being edgy on Twitter, you know, real shit. Like, fucking person gropes women and makes them silent about it. I sleep, dude. Fucking hell. Ponder, what is this bullshit? Dude, what the fuck? When was this video posted? This video was posted 3 weeks ago now, bro. I've been a little late for it because of the whole jar shit, but this dropped February 16th. So, yeah, my god.
Content, and me apparently being stupid does good for her content. Nothing came out about Feghost until the end of 2021, and the person to make the video about it was the person who was the same age as me when it happened. Julie was 16 years old when it took place in 2019. Ponder was 27 years old, and yet saw some random 16-year-old who made a video with only 3K views as the bigger problem, a more important thing to discuss than the supposed sex offender. Amazing priorities. I am in no way saying or arguing or implying that Ponder, let alone Julie, were under some moral obligation to talk about Feghost, that they had to talk about Feghost. They needed to warn everybody. The fact that they didn't, how dare they? What I am trying to point out is that the communities who do believe in this call to action, you better speak up about it if you know about it and call it out, otherwise you're enabling it. The very same communities who spout that bullshit, the art community and the slideshow community, worship the ground Ponder walks on. They refer to her as Octomama, Queen Ponder. They glaze and dick ride anything she does and overinflate what she's capable of, let alone what she's done. The collab on me is a perfect example of that. And I find it fascinating that the two communities who have shown to apply that to everyone else have not applied it to Ponder. They don't talk about it.
You should try to interview her and ask her about it. I'm sure she'd understand. But to be honest with you, with Ponder, I have mixed feelings about Ponder. I don't really know how to fully feel. Also, Sliggins, thanks for the 5. Evil stuff happening. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, with Ponder, right, I have very, very mixed thoughts because on one hand, right, if I were to reach out to Ponder, I feel like I gotta prep some things so I fully know what I'm talking about. Because, admittedly, I think I probably need the context of the everything of like Ponder and Nezzy's video on Akumu. Because obviously that was insane mental gymnastics and stretches and logic. And then after that, I would probably like then follow up with this, with the whole Feghost thing, because it's like, I don't know, that is a very interesting like thing to just not talk about. It's very bizarre. But I'm just like, I would be a little bit curious about it. But if I were to ask Ponder anything, I would need to like prepare some things first, so that like I actually have everything I know that I'm talking about, and I have the full picture. Like, so I gotta like see the videos, see all the arguments made. Like, I don't know. I don't even know like what Ponder's take is on her like video with Nezzy anymore. Like that is how much like I don't really know about Ponder, other than like I think Ponder was in my chat a little bit when I was covering Jar, and that was pretty much it. But as far as the FCK stuff, I just know that their video like on Akuma was pretty bad, because like they slandered, made some mental gymnastics, and now this is like not great either. So I don't know. I'd have to do a little bit more digging. But yeah, I'll see.
About this. Me talking about it right now is no doubt pissing them off. It's a sort of taboo. And if you do bring it up, you're usually met with the same exact excuses that Ponder likes to vaguely refer to in Cat's Lair. The facts are this. Ponder, 27 years old.
Okay, hold on.
Exact excuses that Ponder likes to
What is Ponder's take on this? Let's take a read. Full screen this. No. Okay, let's just for this one frame, let's make the quality a little bit better. Just for you fellas. I don't know if it's a matter of it being a conscious thing. The whole, if my friend does it, it's fine, but if other people do it, it's not. I think in many cases, it's more so a matter that people are more willing to give their friends leeway on bad behavior because they're friends, or sometimes because they're too close to the situation, and people involved, which isn't the case when they're looking at the behavior of someone that they have no connection to. We see the opposite in cases where people are scrutinizing people they dislike, where the person is seen as evil and all their actions are contextualized to fit into the perception. This isn't really a conscious effort, it's a subconscious bias. Plus, it may not be as cut and dry a situation if we don't know whose friendships are like. In cases of abusers or manipulators, for example, they can be manipulative tactics on their friends in order to get them to excuse or overlook bad behavior, or may even have specifically targeted people as friends who already have a traumatic past and with behavior of that nature. After all, manipulators and abusers are really good at picking out the people who are going to be receptive to their bullshit. If we don't know the friendships are like then who's to say the person who's making excuses for or else overlooking for bad behaviors in their friends hasn't been primed to pick for the okay. I don't know how to okay. I'm just gonna like, I don't know, with how I feel about it principle wise, like if I was in Ponder's shoes with the Fagos thing, and Fagos just admitted that, because see, that's where it gets tricky, right? Because if they admit it, it's versus okay, because obviously you'd go differently versus if you like heard something versus actually having their admittance. I don't think I would be associated with the person anymore. Like, I know obviously I would not be associated with the person anymore easily, right? If someone just came to me saying, hey, I like sexually assaulted 2 girls while they were drunk and I got them to be silent about it, right? Would not want to be friends with that person, would not want to be like associates with that person, would cut them off easy. But to be honest with you, I might feel inclined to screenshot their admittance and say why I cut them off, because I mean, it's their admittance, and like if anything it would be their word against their own. It's like if I made that public, right? It's like I probably would make it like a tweet. I don't know if I want to make like a whole deep dive video into it, but I don't know, like, because there's not really much to like put in a video anyways, because it's their admittance. Because I don't know, I think a tweet would be easier, or if you really wanted to, I guess a community post. That's probably how I would have done it in that situation. Because again, if someone told me that, I would cut them off, want nothing to do with them, and I would probably say why I cut them off publicly. But why Ponder didn't do it, I'm not sure. I know like there's sometimes bias within friend groups. There's always going to be the whole like, you see your friend better than some other people because you've been friends with them, you've talked to them for a while, right? You're going to want to have good faith for them because you don't think they're a bad person. Why would you be friends with bad people, right? It's like that whole line of logic that runs in your head. But sometimes you do get friends that are just literal pieces of shit, and that's just going to happen. But that is going to happen. you're gonna get friends that are literal scumbags and pieces of shit sometimes. I've had to cut some people off for various different reasons. It's not like I haven't. Usually, right, I like to keep it neutral with people. But if you're just an egregious person or a bad person, yeah, I'm cutting you off. It's that simple as that. So yeah, fake hosts would 100% fall into that standards if I would cut them off. Ponder might have been like friends with them. I'm imagining, given the context of that GC and them being in their community. But yeah, I probably feel like, I don't think that I would say that they have to make a video, but I just would pretty much like look at them weird if they're like still associating with them, you know. If they're defending them, that's a whole different story. It's like if they're defending the action, it's like, okay, now you're fucked up too. But I wouldn't do guilt by association. I still would be like, I don't know. I would still be like, okay, I think, you know, it's weird that you're hanging out with a person that told you this. But I don't know. If I was in their situation, I probably would have just had like a public call out unironically. So I don't know. I keep saying I don't know. It's just a thinking word. It's not that I don't know. I'm just thinking. Fucking hell. But yeah, that's, I guess, what I would do. I would cut them off and maybe do a public call out on Twitter at most. So yeah, I'll watch more.
Vaguely referred to in Cat's Lair. The facts are this. Ponder, 27 years old, who made a career in YouTube channel off of lecturing others about what they should have done, not just partaking in the call-out culture she speaks on, but also helped cultivate that call-out culture into the cancerous mess that is in these communities, heard Fegos confess to her to supposedly sexually assaulting 2 people, that one of his supposed victims went on to apparently end their own life. Yet she prioritized smearing and dunking on a kid over talking about someone who confessed to her to supposedly being a sex offender, of committing a heinous crime. That was her priority, evident by the decisions she made in 2019 and 2020. I'm going to take an issue with the fact that these people worship her some great figurehead, calling her justice incarnate, claiming that she'd make a great lawyer because she LARPs as one to a bunch of autists online, when those are her choices. Now we get into the 2022 of the timeline, particularly April 29th of 2022, and it yet again involves Ponder's broadcast. On Ponder's Twitch channel named Reanimated Octopus, she held a 5-hour research stream, and in it, Ponder got upset with the actions of a minor, and she said, and I quote, word for word, someone fucking figure out who the hell this kid is, so I can call her parents. Seconds after, she then added, literally, if someone gives me this kid's phone number, I will call her goddamn parents. No shame. I will tell them what she's been doing.
Proof, bitch. I already addressed the tracing and the harassing, etc. Like, what else do you losers want from me?
To stop and to acknowledge that you're a disgusting human being who's just going after someone for no fuck damn reason. Get offline. Someone fucking figure out who the hell this kid is so I can call her parents.
So overall, it's Moxie. Happy soft and
literally, if someone gives me this kid number, I will call her goddamn parents. No shame.
What the fuck? Dude, yeah, I mean, what the fuck? Dude, what is wrong with you? Ponder. And obviously, if I'm going to stay consistent with, like, you know, Lio's whole Jax thing, yeah, I'm going to say that this is a bit far. Like, if you're, like, this is really far. You're taking it to an extreme. You want to, like, bring, like, real life into this because of something they posted on the internet. What is fucking wrong with you? Like, what? Okay, what did, like, not that it would really change much, but I'm kind of wondering what the person did that made Ponder freak out this much to be like, oh, parents need to be involved now. Like, what the fuck? That is crazy.
I will tell them what she's been doing.
Just 2 years before, in a collab on my Slumers video with Nezzy Monster, the two of them tried to accuse me of asking for Slumers' phone number, to then accuse me of asking for the private information of a minor on a public forum.
So, you didn't technically attempt to dox anybody. You were just asking if there was somebody out there who could dox her for you.
And the contradiction will come up a little bit later, but it has to do with him making note that someone out there should be able to answer his question and provide Slumers' private information to him.
Which is basically him not committing the crime, but asking someone to do it for him. Which doesn't make you innocent, my guy. Also, I'm not surprised these people thought that. You don't ask for someone's personal information on a public fucking forum. That's what we call being suspicious.
Why are all of these dumbass retards
So Ponder is being suspicious, according to her.
being mean to me? They're attacking me for no reason. Oh yeah, by the way, if anyone has the personal info of that minor who was being harassed by a larger YouTuber, hit me up. Which is hilarious considering his bias against Lemurs is very apparent from him openly harassing her and asking other people to send him her private information. Another, not only does this ignore the context of the tweet where you were apparently, according to you, directly asking people to send you Lemurs' dox information, or at the very least, information so personal that you could have used it to dox her.
So why in 2022 was Ponder asking her audience for a minor's phone number on her fucking Twitch stream? Twitch, a public forum. One of the very—
Dude, these people aren't real, dude. How does it always happen? Like, you know, like in these cases where there will be hyper-specific cases where it's like, okay, they're definitely like, they were literally just twisting things there. But how do they get a opportunity presented to themselves to just be a hypocrite? They always choose to be a hypocrite each time. Like, you know, you would think, right? You would think a situation where getting a minor's dox would be a, like, you know, for personal, not personal reasons, trying to handle a case, right? Or, get things covered. It's like, you'd think that wouldn't be as common, but, holy fuck. Dude, it's like, even though that's not even what Akumu did, but that's what she accused, and then she goes to do it on later. How the fuck do you have this much, like, it's kind of impressive with the hypocrisy levels, because it's like, you'd think that these are, like, very hyper-specific scenarios, and yet they do the same thing. It like, strikes twice, and they choose hypocrite each time. They choose to be a hypocrite every time. It's really fucking weird. My god.
Very things she and Nezzy Monster claimed I did to heavily push the accusation of me attempting to dox Lemurs, an accusation I've never heard the end of. I've been accused of it 8 times in 2024 alone, but no one said a fucking thing when Ponder did this. As of 2024, when I pointed this out, several people tried to make excuses for Ponder doing this. They do this by either bringing up what the minor did as an—
Okay, hold on. Akumu, I think you might be a grade A idiot. They were talking about a child who legit spread around fucking CP, which is a crime. The parents have said child had no care for how the child was acting on the internet. Did you watch the video, you moron? Okay, sending CP. Okay, I mean, you could just report that to cyber tips. Like, I don't know why you'd have to, like, contact their real life. Like, you're being an internet vigilante when you're asking for their phone number. You could just, again, report that shit to cyber tips. You're a grown woman, you know how to do that.
An excuse and justification for Ponder's hypocrisy, or they proclaim that I cut the context, and that's missing context, only to then mention what—
let's see. You never said what I was going to use the information for once I got it. Sorry, you got it. B, ask for the phone number. Okay. Yeah, so, yeah.
The kid did to excuse and justify Ponder. My favorite instance of this is actually from her own comment section.
Anyone rewatching has Ponder asked about, has Ponder talked about the most recent Akuma's put out anywhere, that being the hour-plus vid. She has no obligation, obviously, but if there's a stream clip or something when it's come up, I'd be interested. Cope. Okay, bro. Okay. Clip is very out of context. Clip is B asking for contact information of a minor who was harassing an individual so the minor could get proper punishment for harassing someone online and also help the person sue the minor for all the stuff the individual was subjected to. I hope this helps. Now, this is a different reason. Okay, what happened? Was it CP or was it harassing? Because I think if you're trying to say it was the same thing, I think harassing is a very funny word for CP. Like, what are you... What happened? I'm trying to go off, like, I'm trying to fill in context clues, but what the fuck happened?
The user asked if she had done any form of response to my videos, and someone else replies with this. The stream clip came from a channel that edits down these streams. Reanimated Octopus VODs should be the channel you look for, and look for the Kenji situation videos. The clip is very out of context. The clip is B asking for the contact information of a minor who was harassing an individual, so the minor could get proper punishment for harassing someone online, crazy, and to also help the person sue the minor for all the stuff the individual was subjected to. I hope this helps, smiley face, so the minor could get proper punishment. But I'm the light Yagami Larper. Yet another example again from the audience to show you that these people think of themselves as the moral arbiters, the judge, jury, and executioners who dish out punishment. Returning to this comment, the person first claimed that I cut context. Then they proceed to admit that B, Ponder, asked for the minor's contact information, the thing I accused Ponder of doing. After saying I cut the context, that there's cut context, they then admitted that Ponder did exactly what I said she did. You can't make this shit up. And this is a common habit from that community. They'll deny something that they themselves know is true just because it's inconvenient. Another common excuse for Ponder is that she had good intentions when asking for the minor's information. But her having good intentions is not an excuse for a 30-year-old to be asking her rabid drama-hungry audience to get—
30? You're 30, Ponder, and you thought that was a great idea? What is wrong with you? What the fuck? Okay, just so I'm not trying to be really unfair, because I know this was back in 2021, has Ponder apologized for this at all? Right, not saying that makes the action okay, but I don't also want to sit here and act like they didn't take responsibility or accountability either. Like, I feel like, if they haven't, they obviously should. Because what the fuck? Holy fuck.
You get the private—
And yeah, seem serious about the docs. Yeah, that wasn't a joke. Like, if anyone tries to make that claim that was a joke, no. She's angry. She's genuinely asking for it. Like, dude, and even, like, her own audience is, like, knowing that she was asking, to give proper punishment. Not even her own audience thought that was a joke. The people who would sweep for her. All right? Like, that was 100% serious. Fucking hell.
Information of a minor. Her reputation in some autistic online community does not mean she has the authority to do so. Delusional e-celebrity worship. Her good intentions out of her justice larp is not an excuse to do the very thing she falsely accused me of doing. The intent with the action does not change the action, and to think it does is nothing but cope to desperately avoid the reality. Ponder falsely accused me of asking for Slumers' phone number, of asking for a minor's private information on a public forum, as the basis to then accuse me of attempting to dox Slumers. Now, we apply this consistently because no one is above their own standards. 2 years afterwards,
did I see Lyrics quit? I mean, no, because Lyrics is not art comp, but rip, I guess, for all the commentary bros.
Underwent and asked for a minor's phone number for their private information on a public forum, and yet she catches no flack for it. I don't see any YouTube comments, any YouTube videos, aside from my own, and any tweets aside from my own talking about this. And it just goes to show these communities, they don't actually care about the standards that they apply against whoever it is they're bitching about at that particular moment. Had they actually cared consistently about this, they would have said something when Ponder did it on her live stream, let alone when it was re-uploaded to YouTube. But they didn't, because it's Ponder's sprocket. Because of her reputation, they give her special treatment. And that's exactly why we're here right now. Turning to April 30th of 2022, another event took place. It's almost on topic. An art commentary individual and orbiter of the FCC named Mushroom Girl got into a spat with a friend of mine named Kumo and decided to randomly mention me and the fact that he and I are friends to take pod shots at me in my Slumers video from 2019.
Hey Kumo, I noticed that you took the Nekokoda's channel link out of your final chapter video description. Apparently it was because she was sending you fans to harass you or something, which I'm pretty sure isn't true. But
pretty sure it wasn't true. Don't say it if you don't even know.
Where have I heard that before? I mean, you are friends with the person who made this trash-ass video, so what can I fucking expect from you? What's next? You're gonna call Nekokoda unprofessional and then attempt to dox her phone number?
On May 1st of 2022.
My brother in Christ. Okay, buddy. Okay. Random MG mention, bro. Fuck me. Fucking hell. Fuck.
I uploaded a very short video titled, It's Gonna Be Biblical. This clip was from the movie Law Abiding Citizen, where the main character talked about pulling down a disease-corrupt temple, referring to the justice system.
And the business. We call this foreshadowing.
Then on May 2nd of 2022, I replied to Mushroom Girl with a video titled Mushroom Girl in Arguments, where I suspected that she was just a ponder tard, reciting what she heard from those 2 videos. Like fucking clockwork. She responded that same day with Akumu's video on me, plus content.
Akumu is gay. Okay, I'll give them the thumbnail. That's funny. That is funny. It's probably gonna contain no good points or barely any, but that is funny.
In this video, Mushroom Girl said that Ponder and Nezzy spoon-fed it to me, but that I was doubling down on my disgusting attempt to get a minor's dox information, referring to Slumers.
Dude. Like,
not Baldy's basic gameplay. Fuck me.
Ponder and Nezzy spoon-fed this shit to you, but apparently you're still gonna fucking double down on your disgusting bullshit, your obsessive, disgusting bullshit where you asked for a minor's dox information.
In Mushroom Girl's description, she linked Ponder and Nezzy's 2-part collab. This was fuel to the fire. Further motivation for me to make that retrospective series that I kept promising. You see, ever since 2020, there was an idea that kept popping up in the back of my head. Each time this would happen. Each time one of these idiots came swinging at me and trying to use that narrative. That idea was, if the FCK's false accusations and lies about me were going to follow me around and be held over my head, let alone 2 years after the fact, shouldn't what the FCK did follow them? It's more than fair for 2 reasons. A, they had an audience of thousands, I only had a couple hundred. And B, I didn't need to lie or make things up like they did. I would be, and I have been, accusing them of the shit that they did do. It was this very reasoning, this very point, this very idea, that I was so annoying and pestering to Nezzy or Madlibs, on top of the fact that the group had no problem pestering and running their mouth about me. So every—
Dude, that was a fire Reddit, bro. Yeah, then that day I just snapped. I held them accountable for their own actions. Like, you get what you fucking deserve.
Every time their audience would comment on my shit and repeat the false accusations and lies, I would then comment or tweet to the FCK, accusing them of what they did do. This is what I mean by fuel to the fire. This is why the next time the sexual harassment accusation from a Nezzy monster would be brought up was June 12th of 2022, because I made a comment about it. Her further denial prompted me to then put together the first ever retrospective series, a taste tester for what was to come in the FCK and the art community series on my channel. Since July of 2022, Nekokoda had been getting into reoccurring slap fights with someone else by the name of Shaggy. This little feud would go into December, where it culminated into Nekokoda scouring the internet for any information about Shaggy. Everything kicked off around December 7th with Koda first finding Shaggy's TikTok, which had their real name on it. Koda messaged this Xavier individual, asking if they were an expert hacker. No, I'm good at doxing people. Oh, damn. Was hoping you were legit. When Shaggy tweeted about the TikTok finding, Koda quoted with, Lamau, you're really bad at covering your paper trail. There was some silly back and forth about dead naming with the name Jay, but the overall point is that Koda was hunting down information on Shaggy. When questioned on why, Koda pushed for a Discord call, telling Shaggy that his patience was running thin, that it was in Shaggy's best interest to talk on Discord, or one of my favorites, watch your tone with me, boy. I know more than you think. And what appears to be a group chat. Koda told Shaggy that there were a lot more malicious people on the internet than him, and then not even a minute later said I could shut off your internet myself if I wanted. Koda decided to list their home and IP address, but was sure to clarify that he did—
Dude, Nekokoda mentioned a 2025, man. Fuck me.
—intend on leaking it.
You obsessive, disgusting bullshit where you asked for a minor's dox information.
Basically, Koda was blackmailing Shaggy with, you either call me on Discord or I contact your parents. And that's one of the reasons I'm telling you about this. Shaggy was 17 and Koda was 20-something. Koda, an adult, searched for the private information of a minor and was blackmailing said minor under the threat of calling their parents.
What is with the pattern of getting minors' phone numbers in this community, dude? What is this just like? Is this just a fucking like normal like roundabout way of doing things like that back then? Like what the fuck? Fuck off.
over fucking internet drama. Specifically because Shaggy made fun of Mushroom Girl and was in a Discord server of people that didn't like Mushroom Girl. That's what all of this was over. And I'm telling you about this because of the fact that Mushroom Girl, who previously accused me of trying to ask for a miner's docs information, went on to defend Neko Koda. It was wrong of me to do, despite the fact I didn't even do it. But when Koda does exactly that, she defends it. This is the epitome of the sanctimonious hypocrisy I've been talking about. A perfect representation, but fret not, we'll have plenty more. On December 15th, I uploaded the first ever episode in my series on the art community in the FCK, focusing on Nezimonster while setting up the future episodes. Later, I decided to mention the false sexual harassment accusation again in early January of 2023. I made a video about that, so I'm just gonna clip that too. Accountability is only relevant when you're the one trying to hold someone else accountable. Does it ever get tiring, pretending to be something you aren't? The facade, and coping to keep said facade up. On the 5th of January, she responded with, "Bro, I took accountability 3 years ago. Get over it. I'm saying this 100% seriously. I hope you get therapy and heal from whatever the hell you're going through. This isn't healthy, and you deserve better than this." I decided that this would serve as an additional reminder or updater, posting it on my community tab and tagging her with my thoughts, and she commented on it. "Whatever helps you sleep at night, man. I genuinely wish the best for you. This will be my final message to you. Best of luck to you, man." And she linked a tweet. People legit obsessed, and it's sad. Like, genuinely sad. The apology is still up to this day. I have hidden nothing. I've just moved on with my life. Literally, everyone involved with that has moved on. It has been 3 years. Get therapy, and I mean that genuinely. Decided to update it real quick. I genuinely hope you get better, man. I used to be angry, but after therapy and meds, I just feel bad for you. Later quote retweeted this with, "If you want context, because they say I'm lying when I say I took accountability. Yes, I fucked up. I have said it many times. I like to think I've changed since. And I shit you not, the dumb bitch links the same tweet to her Twitlonger from 2021. The same one discussed in my previous video on her. You know, the one where she lied numerous times, claiming I withheld the evidence." He goes on to say, "Apparently they plan to make a big expose on me, I guess. They threatened me before with a weird, 'You have 24 hours a DM.' I'm sorry for my fuck-ups. I've gone to therapy, gotten diagnosed, and got prescribed meds. I genuinely do not know what you want from me at this point. To disappear, to die. I don't know. I don't hold this much of a debt over the woman who physically abused me. But okay, I'm doing the best I can to be a good person. This is literally all I can do. I wish you the best, man. I honestly do. I hope you heal from whatever hurt you. I hope you can find happiness and live a good life. I honestly wish you the best. Have a good day, dude." A big expose video on you. I already made your fruitcake cuck episode, if that's what you're referring to. If you were oh so sorry for your fuck-ups, you wouldn't still be lying about them. You wouldn't have linked the same Twitlonger apology where you lie about what you did and lie about me. I offered you the opportunity to speak with me directly. Otherwise, I would continue with your part of the project. It was a similar offer to the one I gave your friend, Fuchsia Butters. I did it because at the time, I delusionally thought you would eventually be honest. Now, someone asked her what exactly she did, and this is where everything comes full circle, where her whole "I'm sorry for my fuck-ups" falls apart. What the hell did you do? I'm out of the loop here. A couple years ago, I accidentally accused a guy of sexual harassment when I thought he sent an unsolicited shirtless photo to a friend at the time. I have since apologized to everyone involved and moved on. Apparently for some, though, that's not good enough. A dude has kind of followed me around since a video I did with Ponder and admitted to me he intends to take me down. She's oh so sorry, but here she is again lying, saying she accidentally accused him. You didn't accidentally accuse him. You may have when you first accused him, but you did it again. This isn't even the only person who asked about it that she ended up lying to. You say the apology is still up, that you've hidden nothing, but you don't mention anywhere in the apology that you accused him twice, that the second time you accused him, you had the evidence, but chose not to use it. You said, fuck it. No, you don't mention any of that. Instead, you lie in the apology, claiming you weren't sent it, that I withheld it from you, lying to your audience and followers, saying you accused him by accident. How is this taking accountability? How have you changed? How exactly are you doing the best you can to be a good person if you're still lying about what you did 3 fucking years ago? How have you even moved on since you're still lying about it? You say you aren't lying, and then you link the apology where you lied, and then you lie to someone who asked about it. What this is a specifically crafted narrative to make her seem virtuous, to make it look like she's taking accountability and apologizing for a mistake of hers, while conveniently leaving out details and lying to make me look bad and her look more favorable. She's doing this by dishonestly framing her mistake as accidental, essentially trying to make it less than what it actually was. A subtle means of downplaying and concealing it. It's so cowardly and pathetic. She apologized for something she didn't even do and lied to hide what she actually did do. She isn't taking accountability for the fact it wasn't an accident, that she made the accusations while knowing they were false. Why else would she need to claim she wasn't sent the evidence when she clearly was, and even shared some of it to her friends? It's the same reason she refuses to address the lies in the Twitlonger and keeps pointing to it as if it ever will amount to anything. Originally, my video discussing the problems of the FCK server would only be using testimony from Slimmers and Jamesy, with both of them blurred out, because even they knew that there was a risk of the audience lashing out at them for speaking up about their favorites, let alone agreeing with me on this topic. This was testimony I had been gathering from both Slimmers and Jamesy since roughly the end of 2020, but I put it off for the longest because this crowd and their audience kept telling me to move on. I also previously tried to get Teddy the Draws to come out about the FCK back in August of 2020, and she refused to, out of fear she would just be berated and not listened to. These people had far larger platforms.
I'm a bit worried you're going to have to get someone with a bigger platform to listen. No one listens to a nobody. That's why I lost the fight and had to apologize, even if I was the only part in the wrong. Interesting.
far larger sizes. So her idea was let bygones be bygones. They can do whatever they want because it wouldn't end well talking about it. So when it came to the private matters of the FCK and their Discord, all I had was matching testimony from several sources. That was until early 2023. While chilling in a call with Slamers, she signed into her old accounts for shits and giggles and realized that she was still in the FCK server. She then asked me if I wanted an invite, and I said sure, just let me get an alt account to throw in there. Upon me joining the FCK server, the first thing that I did was archive every chat that I could with a Discord exporter. Then I remained quiet for a few months while I took screenshots and organized them. April 1st of 2023, Nezzy Monster made a vague subtweet about someone else who apparently brought up the sexual harassment accusation, and 8 days later,
just because your object permanence ends with YouTube doesn't mean I've been silent on something and vice versa. Why is no one talking about this? Because I talked about it 3 years ago. Now fuck off. Also, stop commenting on situations not all related to the video. It's stupid and you look insane. Dude, fucking serious.
On the 9th, she released a second tweet longer discussing it. This
have a good day. Oh god.
will be the last time. This is the last time I'm talking about this situation. Bear in mind, a lot of this will be going by my memory, which isn't the best. For context, I made a claim that someone sexually harassed a friend of mine. It's almost like she's not outright admitting and actually avoiding stating the fact that she falsely accused him when they sent a shirtless photo without permission. What do you mean without permission? Why are you now going back on that and claiming yet again that they didn't have permission?
They literally said send me. What are you on about, Nezzy? You fucking suck.
It's a little odd. I received 2 separate screenshots. One was cropped into my server while the other was sent via DMs. He's referring to our DMs. I mixed these 2 up. Not only did I mix them up, but I later found out there were 2 separate photos that were sent. The screenshots that were sent only showed one of them. That was the photo that had been shown to me and was part of the original claim. Nezzy is stating that Teddy initially only showed her the shirtless photo of him wrapped in Christmas lights, and she based her sexual harassment claim on that. So why is she mentioning that this supposed second photo was sent when it wasn't originally ever a part of the claim? This is a ploy. Oh guys, there definitely was sexual harassment. I was right in my claim now because there's this other second photo that was sent that I didn't even fucking know about when I made the claim of sexual harassment. That makes so much sense. In the group of screenshots I was sent, the same one appeared 3 times. I didn't think they were useful. While I did accidentally send her a couple of duplicates, she's still admitting to going through the screenshots, which means that she would have seen the screenshot of Teddy stating, send here. I want to make something extremely clear.
So
I was not equipped for this situation at all. Some reasons are very private. I never intended this maliciously. This was not a planned thing. Everything just kind of happened because I panicked like an idiot. I take full responsibility and I apologize to a certain someone as A. She's talking about me and yet still refusing to say my name. My fucking Beetlejuice. By the way, to clear something up, the FCK was not made for you. It's just a chat filled with other creators as the person who owned it was social. It broke up because a lot of people disconnected from that person due to personal reasons. Yeah, personal reasons. That's why the FCK broke up. Not your rampant hypocrisy, your attempts to control the narrative, or the fact that you all were spamming the server with porn and showing minors pornography. Oh yeah, just personal reasons. The only times we ever brought you up was because you kept following us around. Oh, you're not going to state why I was following you around. Maybe the constant false accusations, hit pieces, watching on my Twitter and Discord server might have something to do with that. I don't intend to make a video of this, and I don't intend to talk about this again. Do not bother anybody else about this. This situation was entirely my fault. I take the full blame. I mixed things up, I panicked, and I approached this the same way, and for that, I am sorry. Ever since the situation, I've gone to therapy, been diagnosed, and have been properly medicated. You can choose to stay if you wish, but if you as my audience, my friends, do not wish to, I fully understand. Thank you for reading, and have a nice day. It was around this time, April of 2023, that I made the interesting decision to reach out to Lao Convoy to help me get a call with Nezzy Monster, because every attempt to talk with her went absolutely nowhere. This was another choice of mine that aligned the stars and put us on the path to the shitstorm back in early 2024. Now, just before our call, Nezzy Monster and Susie fucking Doodletones coincidentally reached out to Teddy the Draws to apologize for what had happened in 2020, and then her, Teddy, and Doodles got into a call. From a third-party source who was present in this call, it was allegedly aimed at getting Teddy to try and align their stories for the upcoming call with
Gotta head out, Ace, but good luck with the stream. Also, everyone leave a like. Oh, thanks, the Aries investigator.
me. Totally not suspicious behavior at all. Why would you need to prime yourselves if you're planning to tell the truth? There's a difference between preparing for the call and sort of refreshing yourself and trying to get someone to agree to a set of events for your public call. While I do trust this person, please take this with a grain of salt, because I don't have any evidence nor any other sources that align with the details, or supposed details, of this call in particular. It was then on May 7th of 2023 that I and Nezzy Monster had the call in Lyle Convoy's Senate server, with Doodletones tagging along as side gig. That'll be a pretty consistent theme moving forward. As usual, I'll summarize, but the recording with and without my post commentary is provided in the description. Nezzy Monster and Doodletones couldn't keep the story consistent in the call. On the topic of our DMs from 2020, Doodletones said that Nezzy Monster thought she deleted our DMs and didn't know she had them the whole time.
If I may, I was in a call when Nezzy went back and looked for those DMs. Nezzy didn't even know that they still had the DMs open.
On the topic of the sexual harassment accusation and Madlib's September 2020 video, Nezzy's reasoning for not giving Madlib the key screenshot was that she blocked me, closed our DMs, and had no way of getting them back.
Like I said, I gave what I gave to Libby, and I gave her the wrong things. I will admit that. We had a conversation about that. We left on good terms because I was an idiot and I mixed up screenshots and I misremembered a lot of shit that happened. Because after our convo, I had blocked you, and I also ended it, and I didn't know how to get it back.
Which is contradicting what Doodles first said, that we know is the truth for once, because just a few days before this very call, Doodles sent Kumo a screenshot from Nezzy's perspective of our DMs. Now, anytime I started bringing up what Nezzy Monster had done, her false accusations or her hypocrisy, the topic was immediately shifted to my mean statements, my mean comments, or even me being on a stream back in 2020. For instance, when I started to discuss her deceit, she shifted the topic to a mean tweet that I made about Slumers, insisting that it wasn't photoshopped to have her @ in it. The few times that the topic wasn't shifted, she said she couldn't remember much, only to continuously remember very oddly specific details for her claims, some of which never even happened. She remembered that I called her a bitch in a video, or that I was on her live stream in 2020, yet any time I asked about something on her end that she did, oh, I don't remember that. Another issue with the call, they put the onus for evidence only on me. I have no issue with evidence being demanded or asked for making a claim. However, I do have a problem with only one person being asked to provide evidence, and not once was Nezzy Monster pressed to provide evidence for any of her claims. Totally not biased, though. Not a biased call at all. That's a ridiculous notion. 15 minutes into the call, I point out that it wasn't the first time I've tried to have a conversation with the FCK. Nezzy Monster stated, I know from the several different DMs you've sent me. And this isn't the first time I've tried to have a conversation with you all. I've approached you all multiple times to have a conversation.
The several different DMs that you've sent me. One of which said you have 24 hours.
I said 24 to 48 because I was editing the video at the time, and this was specifically the video. It was specifically the video that was made right around the time the Mad Libs Lies Again video.
Do you not understand how threatening that message is?
Oh, grow up, bro. Fuck off. Do you not understand how threatening that DM is? Dude. Of course it's gonna be threatening to you because you're a fucking compulsive liar, you fucking bitch. Holy shit.
You had been ignoring me the entire time beforehand. If I joined your Discord,
you have 24 hours for the truth to come out with and not only that, but this was from an alt account that you didn't state your name. I didn't know who you were.
Had my name in it. All of my alts had my name in it. Keep this in mind. It'll be real important in just a bit. At 18 minutes in, we talked about me messaging her on alt after the Mad Libs video from September of 2020. As he specifically claimed, I did so 3 times and stated that she didn't know why I was trying to reach out to her when she actively didn't want to talk to me. I told her that it was because she kept lying about me, to which she said, no, I did not. The only account that I used to reach out to you last year was the
You have come to me with 3 different accounts.
Yeah, 3 different.
I don't remember any of them. I don't know why you kept trying to contact me when I actively didn't want to talk to you.
Because you kept lying about me. And then
no, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I don't talk about you. I don't care about you.
Part of this is a lie, one of which I've already shown. In Nezzy's tweet longer from January of 2021, she claimed that I withheld the evidence from her. That was a lie. A flat-out lie. A projection, even. Because she withheld those screenshots from Mad Libs. She only gave Mad Libs 6 out of the 16 that I gave her. Then there's her tweets in 2022 and 2023 discussing the accusation, where she insisted and claimed that it was an accident. It is not an accident to continue pushing a claim that you're aware is false, that you were given evidence and initially admitted that you were wrong, then walked it back, refused to admit that you were wrong in what you did, allowed your friends like Toby and Mad Libs to deny your actions for you, and then lie about the person who gave you the evidence so you could blame them instead. That is in no way an accident or a mistake. Those are repeated conscious decisions. Continuing on though, note that Nezzy agreed just 3 minutes prior that she knew I wanted to talk because I DM'd her multiple times. And here she said it was 3 times. Please keep this in mind moving forward.
Okay.
After the video was done, I was done with everything. You can respond, and if you're telling the truth, then there is your truth. But after that, I don't fucking talk about you unless you come to me.
This is false. The January 2021 tweet longer alone is proof of that. If she was oh so done talking about it after Mad Libs' video in 2020, she wouldn't have made a false claim about it in 2021. Then there's Nezzy saying, if you're telling the truth, then there is your truth. There is no such thing as your truth or my truth. There is your claims of what happened, my claims of what happened, and the truth. Whoever's claims mirror the truth the most, and hopefully accurately, is the one who's being truthful. It's relativism, and in this case, the truth is relative, subjective, and then it varies from person to person. This is used to imply that all viewpoints are valid, regardless of evidence and reasoning, by pretending there's no such thing as objective truth. People like Nezzy are incapable of separating or setting their feelings aside. To them, whatever they feel is how it is. They conflate their feelings with the truth. Yet she's also revered as an unbiased source of information. Once more, the best jokes write themselves, especially with people like this. Seeing as many from the SEC were listening in on this call, a community that loves to talk about logical fallacies, loves them so much that they impulsively invoke them all the time and often incorrectly, they still have yet to grasp what an ad hominem is, something that's been explained to them multiple times over the last nearly 10 fucking years. They think that simply hearing or seeing an insult makes an ad hominem. Point is, why was nothing said about Nezzy's logical fallacy? At 19 minutes in, Nezzy said that she's tired of me constantly coming to her DMs and coming to her streams with my friends, specifically stating that she remembers me following her Twitch stream on 2 different accounts.
And that's it. I don't give a single... I mean this in the nicest way. I don't give a single shit about you. I just want to move on. And I'm tired of you constantly coming to my DMs, coming to my streams with your friends, and coming into my chat.
Streams. Hold on, what?
You followed me on one of the streams.
I came to 1 stream, which was yours and Toby's. That was
one
it.
Of that, you came to 2.
No, there was yours and Toby's, and then I showed up in one with Mad Libs, which wasn't even about you. That was me fucking with Lucy.
No, you showed up in the stream with Toby, and then you showed up on one of my Pokemon streams. I remember because you followed it with 2 different accounts, which was Kumu and Nightmare.
Hold on.
Or Villain Lord or some shit.
On your Twitch stream?
Yes.
This is a lot of specific details and memories for someone who can't remember much. All of what she talked about there happened in 2020, yet she acted as if it was recent. I may have falsely accused you and your friends to hundreds of thousands of people, but how dare you show up in my stream making fun of me for it, and informing my blissfully unaware audience of people who normally grandstand others over lies and deceit. Now, I haven't touched a single stream of hers in 4 years. I also only have 1 Twitch account under this name. My other one I haven't touched in years before.
Honestly,
what I have done is bring it up on Twitter
proof?
or YouTube so people would know about what she did and what she was lying about. Then at 24 minutes in, Nezzy Monster mentioned stuff between Toasty and Teddy, Toasty and herself, and Toasty and Mad Libs, or Libby, that it wasn't her story to tell.
There was a lot of stuff that happened that you don't know about.
Well, okay, fair enough.
A few of the things, There was a lot of shit going on between Toasty and Teddy. It's not my place to say that. Between me and Toasty, there was a lot of uncomfortable stuff. He did uncomfortable stuff with Libby. Not my story to tell, but they did a lot of shit in the server that was very uncomfortable.
In regard, clearly, Nezzy was remembering something. 5 minutes later, we discussed the 4-year-old collab on me with Ponder, and specifically that her audience keeps bringing up the false claims from the collab. Nezzy Monster did not apologize for her false claims. She instead told me that if I was that convinced in my own point, to just tell the people to fuck off.
No, like this was 3 years ago, and I don't remember this. I don't keep track of everything. I don't take screenshots of every DM I've ever had. I don't remember every video I've ever made, because once the thing is done, it's done for me.
Well, the only reason I am so adamant about it and have the details is specifically because people keep bringing it up.
Then tell them to fuck
situation, it was brought up fucking last year. It was brought up I think a month and a half ago. It was brought up again. So it's not like something where I can just pack up and walk away like you guys did, because the claims that I tried to dox people, that I sent doxers after people, all of that stuff was purported by you all, and you guys just walked away. At least most of you did. There's Lucy, just took the video down. And then the Madlib said that I bullied Lucy into taking the video down, despite the fact that Lucy willingly took the video down. We had a whole DM discussion where it was like, I think you should leave the video up. No, I feel like taking it down. But regardless, it was claimed that I bullied Lucy into taking it down.
The best advice that I can give you to all the people, if what you're saying is the truth, and you have shown people this, then tell them to fuck off. I don't know why you gotta drag me into this.
Because you said it! What? What are you on about? Because you said it. What is this bullshit? If you really are convinced, just tell him to fuck off. I don't know why you're pulling me into it, because you are the one who made the claim. Fucking hell. You and Ponder. Fuck off. Holy fuck. Just really trying to dodge that accountability. Like it's fucking dodgeball. Holy fuck. Like left, right, dodge. Holy shit. Fuck this person. My god.
Who keeps bringing this stuff to you, Akumu?
Everyone.
Various people all over.
Then tell them to fuck off.
Well, they're using either your and Ponder's videos or the Madlib's video. Even though the Madlib's video was taken down, they're using the archive of it.
If your evidence is enough, if your evidence is enough, it would.
I guarantee you, to your audience, it's not. I could whip out evidence for days, and I have before in conversations with them. It doesn't matter.
Then tell them to fuck off.
Why are they?
If you are that convinced in your own point.
Okay, easy way to do this, Nezzy. Really easy way to do this, because what you have done, essentially done, not only slandered, but you've essentially made Akumu like, this piece of shit in your community, which no one's gonna take seriously. Nobody's gonna listen to, because you have painted him as an egregious person, a horrible person. Easy way to do this, at this time, very simple, very simple. Apologize and correct the record. Then he doesn't get shit, and you could actually move on. Everyone just gets to move on if you do that, but that lands on you. The ball is in your court. The cards are in your hands, but you're not doing that because you don't want to take accountability because you're a pussy. Fucking hell.
Then tell them to fuck off.
Does that sound familiar? Back to our DMs from August of 2020. I said I don't like liars. She said she's not lying. That I can think that, but alright. And I told her I ripped her a new one by confirming the dozens of lies in her video, the collab. She said, sure you did. Whatever helps you sleep at night. When I said that she lied in her video dozens of times, and that's why it was so easy to pick apart, and everything in that vid was backed. If you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. It wasn't, hence why it was picked apart. You had 2 good points at best. Nezzy replied, sure. Like I said, you can think what you want. And like I said, sure. Later stating, I don't know why you're still obsessing over that vid though, after I just explained to her that she lied dozens of times in it. Same video that she got hundreds of thousands of views with. But it's much easier to pretend my dislike of that. It's just me obsessed with the video, and that she has no idea why. This feigning ignorance and omitting issues to then complain about my issues is a long, long habit of the art and slideshow community. Both content creators and the audience do this. That's if they don't just tell themselves I'm salty or upset over being called out, just to avoid the actual problem with their favorite people. The point I'm making is that her telling me, if you're so convinced in your own point, it's just the same smug skirting around to the issue that she did 3 years before. An issue that she created. 39 minutes into the call, Nezzy did apologize, but only for her contribution to Madlib's hit piece. The Nezzy Monster segment that involved reciting the false sexual harassment accusation against my friend, with Nezzy stating that she regretted it. One of the points that was brought up in 2020, specifically in the Madlib's video, was that I would repeatedly show up and raid your all streams.
And that wasn't my claim. That's your problem with Libby, not with me.
The video was
didn't
made
write
to speak for all of you.
No, it was not. It was meant to speak for us separately, which is why everyone had their own points.
So, okay.
I wasn't a part of the making of the video. I only contributed that one part, which I really regret and I apologize for. I wasn't a part of the script. I didn't read the script. I didn't watch the video.
54 minutes in is especially noteworthy because I asked Nezzy about the porn spam inside the FCK server. Nezzy mentioned that Toasty would spam porn even in their conversations, and specifically brought up that Toasty had a chat for Slummers' NSFW, her porn artwork. What is with the porn spamming?
I don't know. He would do that in our conversations too.
Well, he wasn't the only one that did it.
Just kind of,
I know.
It was just kind of the environment that Toasty built.
Dude, all of you were involved in it. I know, like, this part, they're gonna try to, like, pin it on Toasty Vanilla because it's, like, that's the easiest scapegoat. They're freaky, you know, they jerked off in a call, they argued about, like, a lot of, like, really weird topics or obvious degenerate, and in no means are they innocent. No, they are guilty 100%, but it is very disingenuous to say it's only Toasty Vanilla's fault. So it's like, that is gonna happen here.
Yeah, and there were NSFW specific chats. I don't like the fact that he had an NSFW chat specifically for Slimmers for her art.
Well, yeah.
Did you ever bring it up?
The NSFW,
Which is one of the reasons why I left.
led out of the NSFW.
Oh, that's why you left. Okay.
Like, there's
I think
example.
I think that's primarily a question that you'd have to ask Toasty more than anybody else.
He recently answered a question I had, but he's not very
Not
he doesn't have a very good track record, being honest. No.
Yeah, I don't trust Toasty either because I found out later on that he faked screenshots between Peaches and Toby to get them to fight for whatever fucking reason. I don't know why. I don't know what his deal was. He did this with me and Teddy. He did it with Toby and Peaches. He did it with almost all of us.
Did he do it with the Ben situation, or was that just a Toby thing?
I wouldn't know because I don't remember much that happened between Ben and Toby.
If I recall that conversation correctly, I think it was just a Ben thing. I don't think Toasty really got involved too much with that.
He mostly tried to get it to keep quiet at the time. That's what I remember.
No one else mentioned that, brought it up, or even alluded or implicitly, remotely mentioned it. Nezzy was the first one to specifically mention the Slimmers chat, so she obviously remembered it. Yet when asked why none of this was brought to light, she constantly insists that her memory is oh so bad, that she couldn't remember these things. Yet something like a chat dedicated to a minor's porn, and was essentially a large group chat with adults and other minors, she remembered instantaneously, completely on her own. At 59 minutes in, Nezzy Monster told me that she still stood by the collab with Ponder, and that if I wanted more, I should talk to Ponder instead.
And
My
like
only is that shit being brought up again, like, repeatedly.
one of the we'll tell them to fuck off because here's the thing, right? I cannot control that other people come to you, and I cannot control what people believe. They choose what they believe. I stand by that video to my recollection of it and from what happened to it. If you want more closure on it, I would recommend talking to Ponder because I have a really fucked up memory because I'm stressed all the time and I'm not very smart.
I've reached out to Ponder before. I don't see that going anywhere, but I get attempt to. In an hour and 3 minutes into the call.
So you stand by a video you defamed and slandered someone. Okay, cool stuff.
We again discussed my attempts to talk to the FCK, and specifically Nezzy Monster.
Nezzy brought up some valid points about how you're conducting yourself, obviously, but that's what I think needs to go. If you want to have conversations, I do mean conversations, not dicking with other people who have been involved, I implore you to do it in a sensible way.
Well, I started dicking with them after things didn't go anywhere.
You should have been dicking with me to begin with.
You should have been dicking with me to begin with. It's fucking hilarious coming from her. Nezzy and nearly her entire friend group was dicking with me all throughout 2020. Don't forget the 2 communities worth of Spurgs right behind them, which I've shown you a sampling, a taste of what I dealt with. But apparently the line in the sand is drawn at her being made fun of for what she did and accused of the things that she did. Now here's one of my favorite parts.
Okay, well, I've dealt with
If you wanted to be communicative, like I said before, you have a history of dicking around with people. How do I, when you, I think at one point you even called yourself a troll, how am I supposed to know when to take you seriously and when not to?
Oh,
well, when I reach out to you on Twitter wanting to discuss it, like,
the one time I remember you coming out to me was, how is that L? And that's it.
Nezzy claimed that she only remembers one time that I approached her to talk, which was me asking, how is that L? While this is partially true, I was petty enough to message and ask her that. That is not the only time I've messaged her, and she knows this because she said so previously in this very call. Remember, at 15 minutes in, Nezzy said I DM'd her multiple times. And this isn't the first time I've tried to have a conversation with you all. I've approached you all multiple times to have a conversation.
The several different DMs that you've sent me.
3 minutes after that, she said I did so 3 times.
You have come to me with 3 different accounts.
Yet later on, when I state that I was trying to reach out to talk, putting the onus on her for dodging that, she changes her story to claim she only remembers me DMing her with that one question, how is that L? She previously agreed that I DM'd her multiple times so she could complain and victimize herself to that with, well, why were you trying to reach out to me when I actively didn't want to talk to you? Then when I state that I've been trying to talk to her to clear all of this up, she switched up, claiming to only remember one time I tried to. So she can then grandstand me about how I wasn't actually trying to talk to her. I wasn't being communicative. Fascinating how that works.
That
just a few seconds after Nezzy contradicted herself, we discussed our DMs from August of 2020. Nezzy claimed that she asked me in our DMs if I was going to revel in it, and claimed that I said yes, then claimed that I said I might. No, because before that, when the initial video was made, I think this is the first week that the video was made, the Mad Libs one in regards to the whole like sexual harassment thing. The first thing I did was I tried to DM you, and then it went nowhere, and that's why all the tweets that are in the video, which again can be found like at Nezzy's segment of the video on the Wayback Machine, all those tweets were made because no response was made. And then I got, hell, you fucking, when we were talking on the Noodle Cup Boy account, I wasn't dicking with you then, and then you yeeted me out of your server, and I tried to say
no, you were kind of dicking with me on there.
Kinda?
You brought up the shit with Lucy, and so I responded in kind.
And when I asked you whether or not to get this situation sorted, are you going to revel in it? And you said yes. You didn't want the situation to be fixed. You wanted to revel in it.
No, I didn't say I was going to revel in it. What
yes,
I said
you did.
was that,
there's literally a screenshot of it.
Hold on. Let me go to the DMs.
I said, are you going to revel in it, or are we going to get it fixed? And you said, I might.
This is untrue. Looking back at our DMs, Nezzy said, I admit I may have made a mistake. Do you want it fixed, or are you going to revel in it? I responded, may, in all caps, quoting her because of her audacity to think she may have made a mistake after I gave her the screenshots. 4 minutes after this, she repeats twice that if I wanted to talk, I could have reached out.
Just like, here's the thing. My biggest issue with you, right, is that you come off as a very hostile person. And no shit.
How many hours were you in Lavishly Lander? Well, almost 7 hours, dude. We're getting there. We're getting there. Fucking hell. God, fuck me.
Nobody wants to deal with a hostile person, especially me as someone with
this is awesome stuff though.
Like anxiety and someone that has to like takes a lot of meds just to function. I'm not going to react well to it. If you wanted to talk, you could have just said, "Hey man, you know, there's some stuff that I disagree with. You mind like hashing it out?" I'd be like, "Sure." I'm not going to respond to, "You have 24 hours till the truth comes out."
Well, what about the one after that one? Because the one after that one in 2022, I was like, "Hey, I'm working on this video," and I kind of want to talk about it before. I wanted to talk about it before posting it.
That one I don't
want to
remember.
make
Technical memory loss.
The second.
Also, you don't announce yourself. You never announce yourself. You just expect me to know which one is supposed to be you.
Well, the account was like named me. So, but
and
to be
you
fair,
expect me to think that every person named Akumu is you on the vast wide web.
What?
Fair, but
that
if I'm
someone has
bringing
a
up
weed name.
If I'm bringing up the Teddy and Silver situation, I think it would be fair to assume that it's me.
That's why I said that I.
What the fuck is that kind of logic? Am I just supposed to assume every account named Akumu is you, brother? This is some creative excuses to avoid accountability. Holy fuck!
Don't remember that DM at all. I don't even know if I read it. I could have just seen your name and fucked off. Because it doesn't show the full DM. It also probably went into the DMs. It's like, "Hey, warning, this person is suspicious," and I'm like, "Well, fuck it," because I have that on my thing.
Yeah, there's a third category of Twitter DMs.
Like, dude, if you wanted to talk from the very beginning, all you had to do was be like, "Hey, what's up?" But no, every time that you've ever talked to me, every time you've talked to anybody, has been incredibly hostile.
First, she agrees with me constantly DMing her so she can complain about me reaching out, that she actively didn't want to talk. Then she only remembers one time and tells me I could have just reached out. The fucking gall. Never mind the fact that while she's acting like she would have been open to talking with me, had I seriously reached out, despite the fact I did multiple times, and she's already acknowledged that. The only time when we were talking, she fucking blocked me. She previously admitted to that in this same call. Remember Heat and Mitsuru? She was listening in on.
Well, I'm late. We on to the Nezi portion of the drama. I'm assuming you already went over Lyo's new vid. No, I haven't went over Lyo's video yet. I'm still trying to finish the FCK Maxim, then I'm gonna go over that later. Yeah, there's still a lot to go over. Fucking hell.
This call and squealing in the text chat with the rest of the Centaurs, going on about how this was old and that it's never stopped being brought up. Kind of like the false doxing accusation I've dealt with. Something Heaton herself is guilty of claiming towards me. Though a notable difference is, Nezzy falsely accused me and later my friend. I haven't falsely accused her. Heaton went on to say, the whole point of this is that he won't leave Nezzy alone. That was not the point of the call. Heaton even linked the part 1 of Nezzy and Ponder's collaboration. I want this nerd to leave my friend alone. If you'd like to see the entire call and the whole chat reaction to it, it's within the video about the call. It was after the call that I tagged Heaton and brought up her reciting the false doxing accusation back in 2021, to which she defended herself doing so, but couldn't even get what I asked for right to even defend herself in making the claim. Heaton also said that the FCK should have kept Slummers far away from me, as if my mean tweets were the real and true danger, not the group of adults showing her porn and getting her to draw it, one of whom was Heaton's friend, Nezzy, who knew and stayed quiet about it. Priorities are great. She then told me to cope, ultimately running away from the conversation because she didn't have her friends backing her, like in those silly little slideshow calls. Even after the Synod call, Nezzy Monster went on to downplay the sexual harassment accusation she made, again, in a few calls with the slideshow commentary community.
To them, because that's partially our job. And I want you to understand that I too have fucked up before, and I have believed someone with very little evidence. And you want to know what I did?
What did you do?
I wrote out an apology twice because I also got something wrong in my first apology. I wrote out an apology trying the best that I could with my memory. I tend to have a bad memory because of my mental health issues. That's not an excuse, it's an explanation. And I shared that on every single platform. I had an apology sent to the individual in question because I didn't want to contact them. They were, I believe, friends with a doxer at the time. And I had a conversation with one of the people involved. I didn't hide anything. I didn't talk to them and say, well, you should take this. I did tell a friend if they could take it down, which I do regret. They didn't take it down. I didn't bother them again.
Whilst grandstanding someone else, talking about how they need to be held accountable.
If you do this bullshit again, we're going to bring this to Lyo, or you're going to have to deal with me again. Do you understand me? So if I see you...
Dude, I will never, I will never get over how seriously everyone, fucking prepped up Lyo to be. It always gets me, dude. It's so fucking funny to me. It's like, yeah, sure. Lyo can be decent in confrontation calls, right? I'm not gonna take that away, but I think it's really funny how some of these people will talk about him. They'll be like, "Oh God, the big, mean, scary Lyo convoy. If you don't handle this with me right now in private, I'm gonna get the lion." Okay, and he's gonna sort this out and fix things. And I think it's so funny because I've had so many conversations with Lyo at this point, right, on streams and shit like that, and it's like. I always think, him and I have, pretty chill conversations, and I'm always thinking, this is the guy you guys are afraid of? This guy? It's he's very mellowed out and chill, right? I don't know. It's really funny to me. It's people genuinely, unironically were terrified of this guy, and it's really? It's kind of funny to me. It's pretty funny to me. Fucking hell.
You do this shit again. You're going to deal with me.
But I personally feel I'm not saying it needs to be right now, but I feel like you at some point, once Key and Tippy are like emotionally better, you need to like hold them accountable. You need to just go up to them and be like, hey, you guys need to be actively working to improve yourselves, you know?
No, they need to be actively accountable right now. Something that I've noticed in this community is that Tippy and Key tend to be held with kids' gloves. You don't need to go down on them hard, but you need to hold them accountable.
Yet presenting her false accusation as though it was a mistake, an accident. Not that she made the accusation with no evidence to begin with, which is ironic considering her and Ponder's whole claim is that I lacked evidence. And of course left out that she continued to defend and lie about it for 4 fucking years. Don't think that this train stops just yet. If it's one thing I've shown you all, it's that these people can't help themselves. They have to dig to rock bottom. We're now in 2024, the precipice of everything you've been shown so far. In February, I finished the video on the FCK server with the help of a friend named Inla, who you've seen and heard narrate. It was while I edited the FCK server video, someone I told ran back to Lyle Convoy, setting up these next events. The FCK server video was uploaded and then scheduled to premiere February 26th of 2024. On February 23rd, 3 days before.
That's a name I only remember just because of fucking like Frick the Pirate bringing it up, I think it was fucking Gokado. What was their thing again? Dude, they only like had a call with Lyle Convoy apparently just because they were like dating an 18-year-old about to turn 19 and they were like 23 and they felt uncomfortable about it, which it's like, okay, whatever, dude. Whatever.
Madlibs put out her statement about the FCK and the server. It was an info dump that touched on the sexual harassment accusation, Toasty, Junkie, and even pissed off Dumb and Dumber, Nezzy, and Doodles. Yes, I was in the FCK server. A lot of terrible things happened in there. I should have stood up and said something, but didn't, and that's my fault. I left the server and stopped talking to anyone involved in it years ago because everything in it didn't sit right with me. Even when everyone tried to tell me it was fine, I should have said something about it, but I didn't. I stayed on extremely distant but decent terms with everyone as well if they ever messaged me afterwards, but I shouldn't have. I was afraid that if I said anything or didn't play nice, that everyone I thought were my friends, some with platforms way bigger than mine, would turn on me and throw me under the bus the same way they did to anyone else who disagreed with them. That should have been my first clue to get out. This does not excuse anything, but for what it's worth, I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry to the minors in that server that were exposed to so much and harassed by some members. I'm sorry I stayed quiet. I'm sorry for the couple of NSFW things I sent in the chat. Even if they were the result of conversation I was having with other adults, never directed at or meant for minors. It was unacceptable of me. And she shares a screenshot of our DMs when we spoke a few months back and I reached out to her for the project. If it's any consolation at all, I don't ever plan on returning to my platform on any social media, so I don't care if any of my former friends want to call me a backstabber / bad friend for saying this. That server was wrong and not even half of what happened should have slid by. I'm done with all of you and I have been for a long time. I don't have a platform to risk or so-called friends from the art commentary community to lose anymore. So fuck you, Toasty Vanilla. I should have dropped you when you got people in my server to draw porn of me and held it over my head, begging to show it to other creators even after I told you it made me uncomfortable. And here are the 2 DMs that she shares. There's Toasty sending the image. She says, hey man, can you not encourage this anymore? I'm like legit starting to get uncomfortable. I was gonna say choke slap me with your thighs, but then I remember the last time I said something like that, I almost made things really awkward. It wasn't what you said. It was the literal porn bounty you put on my head. Well, never thought I'd say that sentence. Well, now everyone in the group has trap porn made of them. It had to be done. This is what Porn Rod does for admitting you let minors into the NSFW chats when you were a mod because it didn't matter. Glad I banned you after that shit. Screenshot from my mod chat. And having the gall to have an interview with Junkie telling him that people stepped over your boundaries. Here's the message. Please don't accept it. I know him. He's drama hungry. Plus, I recently blocked him, so he's probably mad about that. Obviously, if you want to accept it, I can't stop you and it's your decision, but I've been through this shit with him before. He just wants to stir shit up and continue drama. I'm actually fucking pissed at him right now. That Akumu guy made a vid on him, and apparently Toasty told him we let minors into the NSFW chat because we don't care, that's too hard to monitor, which is not fucking true at all. That's how he runs his bullshit server, not us. When you would constantly be a fucking creep to everyone no matter how many times people told you to stop along with a million other things that I was scared to talk about because your favorite thing to do besides masturbate all day and talk about it was to threaten people behind the scenes with how many screenshots and DMs you had saved. To say I'll always win and I have more on my side during arguments. Even bragging in VCs about having certain YouTubers face pics when they didn't want to show their faces. Fuck you, Nezzy Monster, for telling me that Akumu's friend sexually harassed someone and giving me every screenshot except the one where the person had asked for the shirtless pic to be sent. And you and Doodletones telling me you just forgot to send it years after the fact. You said it was cropped to only say send here. That's the one I remember getting sent to the server. I didn't remember the one here. I don't even remember it being in the original time we had DM'd each other. Apparently you can change URL.
Dude, the infighting is insane, bro. Fucking that's how you know it fucked up. It was so bad that it imploded from the inside. It's fucking happened.
Yeah, you can. URLs? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. All I remember is that there were 2 photos and the cropped one got sent to the server and I may have mixed them up. I want an explanation and hopefully you can see that oopsie I forgot isn't a great one. I can, but I can also see it being a realistic one. Saving only a few screenshots, closing the DMs, then not having things when asked. Didn't remember they had those. That's fucking convenient, isn't it? If someone had closed their DMs, I wouldn't pretend like it's only to save their own hide. Like I get you're angry, but seriously, don't really have much reason to accuse Nezzy of doing this for any ulterior motive. Except for the fact that Nezzy Monster never closed the DMs. You all admitted this and couldn't keep consistent to that story in the Senate call that releases today. Fuck you, the name's Junkie, for coming to me to make a video against Omnia and Kai, then turning around and telling everyone that I wanted to make it, and that I had terrible critiques based on nothing, and you never understood my admittedly bad criticisms on Omnia's video. You want to collab on this? Like how? Like a collab response vid, like how most commentary videos do it. No, I mean, what part would I do? What? Oh no, we'd set up a script and edit together like how Ponder does her stuff. Or we would both go over the whole thing together. We'd both go over it. When we watched it together, you agreed with my points until your editor came along, and suddenly you were just a poor innocent man who was helping a mean friend with her video and saying you didn't even know what happened on Twitter in an interview you did with Minty Shit. Not sure how she knows about it, but never told anyone other than Toby that this vid is about her. Interesting XD. And then they are sharing screenshots. And may I add, I expressed doubt about the video and you encouraged me to keep keep going. The whole thing was bad, and I don't agree with anything from the Toby drama, but how dare you act like I was the instigator? Like I was the one pushing you when I was the one to drop the collab. We know what we're doing. I've never gotten it before, and it's like, hell, I even asked around for similar thoughts on this, and a lot of people that are critical of me agree that this video needs to be made. My worst fear regarding this platform. Okay, Libby, it's gonna be okay. Sorry, I know you're better at dealing with this. It's just worrying all the people that believe her because they don't know the full context. Again, trust me on this. We're fine. Many of my friends have been noticing how egocentric Omnia has been getting. Oh yeah, we have to include that, by the way. All the shit she's been saying. Yeah, I'm gonna slam her for that because 43 minutes in so far. Hey man, you're going to be upset at this, and I understand that, but I can't do this collab. I know you're gonna be disappointed, but I physically can't do this with all the shit and blank being a concern right now. I'm really close to a breakdown. I'll make my own video, or we can pick this back up in time. But right now I can't. That's why it kept taking me so long to get you the audio because I didn't want to do it. I'm really sorry. You reserve the right to be mad and not talk to me, but I can't. Well, do you want me to continue working on the video, or do you want me to push it aside for now? Push it aside if that's okay. You were the one who brought harsh opinions up to me to further encourage her to make videos on Kai Weiss. Ayo, Harsh said hi, and she might tackle Kai's garbage 10-minute video. Oh my fucking god, please. Also, what's her Discord? I'll say hi back. Yeah, 1 second. Harsh opinions numbers. There you go. You still there. Fuck you, Doodle Tones, for telling me you just had some diaper fetish stuff from 2014 when you liked to sexually roleplay as a fucking 8-year-old in the past. Granted, I should have done my research. That one's on me too. But most of all, fuck me for defending, abiding, and standing idly by all you fucking assholes because I stupidly wanted to be a part of your community, to be accepted by people that I now realize have nothing in their lives beyond their 100k YouTube channels. I'm glad I left, and I'm glad this is all finally out, so I can say all of this without worrying about a platform or a cult-like group of assholes that don't even matter in the real world. Fuck you all, goodbye. She also went on to quote retweet herself even more about Toasty. Oh, and another two things actually. Let's not forget about one of Toasty's favorite hilarious stories about how he was masturbating alone in one of the FCK voice chats, and Hopeless Peaches came in and he told her to get out because he was busy. Never could verify it before, but in the video below he talks about it and mentions how he loves chicks with dicks, as he puts it, which puts the porn of me with a dick, and how he brought up he still had it on his computer while in VCs with other people and wanted the same for his friends in a more disgusting light. God, I hate how long it took me to realize the way he acted wasn't okay. I hate that. I told him everything was fine when it wasn't because he insisted everything was just a joke, and he learned people's boundaries by overstepping them. That's everything so far. I don't know if she's going to say anything else, but Doodle Tones did respond to that part about them. It is far too early to deal with this, and I am so unbelievably tired of addressing this particular one time and time again. I know what my next video will be doing. Now, something I'd like to point out that I pointed out in my tweets, if you go to that post, there's about 2 to 3 different attempts at roleplays. Each time, Doodles describes the character as being physically underage. The worst one, the one with Kirby, that lasts, I'm not joking, a month. Now, I can only show you a little bit here and there without getting banned, but I think I can link it down below. Doodles has also claimed that this roleplay in particular made them uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable with a situation, a conversation, a discussion with someone, do you make an alt account to come back and continue the roleplay that you're uncomfortable with? Well, apparently, Susie does. On February 25th, Hopeless Peaches had a call with Lao Convoy and someone by the name of Crystal Flame. Crystal Flame talked to a crying Hopeless Peaches, explaining that she should make a Twitter thread to get ahead of us talking about the FCK server. Now, Peaches should go about that. It was also during this.
See, this is actually like when I started to see it a lot more because like fucking, I think Crystal Flame had all the archives of like the FCK, and this was back in like, dude, this would be recent, dude. This would be back in like, well, I say recent, last year of February. I said recent, bro. Fuck me, dude. Time moved way too fast. But yeah, that would be around when like Lio started getting a lot of shit too. Fuck. Yeah, there's only 2 hours left, so I imagine that it's probably like last year then. Yeah.
It's called that Hopeless Peaches admitted to knowing that Slammers was a minor.
On Saturday, February 25th, Crystal Flame asked Akumu for the logs of the FCK. Since he did not provide them at the time, I offered my copy to Crystal. While I had the logs for a few months, I couldn't pour through all of them at once. Asuka, someone on my staff, was the one with the logs. They're massive, and we only now had a full team to dig through them. Originally, when I got the logs, the purpose was to look through them because I heard through a third-party source that Akumu was going to use them against Peaches to make accusations, along with the fact that he mentioned several people were scheming to harass him at the time in 2020. Helping with the drama dispute, despite the fact that these people should not have targeted a kid in general, or the prevention of false accusations being brought about, really isn't on the level of predation, which is why the logs weren't immediately come through in their entirety. Whilst we did find Peaches' messages, I didn't consider them to be a massive issue worth addressing immediately. While that was my opinion at the time, it obviously needs to be looked into more, which is what's being done now that Crystal brought them to my attention again. Crystal poured through them and found some things that concerned them. So we got in call and started talking about it. This is the first time Peaches heard about this.
I wasn't like hiding it or anything.
Yeah, media crying.
Because when Akumu started asking me about like FCK stuff, I didn't even remember what that even meant. For Aiden. And then like when I did finally remember, I only remembered a couple of people who were in there.
Funnily enough, Crystal made it clear that what we found of Peaches conducting herself inappropriately around minors was nothing too bad, just something that would give Omnia and Akumu more ammo. And it wasn't something they were too concerned about, and Crystal had the full logs. And Crystal did voice that to Peaches as well as soon as they joined the call.
No, I'm stressed out because I don't remember.
Just hearing your voice, I generally believe that you don't remember these screenshots. You don't remember these chats taking place because, you know, it's such a little bit of your life. And
dude, Lio, you gotta. Okay, I literally have to put like this on. Your music is way too loud, bro.
Well, I can give you that benefit of the doubt.
Or Crystal Flame's too low.
Crystal said they understood Aaron didn't remember these things, and told them that there was no need to take immediate accountability.
Let's work out next 6 hours, okay? Next about 6 upcoming hours. Or it could be longer if you want, but I think 6 hours is a good time frame. First, half an hour to an hour. You know, we're gonna finish this chat up, you know, all that happy stuff. And then within that time, you're gonna be with your friends, you're gonna compose yourself, okay? You're gonna, you know, come back, you know, where you are, calm your mind down, and everything like that. And then you can go over what has been sent, what has been shared, what has been talked about, my points and the points that Lion might have, and then you will talk to you and your friends and work out, okay, how am I making a post about this? And you can make hundreds of drafts if you need to within that time. You know, how the phrase is best. And if you need me to comment on it, I'm more than happy to help you write that public post as well, okay?
When we went through the logs, we found Peaches making inappropriate comments in the server, a space that had minors in it due to the lack of age gating and rules to distinguish minors from adults. Yet, Peaches never posted anything pornographic, nor had a sexual conversation with anyone they knew was a minor. Yes, there were minors around, but Peaches never purposely directed sexual content at them. However, Peaches recognized their past behavior as inappropriate and was reasonably distraught hearing about this. This upset was present throughout the entire call. I don't need to drag this out to make it believable. The choppy clips are due to the mental distress Peaches was in. We explained everything to Crystal, including that Peaches was still under the control of their groomer when they were active in the server, was left.
Okay, dude. Look, they literally knew Slimmers was 15 and still acted this way. Like, in the server, dude. I don't know. I don't know.
Them having learned their kind of behavior as normal and desirable, even if their groomer wasn't present in the server. This wasn't used as an excuse, merely to give context to what kind of situation Peaches was in back then and how it influenced their actions.
So you're talking about, like, Peaches being desensitized, alright, but I mean, obviously, they'd still need to be held fucking accountable, regardless. Not saying that that's not what he's saying, but just, like, going off of that and building on that, even if that, like, was the case, yeah, 100% Peaches could still have to be held accountable, because regardless, right, grown person, you know, grown adult, right, grown person, and still was inappropriate in a server that they knew had a 15-year-old in it. All right, like, come on.
As was that then? I think I knew their age as 16 or 17.
Yeah, but you were also dealing with the after effects of being groomed because you were still in contact with the guy who groomed you. Because this was what, right before door stuff happened?
Okay.
This was before Cosmodor, so you didn't even come to realization of what happened to you until after he got exposed, because that's when you started questioning things. Crystal originally told Peaches to take...
Was Peaches a victim of Cosmodor? I don't know what he means by that.
...a break and comforted them. So we left the call with the understanding I would handle the situation, as Crystal had agreed to within the call.
That's the sad answer for that.
I'll get it handled.
Okay. I'll hold you to it. Because...
I'll get it handled, and I can easily get this video up for him. Even if I stay up all night, I can get it done.
Nezzy Monster put out her statement at 7:08 p.m., asking if everyone could stop kicking a 4-year-old hornet's nest, that there's no winning for her in this situation. Here is the full statement. If people could stop kicking a 4-year-old hornet's nest, that would be really great. If people could stop throwing me and my friends under the bus when they were also involved, that would be great. Do not come to me for shit. There's literally no winning with people in the fucking FCK situation. I chewed out Toasty and then I left. Do I wish I did more? Yes. Can I go back in time? No. You don't actually give a shit about anyone involved. You just like having a target. I know this because then it would have been over the first time. It's like dealing with a toxic ex or parent, bringing up the same shit over and over again when it has been talked about to the point of exhaustion, and I ain't doing it anymore. Stop dragging me into your bullshit. I am tired. A fucking life, get a hobby, touch grass, fuck off. I'm done, and I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not gonna be a fucking content punching bag and wallow in years old shit. Explain this, explain that. No, I want my fucking privacy back. Fuck you. An hour later, Hopeless Peaches put out her own Twitter thread discussing the FCK. With an old server I used to be in coming to light, I had a third party look over the exports of the server to check what was in it due to my own memory issues. About 4 years ago at the start of 2020, I was invited to a friend-only server. I wasn't very active in the server, but the people I asked to look over it did find instances of where I did speak in the server, and it made me very disappointed and disheartened with myself. Back in early mid-2020, I didn't filter myself and stay cognizant of the fact I was in a public space, and where I made unfiltered NSFW jokes as shown in the first 2 screenshots. My account is highlighted. The messages that I feel the worst about are the second 2, where I was woken up at 8 a.m. by pinging with what I've been let known was porn. I asked why it was sent, but didn't push on it either through forgetting or simply not thinking about it given I just woken up. I should have pushed harder on this and conducted myself better. Since I realized in September of 2020 that the guy I was close to had groomed me, I realized I needed to be better and have an understanding on how to act in open spaces. It doesn't excuse it though. In the 4 years since then, I've changed as a person. However, despite the fact that looking back at these messages doesn't trigger any memories, I am still holding myself accountable for my actions in that server. For my past actions, I'm deeply sorry. Strangely, Peaches left out the fact that she knew Slimmers was a minor, something she just admitted before making the thread in the call with Lio and a Crystal Flame. Right. On the 26th, coincidentally just a few hours before my FCK server premiere, Lio premiered his Conundrum video. Towards the end of the video was a rushed last segment addressing me and a couple of friends of mine, with mostly guilty by association. Lio said he drew the line at lying, that I was going to make false claims about Peaches by misrepresenting the FCK logs, and that he doubted Peaches knew there were minors in the FCK.
And hanging out in Kumo's server with In-Law is the latest false accusation supreme himself, Akumu. We'll get into him later. You know who else is in In-Law's server? Conundrum. Nice company he keeps. What, did you think we wouldn't know? One of the longtime members of that server came to us the moment these freaks started joining to tell us what's going on. These people care so little about victims of predation that they'll release a call some fool gave them that he had no permission to do, completely disregarding the victim's wishes, because they care so very much about what's right. Now, let me address the Akumu comment. I'm not going to deny that Akumu was done wrong in the past by ArtCC people. If he wants to address that, he can. Specifically some comments made to him by Ms. ZZ. However, I draw the line at lying. There's a reason he's not going to release the FCK logs until after the video drops. It gives him control of the narrative. We, however, had a longtime server member give us access to the logs that Akumu will not release. Logs I asked him for months ago, by the way, that he refused to give. Not only to me, but to other adults who asked. Now, I know some of my audience are minors, which is why I'm not going to release the logs here because there's porn in there. He's going to try to use cherry-picked examples to try to frame it as Peaches being okay with degeneracy being shown to kids. So here's the most troublesome stuff that happened in there concerning Peaches. Here we have Peaches making a joke about the KKK. This is not a joke specifically making fun of a race, just a throwaway joke about the group itself. Literally just milquetoast dark humor. There's also of note that this was 4 years ago. All of this was. Here we see Peaches responding to Fuchsia Butters and Miss ZZ spamming porn in the server, wherein Peaches made a joke about it. Now, there's some context here that needs to be highlighted, and that's the fact that Peaches was groomed for 7 years. Even at the time this all happened, they were still being manipulated by said groomer. So even if Peaches was 100% aware that there were kids in the server, which personally I doubt, this is something Peaches had normalized by their groomer.
A really weird claim to make, considering the night before, the call where he spoke of rushing this video to get it out before me, he heard Peaches admit to him that she knew Slammers was a minor. This was the start of the, well, Peaches was groomed excuse, and subsequently Lao siding with the remnant of the FCK server members, and downplaying the server and its events. Though for the record, he sternly and adamantly denies that being his intention. February 27th, Nessie Monster took to Twitter to tell everyone that she was suicidal. If we are all our flaws, and there's no chance for change no matter what I do, then maybe I should just do everyone a favor, kill myself.
Bro, dude, this just comes off as suicide baiting. This is why you shouldn't post anything like this, bro. Fucking hell.
I'm a bad person. Now there'll be one less bad person. A, the art and slideshow community have a silly habit of separating individuals into the good and bad person dynamic. The supposed good person will get leniency and excuses from the people. They do this to make the situation black and white for themselves because they often have a very delusional and passionate sense of justice, which I think I've shown again and again.
You want to act like a hero, trying to be Donnie's knight in shining armor. But here is something that should be important. A hero doesn't always do a grand battle. Sometimes they do small things, like getting cats out of trees when they're stuck. That is a very small thing, but it's a very good thing to do. And this was just a cat stuck in a tree. And instead of just trying to climb up the tree with a ladder or something to try and get the cat down, you tried to chop the goddamn tree down!
The fuck is this?
Oh, is he done?
No. No.
All right, then let me be very clear. Be more concise.
I'm sorry. Key. I know you haven't learned anything, because this call made me realize that you haven't learned anything for years. So, I want you to
This is
know
just fucking
this.
LARPing.
If a situation can be solved with a simple relay of, hey, he's doing this because of his mental health or physical health, nothing to do with like hating you or anything like that, relay that fucking message. Don't turn it into a goddamn anime fight, because whenever you do something like that, you cause people to be hurt, because you've hurt Donnie in that situation, the person you were trying to help.
Did he write a script?
And you hurt a lot of other people too.
And they wield it around the internet and take it very fucking seriously. These people love to point the mob at anyone else to condemn their target, regardless of whether they're right or wrong. But the second people are upset at them for what they have provably done, their life is apparently ruined. In a reply, Nessie said, no, he fucking doesn't. If that were the case, it would have been over by now years ago. I literally got in call with him. I've talked about it myself. There's fucking nothing I can do, so I might as well fucking go. She's conflating our conversation about the false sexual harassment accusation as the same as the FCK server. It's not the same thing we discussed. Based off of her statement, she probably told herself that I wouldn't talk about it publicly after our call. It's a weird cope to take.
That call was so cringe, dude. I am willing to think that the guy unironically had like a Google Docs or something like that of like things that he wrote down, because like that seemed very fucking performative. My God, you know, heroes do things like save cats from trees, but what you did was cut the fucking tree down, you fucking bitch. Like, okay, dude. Okay, buddy. Okay, calm down. Calm it down, buddy.
But alright, when this user directly messaged Nessie Monster on Twitter, she replied, no, I've had enough. I've done this for years. He literally told me himself he wants to take me and the community down. There's nothing I can fucking do. This isn't over criticism. It's over the stalking and constant at my back, breathing down my neck. I also have a life outside of this with shit going on, so don't you dare say it's just about this. I fucking had it. Perpetual victimhood aside, another claim of stalking. It's quite the spectacle. Watching someone who loved partaking in the accountability culture, who believed in the we need to hold you accountable slop, suddenly drop it all because they didn't expect it to ever be applied back to them. Especially when you take into consideration the several subtweets she's made over the years, such as these from 2022, where she talked about how she won't pity others who have fucked everyone else over, that she wasn't letting them step all over her. She was putting her foot down, that these were the consequences of their bullshit, that they need to sit there and stew in the cell that they got themselves into. People will repeat vile actions when you show that there will be little to no consequences. It's time to make someone into an example. The mask is coming off more and more. The excuses are running out. These switch-ups are my favorite highlights of this lengthy feud between the two of us. Someone else needed to sit and stew in the cell they got themselves. They were receiving the consequences. But Nessie doesn't apply to her apparently. Returning to the timeline, there was yet another FCK member to release a Twitter thread addressing their involvement in the FCK server. That was Ellie Momelli at 5:30 p.m. I've been made aware about my involvement in the FCK. I would like to make note that I did not send porn in that server. I did send some memes that were not appropriate for minors to see. For that I am guilty of. I'm not here to say excuses. I'm here to say what happened. Small thread. I had very little involvement in that server. I left that server not long after I joined that I couldn't even recall me being in there until today. I had no idea about half of the things that happened in the server. I sent memes and subject matter that kids shouldn't see.
Dude, melatonin, bro, goes crazy.
That was irresponsible, and I am very sorry. I have not since repeated and will not repeat that behavior again. That is a promise I can make with certainty. I hope that I can continue to prove to you all that I'm better, and I am still very sorry for what I did contribute to. On February 28th at 4:30 p.m., Miss Easy put out her statement on the FCK. Statement on the FCK server. Not sure how long this will be. I joined the Fruitcake Club server thinking it was a space for YouTubers, editors, and anyone else involved YouTube. I was first invited by a user named Toasty Vanilla. I was connected to them because of the Madame/Slamers issue that happened about 4 years ago. That's about as much detail I can give for what happened before joining. The server had some YouTubers I respected, but the editors and personal friends of Toasty I was unfamiliar with. As for what happened in there, most of it is a blur. I have vague memories of things like what possibly broke the server and details of relationships that aren't any of my business to talk about. In terms of my own actions, yes, I saw the screenshots. I couldn't possibly explain what I was thinking at the time, but looking at them now, I am disgusted with myself. Talking the way I did wasn't okay, and I wish I could take it back. Nothing I said was okay. There were sexual conversations in the presence of minors that I partook in, and everything was mismanaged. I'm not sure how I didn't see anything wrong with what happened, and I can't make any excuse for it. The main issue was with one user who at the time was 17. Things were strange between us, I will admit it. They admitted to having a crush on me. I remember not returning the sentiment, but in the server convos, I was still sometimes sexual towards them. I should have backed out earlier, and maybe I thought I did. I should have tried harder to leave it alone. The server kinda imploded on itself, at least a few bigger roles than it did anyways. I did eventually leave, either cutting ties or losing contact with lots in there. I didn't get to talk to everyone, and I haven't thought of that server since I left. In the span of 4 years, I haven't given the server another thought. In fact, I forgot about it. In that time, I'd like to believe I changed as a person, being more careful with those I talk to, but overall, lessening my contact with those in the creator space. To make things clear and be completely honest, I never talked to most outside that server. Toasty and I have cut communication. I didn't pursue anyone after leaving and became more reserved. I want to take back the things I've said, things I did, and change how I treated people in the past, but I cannot. I'm aware of how predictable or corny this sounds. I can only say I'm sorry. I apologize to those I've hurt. I fucked up really badly. Nothing I can do or say can realistically make what I've done right again. I'm sure I've also lost the respect of those in my audience who enjoy my content. I'm sorry to you too. I wish I had more to say, but I don't. You don't have to accept my apology, and I don't expect to be treated nicely. Whether you do or don't, thank you for reading. What a statement there. I couldn't help but notice that there are a couple of things left out, such as the fact that she knowingly spammed the comment section of a child with copy pastas about boy pussy. And she also flaunted that she did this in the server while she was in VC. Hey, look at me. Look at what I did. See, I'm cool. I'm cool like you guys. Yeah. So that happened. And the other thing that she left out, which is probably the more damning thing, in my opinion, I think there's a reason it's not mentioned here. The thigh pictures. The fact that they were sharing thigh pictures in there and asking for people's thigh pictures. And she participated in that. Why was that left out, Zena? It's a little odd. During the back and forth with Lio and Doodle Tones, some key events did take place that I will mention. On March 22nd, Fuchsia Butter put out a statement on the FCK server which consisted of multiple screenshots of text to get around Twitter's word limit. I have a TISM report going over the entirety and the problems with it, but I will summarize. In this essay, Fuchsia apologized to me for the video he made back in March of 2020, only to then blame Toasty Vanilla for why he made the video in the first place. As typical with the FCK members, point the fingers elsewhere, and because Toasty is one of, if not the worst degenerate sex pests that were in the FCK, why not just pin all the blame on him, even though Toasty had nothing to do with the video on me? This not only contradicts what Fuchsia told me in our DMs from August of 2020, but also what we can see inside the FCK server. As Madlibs and Nezimonster both have told me, Fuchsia took interest in me and wanted to make the video after the collab with Nezimonster and Ponder. He approached Madlibs and Nezimonster for info about me and evidence on me. Toasty Vanilla had no hand in Fuchsia's video. Now, Fuchsia then got into a long, detailed life story about what he went through and his abuse, because people like this have no concept of keeping to the fucking topic. They need to give you an autobiography to justify what they've done. Around March 24th to 25th of 2024, it was late at night. Early March 25th, Ellie Momelli had taken to Twitter to tell everyone, two various threads. The first one she ended up deleting, that she was being messaged on Instagram and Twitter by these alt accounts that had been recently made, or mostly recently made, calling her a pedo and saying all these various horrible things to her. I'll put them up on screen. I'm not going to read them. I've already read them in a TISM report, but you can read them yourself if you want to pause. But these are the messages that she received. She then went on to make this Twitter thread stating this. I deleted the post. I did mess up. I messed up when I posted memes that minors should not have seen in the FCK server. I've since apologized for it. I do not wish to run away from that. I have taken accountability. There it is. And I've not repeated that offense.
The community is built on pointing fingers, I swear to God. Dude, unironically, yeah, it's like when there's like a new scapegoat, it's like, oh, I only did the egregious fucked up action because of this guy. Toastify didn't, not Toastify, fuck, lol. Toasty Vanilla did not encourage you to do anything like that. That video, like Fuchsia Butters, you did it 100% yourself. You were so confident, you were like, unironically, like, you were looking forward to it. You were gonna have Akumu's blood on your hands. Dude, like, you only did it because you wanted to. Like, just own up to it. Unironically. When did Toasty Vanilla be like, Fuchsia Butters, my soldier, go after Akumu now? Like, you suck, dude. Holy fuck.
Nor will I ever thread. That, however, does not mean people should get on throwaway accounts to get to DM me calling me a pedo and make threats on my life and loved ones. I have gotten harassment on both Twitter and Instagram. Outside of what I have admitted to doing, I have done nothing wrong. Nothing to deserve what I've been dealing with. I know this isn't going to stop cowards from talking behind a screen pretending it's not another human being they're saying wretched things to, but I'll do what I can. I don't wish this treatment on my worst enemy. I'm not a danger to children. I was negligent. I own that. I'm not trying to silence what I did, but I am not a predator. I've never predated on children, and I never will. As corny as it sounds, I'm going to try and stay strong. I'm going to try and be a better person every day, not just for myself, Well, but for those who care, I'm safe, don't worry. I'm sorry I scared you all. It's been very hard to deal with. It's been hard to trust anyone nowadays, and I've been feeling more and more paranoid as of late. Those still wanting to hurt me, please leave me alone. I don't think it'll do much, but I still want to try. All I can do for now. It was April 3rd that a couple of people got together for a call. The big and important names are Doodle Tones, Nezzy Monster, Ellie Momelli, and Teddy the Draws. It was this very call that Nezzy, Doodles, and Ellie tried to guilt-trip Teddy into publicly defending them. They did this by bringing up the flack they were getting for the FCK server, specifically using the messages that Ellie received to guilt-trip Teddy and to clearing Nezzy and Ellie's names in the public eye. Basically wanting to use Teddy as a token victim to wave around. Nezzy, I thought your bed was comfy. What happened? Did you let the bedbugs bite? Well, I cannot provide you clips from this call because Teddy does not want the call publicized. My information comes from two sources. The first is Laka, who has and seen this very call and vouches for what I've told you. And my second source will remain unnamed, but they were present to the call and described what I've told you. A fun fact about this call, they all agreed in it that it wouldn't be recorded, but Doodle Tones recorded it anyways. Of course, I'm not going to complain. I'm glad it was recorded. We couldn't have that lost to history, even if it's not yet public. But the fact that Doodles did record it is just another example of his word amounting to jack shit. The next day, April 4th, another call was held. This time with Doodle Tones, Ellie Momelli, Laka, and Teddy that Draws to talk about the FCK. Recording this call has been publicized by Laka. I'll link it. In it, Doodle Tones, while sounding like they're on the verge of crying, told Laka that my claim that the members' ages were commonly talked about in the FCK server wasn't exactly true, only to admit at least 7 ages were stated. Laka then pointed out that the ages were stated in the server, and they were known by several members of the server.
The few ages that were stated in there, because Kumu, I know, has gone on record saying that ages were very commonly talked about in there, and that's not exactly true. Only like maybe 7 of them, or 7 ages were actually confirmed in the chat, where they were when they were stated and in what chat they were stated.
Yes, but the issue there is the ages were still stated, and many people involved were also aware of some of the ages.
Okay. He does not make that clear. He just said that ages were stated.
Well, okay. This just seems like semantics. If you're going on record that there were 7 different people who stated their age, then yeah, that would be like some people, like that would be like ages were stated.
I'm not talking about Akumu. I'm talking about in general. Because like most people in that server were aware of the ages, as a problem is all of you had made videos around the time about the Slimmers incident clearly remarking about...
No, I did not.
Okay then. Well, a lot of people in that situation of the Madam situation made clear videos remarking that Slimmers at least was age of 15. Many of them including Nezzy Monster herself. Which, and also in regards to that, I read...
Himself, they prefer to go by...
I do apologize. I was informed their pronouns was any. I do apologize for that. I will make a correction. I do apologize.
It's any. It is any. You can get away with any, but they prefer either they or he. They don't like just defaulting to she.
You can get away with any, as if you need fucking permission. These people. Yes, let's halt our discussion over a server where minors were shown porn and groomed to try and correct someone over pronouns, and not even be correct, and it ultimately means nothing because the person uses any. Wonderful focus and wonderful concern. A little fun fact.
Yeah,
Doodle's interjection stating that they didn't make a video about Slimmers. And
yeah, because like at that point, right, if you go by any pronouns, like then yeah, you can use any pronoun. What was the point of stopping them on that? Did you want to like dodge the combo that badly? Like what the fuck?
Madame is true. However, Doodle Tones did watch several videos that state that piece of information, whether it be Ponder's video or the collab with Nezzy and Ponder, which ended up on the best of the year list Doodles has been making for years, especially considering the fact that Doodles is on record.
I wasn't on the list. Was there too much comp, or did everyone agree with me? Is this the birth of my cult? Okay, bro. Okay, Kumo. A friendly reminder that one of the prerequisites to being on my list is that I had to have actually watched the videos. Okay, bro.
Stating that the prerequisite to be on his list is him watching the video. He has to watch your video for it to be on the list. So I don't buy this notion Doodles didn't know Slimmers' age. The art and slideshow community put heavy emphasis on it everywhere. Laka then proceeds to get into specific details about the FCK server and what was said about the ages, and this was Doodles' reaction.
There is issues, as I read through on the live stream the first half of the server, like a little bit of it, and the ages of some of the minors, one of them reiterated they were 17 right off the bat, and another one, like Slimmers, also reiterated they were 15. And I've looked through multiple points of the server where they've reiterated their ages. Even there was jokes made about those ages, about being a lolly or going to jail for the age of consent clause. Like they made it known that these people were not adults at several different points.
Okay, but that's not an inherent. I want to put that out there. It's not an inherent.
That's not an inherent. After trying to vaguely push that ages weren't discussed that much in the server, then being given examples from someone else who has seen it, that's not an inherent. Doodles then clarified that he didn't know the context behind the lolly joke, and then proceeded to claim that Slimmers apparently wasn't in the server when he was.
As far as the lolly jokes, I did not actually realize that was the reason those lolly jokes were being made in there, was because one of the members was 13. Mind you, I didn't see it at the time that I was in there. Actually, during the time that I was in the FCK, I don't even think Slimmers was there.
They were, because I just read through the chat log, and their reply was just a few things below yours.
Bro, no. Doodle Toad, you're cooked. Bruh. Yeah, I don't know. Just it kind of comes off as like either they're just like, I don't know, maybe like I would say lying, But it's like, it just kind of comes off that they're trying to, like, get away with as much as they can. But in that sense, I mean, like, try to, I guess, give himself benefit of the doubt in a way to avoid, you know, the proper accountability for their actions. Fucking hell.
Like, I've never met Slimmers. I never talked to Slimmers. I never was in call with Slimmers. I did not know Slimmers. And again, for a little while, I don't even think they were in the chat because I distinctly remember a conversation between Toasty and I where Toasty had said something along the lines of Slimmers no longer being in the chat.
I'm willing to believe that Slimmers did leave the FCK server at some point, solely because of the fact that her initial join date and then her account join date is different, which is January 2nd of 2020. So Slimmers did leave and then came back on January 2nd of 2020, and she's been in the FCK server ever since. Doodletones was invited into the FCK server March of 2020. So not only was Slimmers still in the server, but we also later discovered that Doodles messaged inside the Slimmers NSFW chat. Not only did Doodles know about Slimmers, but also knew of the chat dedicated to her NSFW artwork. Now, I already know a certain group of people are going to play semantics in order to defend their favorite people, so I have to make these clarifications. And in this case, they're going to do that with the title of the chat. As you can see, the chat that Susie Doodle messaged in is titled Slimmers Art Shack Archived. But why is that? The FCK server originally had two chats for Slimmers. Slimmers Art Shack Safe for Work, which is still there, and a Slimmers Art Shack Non-Safe for Work. I don't know why they made a Non-Safe for Work chat for her, considering her porn was all over the server, but I digress, they did. In fact, Toasty's own personal Discord server had a very similar setup, a Slimmers Art Barn and a Slimmers Adult Art Barn, for that chat was also hidden or deleted. Evidence that was given to me by Ben the Looney. Now, if you remember, back in August of 2020, right after Ben the Looney was threatening to expose the group, Nazi Monster went to Toasty Vanilla's DMs to tell him that he needed to remove the Slimmers NSFW chat. She even recalled that chat in the 2023 Senate call. The Slimmers NSFW chat could become a problem or an issue. Her words, not mine. Well, they didn't actually delete the chat. They instead retitled the Slimmers Art Shack Non-Safe for Work to Slimmers Art Shack Archived and hid it behind the admin access. You had to have access to the staff chats to get access to the chat. So when I was given access to the staff chats, that's how I found this. So yes, this chat is the NSFW chat, and yes, Susie Doodle was in it.
When I got in there and Toasty basically said that they just spam porn everywhere, I kind of just assumed that it was an 18+ server. Okay. I did not know anything beyond that point.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. Alrighty then. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure of your awareness of the situation because I just want to verify things first. So you were aware that they were a sex pest. Yes. Beyond what happened, like, was there anything else you were aware of their behavior at the time? Like, were you aware of what was going on in their channels, or no? Okay.
Nope. I had dipped in like May when I figured out that they were kind of being excessively weird around children.
Well,
I think that was around the time. I want to say that was around the time that Gal released their video.
Okay.
Okay, so you dipped when you found out that you dipped when they were being weird around children. Interesting. So you knew.
Okay, so you dipped around that. When was this? Do you know the date?
I think. I stopped posting in there May 23rd, 2020. So somewhere around there.
Now, I have to ask a follow-up question because you just said, like, you were aware of the posting, like, you just said that. Why?
I think that was the reason I did. But yes.
Oh, okay. If you think that was the reason, I have.
Yeah, they realize it sounds bad. They're backtracking.
To ask, like, why was no further things done afterwards? If that was the reasoning, because this is a question I do want to ask Nezzy as well. If you're aware of the children being harmed in that, like, being affected in that way.
Nezzy?
Like, no.
Nezzy did do stuff about it.
Oh, I know, but I'm asking, like, after you guys left, why wasn't anything further done? Because you guys are aware that this stuff can have effects on children. I'm wondering
why. Well, because the stuff that I heard about that Toasty was doing was in an entirely different chat.
Well, fair enough.
In that chat.
Doodles claimed to have left the FCK server once they learned of the degenerate behavior being excessively weird around children. And then Locke asked the question we're all thinking. If you knew of that, why was nothing said? To which Doodles claims Nezzy Monster did something, of course referring to the DMs I've shown, because that was totally doing something. I want to focus on that last bit though, that the weird behavior was happening in another chat they didn't have access to. You had access to the main chat gamer zone, which I've shown is bad enough, but you were also in the NSFW Slimmers chat. You clearly had access to plenty. Additionally, you still knew of it and left, by your own admission. Whether you had access or not doesn't change your admission to finding out, but fret not. Doodles of course backpedaled on it when he realized Laka wasn't dumb enough to not think of the implications. However, throughout this call, he stays firm in that he at some point found out about the problems with Toasty and the server, yet still didn't talk about any of it.
Yeah, no, it's like I guess if you were asking, if you're trying to ask me like why I didn't do like this large scale investigation on Toasty, I wouldn't have known what to do at the time. Like this was like 4 years ago, and I definitely didn't have any like experience in situations like this. I would have known what to do. Obviously I had dipped. A handful of other people had dipped. We were all kind of like very against Toasty just collectively. I didn't know anyone who kept in contact with them after this point. So
okay.
I don't.
Hello, Ace was wondering how the stream's going. Was wondering if you're going to watch the North video that Gilded Poo made. The stream's going pretty decent right now, but I don't know. I'm still contemplating on it. I'm still thinking about it because North has always been like an interesting topic to me, and I know Guild is going to have more information. So after I'm done with FCK coverage, I might watch it. Definitely not today though, but maybe in next stream the next stream after I finish FCK coverage. We'll see. We'll see.
Just
really know what more there was.
Because I know Nezzy was 19. How old were you at the time?
I was 23. So I definitely, like, if I had gotten involved in the stuff in that server, I would absolutely be a problem, but I didn't.
Bro.
There's, like, maybe one conversation that we had about some people drawing porn of YouTubers in there.
So you were 23. You left the server because you knew by your own admission, you knew the owner was being weird around children. And you still did nothing about it. And you're going to claim that you didn't have experience? You're 23. Yeah, sure, age doesn't automatically give you experience, but I think, do the basics, tell other people. Maybe if there are people with experience that you are aware of, which, you have friends that are like that, why didn't you tell them? Or, a public call out or anything, dude. Like, there was so much you could have done, but you just let it sit for 4 years. What are you doing?
That conversation was already happening by the time I entered. And again, I also didn't know the ages of anyone, so again, I don't know what you. I
think the best here for that. How about this? It's clear that you didn't know how to handle stuff like that because you never.
I know you're not here to hound about it, Zedge. I actually was talking about at the 6-hour mark about things I was gonna plan on going over of this video, because for later streams. So yeah, I was definitely considering that one though, for sure.
Dealt with it at the time. I will say there is. I don't think you're a horrible person or anything. Wait. No cutting off. Remember, let people finish. You're not a horrible person. You're not someone that was egregious, that was actively trying to do all that stuff. At the time, you were 23, and you weren't dealing with that stuff before. There is the raise of the eyebrow over time when you realize stuff like that wouldn't be appropriate and more if you've seen because you've been around this stuff like that. We're not saying that you're. I'm not saying that you're a horrible. Not saying that you're a horrible person or anything like that. I'm still going.
I mean, let me clarify, please.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, it was a situation of I didn't know what to do. Yes. Furthermore, I don't even know if there was anything that I could have done, because by that point...
There was loads of things you could have done. You could have told other people, let's say, even if I want to give you the best faith, right, and you don't know how to make the video, right, or you don't know what to do, you could ask, literal friends of yours that are content creators or have dealt with things like this. It's and then see what they would have done. Unironically, this sounds gay, but you probably could have gone to Lio, and he probably would have given way better advice rather than just not talking about it. I don't know. It's just, there's loads of things. Genuinely, majority of the things that you could have done is better than doing nothing. Unironically. Fucking hell. I did apparently watch a video of Doodles apparently finally doing the right thing. Yeah, I saw that. Also, can't believe I'm not subbed to you, lol. Anyways, I do have stuff to do, but good luck with stream and video. Also, I'll leave a like as well. Thank you, Zaj. I always appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Fucking hell. This Doodle Towns person is insane. Fucking hell.
Gal's video would have probably been out. If I'm remembering the timeline right, Gal's video would have been out by that point.
It's interesting that Doodles uses the Rinmankins, Toby Majestic, and Toasty video as a crutch at this point in the call, because this is the same video that the slideshow community, who worships this sniper lover, hated. They absolutely disliked Rin's video, especially because Rin dared to use me as a source. They made it about Rin siding with Akumu. Doodletones is one of the people who questioned the video, stating, well, what evidence does Akumu have? So if we're going by this, Doodles' whole argument that stays mostly consistent throughout this call is that they can't figure out when, but they eventually found out about Toasty and what he was doing with these minors, and that he's being inappropriate with them. And that was why they ended up leaving the server. They couldn't pinpoint exactly when they found out, but that was why they left the server at some point. All right. I'm willing to buy that. The problem then remains, why was nothing said, and why did you proceed to, also with Nezzy, act as though you had no idea what me...
Well, if it's Akumu's video that just was using as a crossover argument against Toasty, what evidence is...
or Rinmankins were claiming about Toasty. That was October of 2020. Since you knew of this, and you were oh so against Toasty, all of you were, my question then becomes, why did Nezzy Monster claim that all of the people in the FCK or the friend group were adults when Nezzy knew for a fact that they weren't, and why did you not correct Nezzy Monster? Let alone, why did you pretend as though you had no fucking idea what the evidence would be against Toasty? Hear me out. Almost like you and Nezzy Monster, and just about anyone else that had anything to do with Toasty in the FCK server, were trying to bury it. Later, when Laka mentions the Senate call that me and Nezzy Monster had, Doodletones claimed that the call was held because, quote, Akumu kept harassing Nezzy for 4 years.
The
I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
The call between Akumu and Nezzy was to try to work out things between them because Akumu had been harassing Nezzy for 4 years.
Okay.
First, that's not why me and Nezzy Monster had that call. The call between me and Nezzy Monster was done because I reached out to Lyle Convoy because he had connections with the Art and Slideshow community, and I asked if he could set up a call. Why did I ask Lyle to set up a call? As I've already shown you, Nezzy Monster kept lying and being dishonest about the false sexual harassment accusation. So I thought a call talking about that and the various things that have happened between us and the group would be productive. And it was productive, just not in the way that they hoped it would be. These two hoped that having the call would make all of this blow over and I wouldn't talk about it publicly, that it would just be over and done with, as if I wasn't going to clean the fucking closet out. However, their claim that this call was held because I wouldn't stop harassing Nezzy for 4 years is another example of how they revise events and how they retell the story, along with, of course, shoehorning in the constant victimization. And the second thing is, another SCC member, and I believe an admin of Senate at the time, Heaton Mitsuru, said this exact same thing during the call with me and Nezzy Monster. But the call totally wasn't biased. But back to the call. At 58 minutes in, Locke mentioned for the second time that I brought up the porn spam in the FCK server to both Doodles and Nezzy in the Senate call, to which Doodles said, because we knew.
Well, but that section of the call is when I'm trying.
Gotta go. Gotta do more work on the vid. Good luck, Yen. Take care. Thanks. Thank you.
To talk about like the rest of that section, Akumu's battle and Nezzy's. That is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the section of the call where like there was a direct addressment.
But it's related.
Yes, it's related, but that's not the subject of what I'm talking about right now. We can address that in a minute, but I'm trying to tell you my main focal point of the matter is there was a section of the call that Akumu directly said to the both of you, like there was porn and stuff being sent in the FCK. You guys, and you noted that there was the inappropriate culture that Toasty had promoted and stuff, and that told me like you were at least aware of the inappropriate like culture that was promoted, and that's why I was asking the questions earlier.
Yes.
44 minutes in, Doodle Tones claimed that I was being straight up dishonest.
Yeah, like
I think it even goes further. I think Akumu is being straight up dishonest.
Well, I do agree with that because he's not doing this to help the victims. I've even noted that, but I'm only using parts that are like evidence I can show just up front. Like,
okay, there's a difference between being dishonest and having ulterior motives, right? Like, you could still be 100% right and factual in a situation, but as well, you could again also have an ulterior motive. If Akuma's been right and consistent with all of his like facts against everyone, right? Then it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't think that's dishonest, but I don't know, the whole not caring about the victims thing. I don't know. They haven't really fully elaborated on that.
That's the only reason I've ever sourced them is like this stuff is verifiable, but he just put it in a format I can just show. That's the only reason. Even then, I'm like I don't support him.
So the reason why I claim that Akumu is just straight up dishonest is not because of like what he has shown or what he has talked about. It's how he frames it. And I've been telling this to Fly and Teddy for a while. He literally starts his FCK video listing off every single person who had joined the chat as if it was some sort of Epstein list. Not.
I mean, if that's how you took it, bro. If that's how you took it. Fucking hell.
Going as far as to make any sort of like distinction between no distinction between the more guilty or less guilty parties.
First, I find it hilarious that Doodles claimed I was being dishonest in how I frame it, considering Doodles was insistent on telling everyone he didn't know, only to admit he did know and just did nothing because Renmankin's video, which he also tried to undermine in the past. He was insistent that he didn't know about Slimmers or the Slimmers in his FW chat, yet turned out to have messaged in it. However, because I don't right off the bat tell my audience who is more guilty and not, I'm dishonestly presenting it. Almost like these people prioritize telling their audience what to think rather than showing them. I prefer to do more showing than telling and to let you come to your own conclusions. And secondly, I have never compared the FCK to the obscene list. Perhaps a Freudian slip. 3 minutes after this, Locke then asked Doodles why my video Toasty and the fact I had a recorded admission was ignored. Right, this is Doodles' response.
Like, I don't agree with Akumu at all. I'll be upfront on that. Like, but the stuff I do want to talk about is some of the like, unfortunately, the stuff that is unsettling. Like, he did a video confronting, Toasty, talking about him sending porn to minors and stuff like that. And that video was made aware in some parts of the community, at least because Madlibs commented on it and several others. And it's a question that becomes like, it doesn't look good, and I'm just trying to find out, like, why was this not really taken seriously? Like, because, like, regardless of how you feel about the guy, like, I don't like him. But the fact that he had Toasty's admission in a video of that is the thing that disturbs me, and people looked at that and went, nah, ignore it. And it's a little disturbing.
I didn't look at that until I've had to look into everything about Akumu. But yeah, I didn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's my
perspective. The thing with Akumu, on that though, well, on that note, it's also, given the whole Madame situation, people were already kind of looking at him as rather disingenuous. You should know that.
That...
By that point, like...
But
I don't think you want to make the disingenuous argument when the only reason why people, like, still use that point against him is because two people actively lied and, like, used mental gymnastics to try to call him a doxer for something that just really wasn't even close to doxing.
People were already kind of looking...
Go ahead. Sorry.
People were already looking at him as like, this lying, like, kid who, like, was going to bat for Madame for ultimately white knighty reasons. And maybe that's not correct. I don't know. I don't really care. It was never really my perspective of the guy, but that is how people were writing him off.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem I have, because like this wasn't just him claiming that in the video. He interviewed him in a call and had an admission, with Toasty outright verbally saying that. That's the issue I'm having here.
Yeah.
There was verbal admission from Toasty, regardless of how people felt about Akumu. I'm wondering why the community didn't take that seriously, since there was an admission.
Oh, the narrative Doodle's friends helped peddle around me and my very name contributed to this being ignored? Well, who would have thought? At 56 minutes in, Laka asked Ellie why she blocked them, to which Ellie claimed she saw Laka in DMs with me, that I had been harassing and stalking her friends for literal years.
Can I ask a question then? Then why was I blocked?
Because I saw you in DMs with Akumu. And here's the thing.
Oh god, who fucking
I'll put that on myself, that I probably should have asked, hey, why are you in DMs with Akumu and all that. But Akumu has harassed and been stalking my friends for literal years.
I'm their fucking boogeyman. This has been a long-standing problem within the art and slideshow community, especially the latter. But because the kind of audience they both attract...
Again, it's been very obvious in all the streams of coverage of why they cannot use fucking guilt by association. They're the fucking last ones to use it. Holy fuck.
Consists of people who think that being easily gullible man-children who fall for any claimed victimhood or pathos appeal thrown their way means they're more mature people. They hardly ever question it. Heaton Mitsuru has accused Chuli of stalking because Chuli was continuing to see what Heaton was publicly posting on her Twitter account, despite her blocking Chuli. Several SEC members have accused Renmankins of stalking, citing even block evading, and I even asked around about this claim. So imagine my shock when I find out that the supposed stalking Ren has apparently done is just lurking on people's public Twitter feeds and getting around blocks to see public fucking tweets. This is pathetic. These people believe that if they block you, you're not allowed to see what they're publicly saying. If you do, they claim you're stalking them. They think that if they don't want you talking about them and you continue to, you're harassing and stalking them. That's how chronically online they are. These people are so fucking deluded, such control freaks, that have become so acclimated in the comfort of their hug boxes and safe spaces that they think they get some say in whether you can talk about them or not, whether you can see what they're publicly saying. If they block you, they have this expectation that you're suddenly not allowed to see what they post, and you're not allowed to talk about them. To the people that think like this, it is not stalking to see what someone is publicly saying, let alone about yourself. It's not fucking stalking, let alone harassment, just because someone you don't like talks about you. You don't get to publicly run your mouth about someone or something, and then decide that because you don't like them, they aren't allowed to look and see at what's in the public eye. Just because you dislike someone doesn't mean they have to cease talking about you, and that doesn't make it harassment if they persist to talk about you. That's not how it works, you pathetic crybabies. Of course, this wouldn't be the SEC. You weren't selective about when something is stalking or not. It wasn't stalking when they were watching my Twitter feed, Ponder, Nezzy, Mimi, or Mark Silverblood. Me looking at a Twitter account to get evidence, though, that's stalking. How about watching my Discord server for evidence? No one said that was stalking when the FCK admitted that in a video with 17k views, but in the same video when they accused me of stalking for doing the same thing, these idiots ate that shit right up. No one said stalking when these people were trying to join Madame's Discord server to spy, FCK included. A little fun fact, Nani, the fucking furry art guard, streamed herself trying to get into Madame's Discord server. No one said stalking then. They also talked about it in the FCK server. It's apparently not stalking when they're searching and hunting for the new social media or private social media accounts of people they don't like to announce it to the rest of everyone else out of their silly sense of justice, like Tippy. Yet they say it's stalking if someone has the audacity to look at a public Twitter account just because they've been blocked. The point is, not only have these crowds lost themselves in their control freak hug box mentality, but they can't even keep consistent in what they claim even constitutes stalking. They just proclaim stalking when they want to victimize themselves or others to the fact someone they don't like is either talking about them or seeing what they're publicly releasing and saying. At an hour and 23 minutes into this call, Ellie denies knowing anything, specifically denying knowing about Toasty.
That's why I have been as angry as I have been with you, because now people are probably thinking that I knew about ZZ and Toasty's porn spamming, which I wasn't even in the server when that happened. I didn't know Toasty was a sex pest. I didn't know Toasty was this, that, and the third. I didn't know any of that.
Ooh, unfortunately, Nezzy and Doodles eviscerated Ellie's claim and cover by releasing the snippets from Nezzy Monster's DMs with Toasty Vanilla, because inside them, Nezzy Monster mentions that a user by the name of Mavi, which is Ellie's previous username, had to block Toasty, that his antics led to Mavi blocking him. So clearly, Mavi, Ellie, knew a little bit more than what she likes to tell the public. These people are quite literally tripping each other in their frantic attempt to make the situation blow over. Near the end of the call, Ellie clarified that she totally isn't a part of the RCC, that she never was, that the SEC is totally different.
People are weird. I'm done with this fucking community, I swear to God. Sorry.
As well as people, I think it was Akumu was trying to say it was a part of the Art CC, which, no.
In the past, you were a part of the community, but that, like, you left in, like, what, 2018?
No. I was never part of the Art CC.
Were you part of the regular one, though? Because, like, you're
part of the SEC.
Yes, the regular one. That's
slideshow community.
Right. Yes, that one.
Right. No. I think that this call, unless anyone needs me, is done, because I am...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all out. we're done for today.
Well, no, real quick. The CC and the SEC are two very different areas.
So different, in fact, that the SEC just happens to follow the art community everywhere and are backing them in every endeavor, like a bunch of sycophantic brown-nosers. So different, despite the fact that the art CC's golden calf, their totally unbiased Octomama, came from the slideshow community. That's just how separate they are.
Okay.
Yeah, the SEC is a much more niche. The SEC is a much more niche community that focuses on like video critiques and stuff like that. We're all just a bunch of nerds that talk about, our, I guess, our special interests.
Special interests for the art community's special forces.
Yep.
Brother.
So, because
that's kind of the long and short of it.
The RCC, and that was just incorrect. I have never once associated myself in the RCC.
I have also never associated with the RCC, and I've made videos about it, but Akumu still associates me as part of this part.
Because you're there. every second of the way. I mean, look, associate with the RCC. I mean, come on. Yeah, sure, you might be in the SCC, but if you're hanging out with people in the RCC, you know, you talk to people in the RCC, you are in servers with people in the RCC, I think it's fair to say you're associated with the RCC. All right, like that's not that crazy of a take to make.
Part of that community, so shrug.
It could just be because of your associations. I think that's probably why. Because like some people, like we all talk to someone in the RCC, so I think that might be why.
Yeah, I think videos clarifying that I'm not though.
Both Ellie and Doodles insist they've never associated with the RCC for them to possibly be lumped in. Really. That's your best. You both are friends and have collaborated with Ponder Sprocket, queen of the art tards. You both were literally in an art commentary group that was made on the basis of making connections between artists and YouTubers, with such hits from art commentary like Nani and Hopeless Peaches.
Fair enough. I don't really know how to talk about that subject because it's like that's such a weird thing to argue at all because it's just like it's like it's okay.
Well, it shows that he has complete disregard as to who it is he's even talking about.
You know, that's fair. That's fair.
It shows that I pay attention to actions far more than words, like Nezzy insisting she knew very little when she knew quite a bit more thanks to the evidence. In fact, many of the things that she talks about in the DMs with Toasty are things that she vaguely referred to in the 2023 Senate call, that she wasn't going to talk about because it wasn't her story to tell. Remember?
There was a lot of stuff that happened that you don't know about.
Well, okay, fair enough.
A few of the things, there was a lot of shit going on between Toasty and Teddy. It's not my place to say that. Between me and Toasty, there was a lot of uncomfortable stuff. He did uncomfortable stuff with Libby. Not my story to tell, but they did a lot of shit in the server that was very uncomfortable.
As I just showed you, Nezzy in 2023 in that Senate call was remembering all the various things that she specifically mentioned 3 years prior in her DMs with Toasty Vanilla. Yet in 2024, her and the SCC to insist on this memory excuse. She's had her meds changed so much she can't remember much. That is such a load of horseshit, and I'm not eating it. I'm not eating from that plate. It's interesting that there was such a strong will to protect her server members and to protect Teddy when it came to accusing Person A of sexual harassment, when she had no evidence, and she provided no evidence for that accusation. Yet when she had all this evidence and all these various things that Toasty had done to her and her friends, and she knew what he was doing in a group chat, a Discord server filled with minors. She knew of at least 2 minors in there. Where was that will to protect those minors at? I could keep going with this, but I think I've made my point. Returning back to the timeline, on April 14th, Nezzy Monster posted, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody gives a shit about change. Nobody will believe me when I do attempt to defend myself or correct things about the FCK situation, so what even is the fucking point? Well's been poisoned. I'll complete my comms, and then I don't know. Nezzy and the others had convinced themselves that releasing the DM screenshots of her and Toasty, the ones I showed you previously, would make it any better for them. Lio and Doodles both showed them off, and even he brought them up as a means of defending Nezzy Monster on my stream. They believed that it was a correction, that Nezzy did something, even though the DMs showed that Nezzy knew a lot more and still didn't say anything about Toasty, at least publicly. On April 15th, Nezzy Monster put out yet another fucking Twitter thread. I've lost my fucking glasses. My med dosage changed, I had a spiral, and I've been bedrotting. But therapy is tomorrow, so there's that. There's more to the FCK situation than people think because a lot of stuff didn't happen in there. It happened in private. It's complicated, but will be explained. I've also been talking to my therapist about this because the situation is a lot more complicated. Don't get me wrong, I shouldn't have posted what I did. I was 19 and all I thought was, oh, these people are around my age. So that's why as I got older, I locked all my stuff as being for adults. My Twitter, my server, my streams. I'm more careful because I'm older and I have an audience now. I want to keep them safe. There it is. And I don't want to disappoint people. Call me selfish, but I don't like letting people down. Makes me feel like shit. Then on June 4th, she made a tweet about how it was gay month and you weren't allowed to be mean to her. Some people, myself included, thought she was trying to use that as an excuse for the FCK shit. So others continued to question her. Her reply said, get off the internet, you scumbag. And she countered with, make me bitch. I ain't leaving because I was a dumbass when I was 19. This eventually led to Nezzy Monster addressing the backlash that she was getting, or as the SCC and ArtCC would inconsistently call it, the harassment she was getting. If you for real thought this post was shielding myself from criticism, you are a fucking idiot. I have apologized numerous times.
remember
that shit also not only happened 4 years ago, but when I was 19. Of course I think differently now, you dipshits. Touch grass. Person who just said she was bedrotting is telling people to touch grass. Whatever. If it isn't obvious from the last 3 times she's put an emphasis on her being at 19 at the time, particularly her, I was a dumb 19-year-old, so I didn't know any better. Nezzy is hitching her wagon to the I was young, dumb, and naive excuse, which is very interesting considering she did know better at 19. So let me give you some examples. In March of 2020, the collab with Ponder, Nezzy was 19 when she made it and released it. She was talking about protecting young artists in that collab, that being one of her reasons as to why she was in support of cancel culture.
Previously, we went over how she condoned cancel culture. Anyone who condones it, why? First off, that's my question. Why would you condone it at all?
I condone it in instances where people are scamming their audience out of money by claiming that they're suing the YouTube community punching bag, and when that's brought to light from a single artist speaking up and shining a light on a past of problematic behavior.
I condone it when this person has a history of being shitty towards multiple artists because I want to protect other artists who can't resist her 2-for-1 exposure deal.
Plus, cancel Onision.
Oh yeah, cancel Onision.
She turned 20 on June 12th, as her DeviantArt account lists her birthday as June 12th of 2000. So since Nezzy puts emphasis on her being 19, what about when she was 20? In August of 2020, she was 20 years old, and that was when she accused Toasty Vanilla of sexual harassment in their DMs, where she cited him showing minors porn, having porn made of his friends, sharing it, spamming it, where she brought up V Omega showing minors porn, citing it as a bad thing to do. A few days later, she publicly falsely accused a 16-year-old of sexual harassment under the sentiment of protecting her server and protecting Teddy. Her first instinct upon finding out about the supposed sexual harassment with Teddy was to call it out. Why not with Toasty then? If Nezzy Monster truly didn't know any better at 19, did she learn the day she turned 20? If she didn't know any better at 20, why did she publicly accuse Person A of sexual harassment? Nezzy has insisted that she had no malicious intent with accusing Person A, that she genuinely believed he sexually harassed Teddy. If we're to believe that, it means her first instinct was to call it out. If Nezzy wasn't being malicious and truly wanted to protect people from sexual harassers, and that's why she publicly accused Person A, why didn't she publicly accuse Toasty? Nezzy very clearly knew better, because she used the justification of calling out sexual harassers, of protecting her server and protecting Teddy, as the reasoning for falsely accusing Person A. But for some reason, that didn't apply to Toasty. How about the fact that Nezzy knew that lying was bad at 19, considering she got onto Madame for lying when she was 19, yet lied about me when she was 19. In October of 2020, when Nezzy was 20 years old, she lied in Ponder server, covering for Toasty, because Renmankins accused him of the same shit we're talking about now. In the Twitlonger in January of 2021, she lied about me claiming I withheld the evidence from her. So on top of Nezzy being shown to know better by her words and actions when she's claiming that she didn't know better, she is wanting charity and leniency for being 19 at the time, something she herself didn't want to give to anyone else. Whether it be Chuli for how Chuli reacted and talked about Feghost when Chuli was 16 and 17. Chuli was completely justified, but because Feghost was liked by these people, how dare she talk about him? It was too mean. Never mind the fact Feghost had Chuli believing that he sexually assaulted 2 people and wanted her to stay quiet about it. That is some demented shit. But how dare Chuli be mean to the degenerate? Lastly, how about me? On the surface level, it looks like Nezzy and Ponder were lenient with me because I was 16, especially from the constant grandstanding and belittling with my age. Many in her audience loved to claim they gave me the benefit of the doubt, except for the fact they falsely accused me of attempted doxing, lied by omission after falsely accusing me of doing that, withheld inconvenient information from their audience so that they could falsely accuse me, twisted my words into something entirely different multiple fucking times. There's plenty more, but all of that done with hundreds of thousands watching those very videos. So Chuli and me at 16 were not given any charity or leniency, but she wants that because she was 19 for part of the time. Fascinating how that works. 3 days later, an artist on Twitter publicized a Google document that contains screenshots of their conversation with Nezzy Monster talking about the FCK server. I already went in depth on this document in a TISM report, so I'll link it below if you'd like to see it in full or fact check me, because I'll be summarizing it here. The artist asked Nezzy Monster for an explanation. Why didn't Nezzy see this Lemur's porn chat as a problem? Specifically, why she worded it as could become a problem. And Nezzy told them that she couldn't remember her mentality at the time, that 4 years of drugs doesn't help, and that she understood the accusation but denied knowing about the fucking grooming, then mentioned Thuman's video, and that it will explain more because she's interviewed by Thuman. In another reply, she said that nobody gives a shit that the victims themselves don't.
They're going to be interviewed by Thuman. That's very interesting. I knew Thuman was making a video, but does Thuman interview other people too? That's interesting.
Have an issue with me, that I was doing this out of maliciousness because I can't get over a video from 4 years ago, and that I apparently made it clear that I wanted her gone, so I diverted attention from the actual victims. Nezzy Monster also said that I lied about her age in my FCK server video. If you go and watch that video, I clearly state that Nezzy was 20. Nezzy Monster was 20, and that's a pretty important detail, especially considering the fact that Nezzy herself said in a tweet made this year that she was 19 to 20. Oops. So how did I lie about her age? I guess if I say it, it's a lie, but when she says the exact same thing, she's telling the truth. Nezzy then told the artist that people are multifaceted. Yeah. Everyone is a hypocrite, reciting the same old slideshow litany of copium. I may be a hypocrite, but it doesn't make me wrong. Followed by more perpetual victimhood with claiming I'm obsessing over her. It's been 4 years. I even apologized to him in a call once, if I recall correctly. She doesn't recall correctly. The only thing Nezzy has apologized to me for is her segment in Madlib's video that falsely accused a friend of mine. That was only after 3 years of her lying about it to the public. In the Senate call, she said if I was so convinced of my own point, then I should just tell people who were reciting her false claims just to fuck off. She said that she stood by the video on me. That's the opposite of apologizing for it. I recommend checking out the document yourself because the artist who spoke with Nezzy and who made it has made some very good observations in it, and they've even updated it to provide even more info. On June 12th, Nezzy quote retweeted someone who shared a screenshot from her DMs with Toasty that contradicted Nezzy's own claim, and they accused her of lying. First off, didn't lie. Second, I'm aware his stuff is still up. I said it can't be seen as because I wasn't 100% sure if it was because of their ages and because it was a word of mouth. I also had no evidence, and Teddy has been known to lie to me and others. There are a couple of problems with this. First, this doesn't actually explain anything because Toasty admitted in their DMs that he was sharing porn with Teddy. He had a confession from him, and Nezzy knew he was doing it in the FCK server. Second, Nezzy didn't need evidence to accuse my friend of sexual harassment, and according to Teddy, Teddy didn't even say it was sexual harassment, just that she was uncomfortable looking back. So why did Toasty back in 2020 get such leniency when there's not only a fucking confession, but also what Nezzy Monster watched him do in the FCK server? Again, my friend was publicly accused of sexual harassment a couple of days after she privately accused Toasty of that. Third, a known liar is accusing someone else of being a known liar. Hot meat kettle. In 2020, Nezzy accused me of lying. In 2021, she lied about me withholding the evidence from her when she withheld the evidence. Just a few minutes ago, I went over that she lied to the artist, telling them that I lied about her age. Now in this tweet, she's saying Teddy is a liar. Do you see the pattern here? Fourth, while I won't dispute or defend Teddy, I have a question. Nezzy Monster called Teddy a known liar right here in June of 2024, but previously in April, tried to guilt trip Teddy into publicly defending her and Elimo Melee. If Teddy is a known liar, why did you want the word of a known liar to support and clear your name, Nezzy? Fifth, remember Nezzy Monster's DMs with the Twitter artist, where she said that no one cares about the fact that the victims supposedly don't have an issue with her. Even if that were true, that doesn't mean no one else can point out the problems here. Well, Jamesy, or OMGIJ252, who was one of the minors in the FCK, well, he replied to Nezzy Monster specifically about the Teddy is a known liar claim, to which he was promptly blocked by Nezzy. But the victims don't have an issue with her, though. The excuse that was later given was that Avi, AO Speedwagon, Nezzy's boyfriend thread was blocking people. June 13th, Nezzy tweeted, I'm not talking about the FCK anymore. I am 24 and I was 19. It has been practically 5 years. I am done. I am not that person anymore. As much as I wish I could change things, I cannot. I am moving forward with my life. Then on July 25th, she put out another Twitter thread about it. I thought Nezzy was done talking about the FCK.
Shut the
she
fuck
said
up,
that
Nezzy.
nearly every fucking thread she's made about it, all the while putting out statement after statement saying the same excuses. She has to be clinically insane. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not trying to pretend to be. I'm just saying that this is the same exact habit that she did with the sexual harassment accusation. I accidentally accused person A, and Akumu was just upset over a video I made years ago. With the FCK server, her response has been, I was a dumb 19-year-old, so I didn't know any better. And Akumu was just upset over a video 4 years ago. He's obsessed and malicious. Of course, like her audience, leaving out what she did in those videos that could have me potentially upset about them. Right along with her perpetual victimhood that several of her friends like Heaton, Doodletones, Ellie Momelli, and even Lyle Convoy have validated and affirmed. Which is fucking hilarious when these communities and some of those very people I just mentioned love to accuse others of enabling. They were saying Renmankins was somehow enabling me, but somehow it's okay when they do it. But to wrap this timeline up, Truly released a video on Heaton Mitsuru in the slideshow commentary community, or SCC. Nezzy Monster made this tweet about Truly's video and then deleted it right afterwards. A little odd considering deleting tweets is bad and it means you're trying to hide something, per her own standard. Oh, ponder. Are we going to talk about that contradiction? Is anyone in the SEC going to speak up and accuse and condemn Nezzy like you all did me? Of course not. Nezzy Monster then privated her Twitter account because Elon changed the block feature so that it no longer hides your tweets from the people you've blocked. Shortly after that change, Nezzy nuked her account to run to Blue Sky with another public account under the exact same name. She's made various posts complaining about the flack that she's gotten, one of which is defending herself or just in general defending the act of deleting comments. You know, something else she and Ponder also got onto me for. But hey, it's okay for her to do that now. Once more, I ask, where is the art and slideshow community's moral arbiter? Apparently the Judge Judy of the art community, or Justice Incarnate, the big bad Ponder Sprocket. They've insisted that she completely and thoroughly debunked me, proved me wrong, who apparently disproved me, slaughtered me, tore me apart, tore my video to shreds, who burned me, who shit-rocked me, who would tear me apart if she responded to me in just a robot. This is one of my favorites from a longtime Ponder fan, Izaki-chan. Yes, it's him. You know someone is fucked up when they don't change after being called the fuck up and roasted by Ponder. So where's your god now? Where's your Queen Octomama? She sees you're begging, you're pleased for her to do something about me. She watches from the sidelines and has only said one thing, that she's avoiding talking about me or responding because I'm going about this in a destructive way. I've been transparent to a fault, many of my faults, been correcting myself the times I've been wrong, whether in the past or present. If such transparency is destructive ways, what does that imply? The truth only ever harms deceit, deception, and misinformation. Ponder Sprocket commentaries are apparently made to showcase and criticize wrongdoings and contradictions, to dispel false narratives. Her audience sure loves to claim that she does a great job bringing light to the facts and dispelling misinformation for good resolution. So why in the 4 years this has gone on has she said nothing about any of what I've gone over? I don't mean just the FCK server either. There's plenty that I've gone over in this very ridiculously long video that meets the parameters, the criteria for her commentaries. Since it was wrong for Madame to lie about Slammers and Ponder milked that all for what it was worth and then some, why say nothing when her own close friends and her surrounding community were doing it and have been? This whole thing is perfect for her coverage. If she actually stood by that bullshit litany in her intro. Ponder was even following some of it. Remember, she commented on Foxton's video, who was responding to me in response to Fuchsia Butter. No matter how you slice this fruitcake, there's gonna be a lot of shit on your plate. So much so that I've made individual episodes covering what happened, most of which was right within the public view. Public videos that did very well and were shared across multiple discords within this community. I'd bet money that they were shared in hers too. Ponder knew of and covered my Slammers video when it only had 3,000 views. Fuchsia Butter's video did far better than that and was shared all over these two communities. Madlib's video did far better than my video and Fuchsia Butter's video and was shared everywhere. Public tweets that were seen and shared all over, and public Discord messages as well. But here's a good question. Why hasn't Ponder corrected the misinformation about me that she put out herself in the collab with Nezzy Monster? She apparently normally does correct misinformation that she's put out, but she hasn't with me. Why has Ponder resorted to hiding not just me from her channel, but also hiding some of my audience members when she got onto me for deleting Slammers' comment on a video about Slammers and deleting other comments? Conveniently around the time that I'm informing people about the flaws and offering my retrospectives for someone who told me they're sorry and even offered to help me share my side of things, to which I told her I would do it myself. It's
Wait, hold on. That's curious. Let me
bring my retrospectives for someone who told me
again. Alright, hold on. Thank you for talking about me, Mosto. No problem, dude. I'm sorry that you had to suffer through that. I further apologize for my part in that. So why not just correct yourself publicly? What the fuck? Like, unironically, like, if you genuinely are apologizing to him, I don't think it really means anything when you have over a video, like, with over 100K, still, like, with people running with that narrative because you didn't bother to correct it. You probably should have corrected it, dude. What the fuck?
They're sorry and even offered to help me share my side of things, to which I told her I would do it myself. It's interesting to switch up once my videos are actually finished and done for all to see. However, if I say it's damage control and trying to mitigate people finding out, her audience and defenders will say it's a bad faith assumption. I want consistency, real transparency, and acknowledgement of what really happened, because they keep avoiding acknowledging or acting like I'm the problem for talking about it. I don't have the size Ponder does, nor what the FCK had, and that audience will keep denying it and keep blaming me unless Ponder says it so. We saw that with Heaton and Chuli. The second Heaton found out Ponder disapproved of her antics with Chuli, she changed song and tune and apologized to Chuli, because these people don't stand on or buy anything that they claim to, what they tell tell you, the public. So what do you, the people who want Ponder to respond and come swinging at me, what do you expect Ponder to do? To tell you what you want to hear, just to give you the comfort and hope that she's tore me apart. You already glaze everything she does, but you want her to further contradict her public image that she's built, the litany intro that she's got, and die on this hill with the others. There's nothing to gain and plenty to lose in her doing so. What baffles me as I look back on all of this, as I've been looking back and editing this for you all, for communities hellbent on insisting I was the immature party, on insisting I'm so immature, it sure is odd that I, the 16-year-old, was the one who was direct, open, and more than willing to discuss it directly with you all. It was you all and your favorites who banned me at every turn and ignored everything I talked about. I was directed at the FCK in an attempt at conversation. I tried several times throughout 2020 so that things could be cleared up. They didn't care and they didn't want to. Despite how pretentious or mean I was the one who tried to talk it out directly and even privately before they made a giant fucking mess of their false claims. A mess that inevitably I would have to clean up, which is another reason why we're here. I even tried to tell them to walk away so this wouldn't go in a direction that I knew they would just cry about afterwards, because that's what these communities do best. They pick a fight. They keep poking and prodding, but when it doesn't go the way they thought it would, when push comes to shove, when you make fun of them back, when you mock them back, criticize them in return, inform the public and their audience of their antics, suddenly you're stalking and harassing them. They love a slap fight on Twitter or YouTube, or even in the form of multiple video responses. Of course, only when they can dogpile people. The SCC especially. The second you defend yourself, you're the problem. It doesn't matter if you're objectively right. It doesn't matter if you have evidence on your side. They deemed you the problem. I want those who are hearing me out to try and put yourself in my shoes. You're 16. You decide to try and make a point about a community's recent actions, but in doing so you make some mistakes. You were wrong on a few things, and then an entire group of people take advantage of that to make all of your points seem as stupid as possible for content. They misrepresent you at every turn by twisting your words and pretending you were claiming or saying things entirely different than what you actually said. They dedicate themselves to accusing you of shit you didn't do, falsely accusing you of deleting tweets to hide shit or deleting videos to hide them, of attempted doxing, or that you're working with doxers to dox people. They doctor screenshots to accuse you of things, lie about Google documents you've made to try and victimize complete fucking nutjobs. Their audience gives a massive outcry over what these people claim you did. Some of the things that they accused you of doing, they did themselves right afterwards, and that same audience didn't say a fucking thing. For example, deleting comments. Everyone holds that against you even after you stopped doing it, yet no one talked about it when they did. Fuchsiabot or Ponder Sprocket, and recently Nezzy Monster who switched up on that. They said that you deleted your video when you didn't, but didn't say a fucking thing when the FCK members deleted theirs. They said you deleted tweets and comments to hide evidence against yourself, which is assuming your intent and something they claim they don't like. But when they delete their own tweets, their own comments, comments from others, or just evidence against themselves, nothing is said from those same people who tried to hold those claims over your head. While these people are smearing you, they're doing shit in their private little hug box that's far worse than what they accused you of doing to begin with. All the while they're making fun of you and using you for views. The collective audience of thousands. So an entire community then also make fun of you and repeat the same false act.
OMG, rare long A-Space stream. I'm just kind of going with the flow.
Accusations. Anytime you try to talk to these people directly or even advise them to walk away, it's thrown right back in your face. They tell themselves you're bluffing and that they don't take you seriously, but then when it doesn't play out like they wanted it to, they pretend to be a victim of your supposed harassment because of mean tweets and comments. You accuse them of what they did, and they misconstrue that so that people don't get a clear view. They claim you accused them of something you didn't, like telling the public that you're trying to call them a pedophile when you never did. Again, your words are always twisted. When you point out that they falsely accused you or your friends, they say you're falsely accusing them of making false accusations. And their stupid fucking audience ate that shit right up. Those same thousands of the audience either don't watch your response videos or they hate watch your response videos and ignore where you disprove the claims and prove what they did. They talk about how you deserved it because you said mean things, because you don't use someone's preferred fucking pronouns. That's the real problem for them. That man may have fantasized about murdering you, said that your blood was going to stain his hands. He may have told you to suck his pink puke dick, called you a cum chalice, an honorless shit puppet, lied about a Google document you used to make false claims against you, and used a Photoshop screenshot against you. But how fucking dare you refer to him as a man? Sure, he made fun of your voice, but you're going to make fun of his? That's crossing a line, you cishet transphobic bigot. They victimize him and paint you as the bad guy. You're sitting there watching the same community of retards who previously told everyone else just a few months before that lying about a minor is a bad thing to do, that vilifying a minor is a bad thing to do, when someone else was doing that to a 15-year-old. Yet here they are, as a community, doing all of that to a 16-year-old. They're blindly believed and listened to by the same audience that watched them say those very things. No questioning over shit so obviously false and misconstrued that all anyone had to do was hear you out, or look into it themselves. But almost no one would. They can't fathom or accept that you could be correct about something because they don't like you. So they do anything and everything to avoid acknowledging it because you pointed it out, because you have evidence for it, because they don't like you. The same community that has constantly proclaimed that both sides should be heard out, that it's important to listen to both sides, ignored yours. The few that didn't outright ignore it would rather ignore your points and issues to complain about your language and your insults. These people could insult you all day and they loved it. You knew no one was going to come play Captain Kirk to defend you or protect you like they claim to do with other minors. No one else was going to dispel this false narrative. No Ponder Sprocket to swoop down from the art-part heavens and lay down some accountability. No, she partook in it. You are going to have to dispel this narrative yourself. Anytime you try to get your side out, you're told by their audience that you have an ego, that you need to realize and see where you were wrong. You're a narcissist, that it's pointless to respond, that no one will ever listen to you, that you might as well delete your channel, that you have no credibility. The same people who insisted mean YouTube comments and mean tweets classify as harassment.
And as I'm recording this video, I just received some screenshots of him saying in a server that he hasn't harassed anybody for months and that that's a false claim against him.
The best part is I didn't harass anyone. I had 3, technically now 4, interactions with Flamers. There is no history of harassment.
Well, if that is true, which I'm sure that it is, there should be no problem with me putting a bunch of tweets directed at certain people on the screen right now. If you're not watching this video but you're listening to it, I really encourage you to switch back over here right now for just a moment and take a look. Are you here now? Okay, good. Now, I don't want you to look at the actual tweets. I'll still be going over them later. You can still read them if you want. But what's important for this is I want you to look at the people who are tagged and the dates of the tweets. You'll notice something very interesting. That being that these tweets directed at specific people with no provocation or actual conversation being had are over a period of months. Huh. I believe there's a word for going out of your way to bother and harass people for months on end. Or maybe a term. I wonder what it would be called. Another huge reason that I'm making this video is because, unfortunately, this kid has started to gain some traction. He started to gain a few little cronies who want to participate in his harassment, as shown by everything I'm showing on screen right now. And that's not okay.
I believe it is trying to say that the consequences of the phone number being released isn't real.
I don't see how. It was a number that you could contact Slimmers at. It just happened to be a number she could disconnect very quickly when that harassment started. And that number being fake hasn't stopped people from harassing her.
As you can see on screenshots on top of screenshots we have of you, Akumu, sending hate towards Slimmers, saying you were going to punish her.
The same community who agreed with those people did exactly that to you. You get death threats, told that you shouldn't live, people wanting you assaulted, people imagining you getting beaten by the cops, doxing threats, doxing attempts to sign in on your accounts mass reported to shut you up, banned from Discord servers anytime you try to defend yourself or speak about what the favorite people did. Darkness Stone is just one example of that. People signing your email up to all kinds of fucking websites. Overall, you're treated as if you're inhuman, as if you're an embodiment of evil, or boogeyman. They're Satan. You see that the same crowd and audience who falsely accused you of all this shit also claim to not take you seriously. They claim that you're just a joke they'll never take seriously, that you're a laughingstock or the laughingstock of their community. Yet they took you seriously enough to cook up movie-linked hit pieces to accuse you of all kinds of things, calling you a serial harasser, that you work with doxers, going behind the scenes to tell people you're a doxer, junkie, or that you have cronies and spies everywhere. They call you a psychopath or a sociopath in either their autistic fucking wikis, oh yes, I remember the atrocious YouTuber wiki, or their hug boxes. They make Twitter threads to call you out. They constantly talk about or tease future impending videos on you that never came out, or bitch about you in Discord chats for months, sometimes years on end. You're a banned topic in some of their Discord servers because it triggers people. Your presence in the server apparently makes people feel uncomfortable and unsafe. They'll actively look for your Twitter account and then cry about your Twitter in their fucking vid channels. Yet in the next breath, they claim you're just a joke that they've never taken seriously and never will. All because you were deemed their bad guy. They could do whatever they want to you and against you, regardless of the fact it contradicted their previous moral standards that they claim to have. If you make comments and tweets, it's harassment. When their favorites or their audience did it, it wasn't. It was calling you out and holding you accountable. They can make fun of you, but if you do it back, it's harassment because you're the bad guy. They can tweet about you and comment on your videos, but if you tweet about them or comment on their videos, you're harassing them. They can falsely accuse you of shit, and that's them rightfully calling you out. But if you point out how it's false, prove that they've done the same thing they falsely accused you of that caused so much outcry from their audience, or that they did something far worse, zero outcry from that same audience. Your discrepancies such as deceit, false accusations, and misinformation are ignored. Anything and everything to downplay and not acknowledge it. Instead of acknowledging that they as a community enabled, validated, and partook in a smear campaign, false accusations which have followed you for years, they omit that and say that you're just petty or obsessive because you're talking about it. They say you're the liar. If not a liar, you're obsessed.
I mean, I think, like, I get where he's going with this, right? Like, he's obviously, like, been, like, a target of this community, which we've acknowledged over and over again. I think he's just going into, like, every example of that at this point. It's like, honestly, yeah, I get the gist. Desi Monster was a compulsive liar who couldn't even take accountability, made false accusations, and just kept lying about details, lied about having evidence, lied about someone being a sexual harasser, and made that claim publicly, even though that was, like, obviously not the case. Fucking Fuchsia Butters was a fucking freak, and anyone, like, who defended or was associated with them is probably just as weird. Doodle Tones definitely was, like, hiding a lot of information that they knew about the FCK, but I mean, dude, when they learned about it, they literally admitted to doing nothing. They just kind of, like, left them on red, if you will. The fucking Toby drama, which, oh my god, bro, Toby versus Ben the Looney was a really fucking weird ride. Dude, there was a fucking lot of this, like, a lot to go through. Like, yes, there's fucking loads of stuff that was in here. In fact, hold on. I know this was a heavily requested thing for me to go over, like, when I, like, started streaming. There was lots of people that wanted me to go through it. So, yeah, the Maxim definitely did go through, like, all the important stuff. I mean, it helps me have, like, a lot of context. I guess he made, like, a couple fumbles in the beginning, and they just been holding that against him, or slandered him, and just kind of, like, went with their slandering of him. It's very, very bizarre, because, I don't know, it's very weird. Fuck. Dude, that was a lot to take in. I think I'm pretty much good to say that I got the whole video, because I know pretty much what the rest of the video is going to be like. So I think, like, it was a pretty good video. It showed how everyone was, like, you know, the irony of it, like the hypocrisy, the double standards, the moral grandstanding. Yeah, I just joined and heard Toby. Yeah, because I'm just, like, recapping things for myself. Fucking hell, dude. Fucking hell. Yeah, I was going to end stream like an hour ago, but I was like, nah, I'm just going to thug it out. Fucking hell, dude. It's very bizarre. A-space. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, unironically, what happened in the FCK to the children would definitely be, like, desensitization and normalization of NSFW, which would be, yep, you guessed it, grooming. But fucking hell. That Toasty Vanilla is a fucking freak. I know that the there's people that's saying like they haven't like fully left the internet. So I'm curious to see if they make like another, I guess another comeback, if you will, for lack of better words, like another appearance, I guess would be a better word. Another appearance. That'd be interesting. Fucking, I don't think Fuchsia Butters is ever gonna come back. They got way too annihilated. I can't imagine a world where like Doodle Tones comes back anytime soon. Oh, they might try to come back this year, but I have no fucking clue. Like that's not just something that they could easily come back from. Nezzy Monster, I mean, I don't even know, man. Like Nezzy Monster's like absolutely shredded their reputation. God. Nezzy Monster stream next? Yeah, I gotta go over that. Yeah, next stream I'm gonna go over Lyo's Nezzy Monster video, and if I have time I'll go over like maybe Gilded's video on North. But yeah, essentially Nezzy Monster will be the focus. Fucking hell, that was a lot. I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot of information. I mean, I pretty much just put like 5 years of like internet knowledge into my brain. So yeah, I knew that was gonna be a lot. But fucking hell, yeah. I don't know, man. Like they might come back when Thuman uploads her videos. I don't know. When just to be clear too, when Thuman uploads their video, I'm very curious to take a peek at that. Right. Whether it's gonna be on stream or in my own personal time, I'm very curious to look into that too. But I don't think I need to watch that 2-hour Nezzy Monster call and the Toasty Vanilla call, right? Pretty sure we already got like the important details from it. I don't know if I have to watch it. I'll probably just watch next stream Lyo's Nezzy Monster video, which will be interesting. It might go into more specifics rather than just FCK and stuff, like related stuff with Nezzy Monster, which would be interesting. But who knows, dude? There was just a lot, dude. Fucking hell, dude. My brain's a little sore. I'm not gonna lie. That's a lot to take in. But yeah, honestly, I'm trying to like imagine if I was like in Akuba's position. I don't know if I would have done the same. Like, and I'm not just saying I would have done it better or anything like that. To be honest, I'm surprised Akumu even stayed online, dude. Like fucking hell. That would make, especially at 16, dude. That would make anyone want to leave. Like with that amount of dogpiling and being lied about and all that stuff, that would make anyone want to leave the platform. I definitely would want to, but hey, I mean, he stuck it through, and I would say he kind of won in the end. Like I know like it wasn't a great journey for him, but he definitely won at the end. I would say. So, fucking hell, God, but yeah, I mean. Is there any other thoughts I have on it? Because, like, I mean, I just don't think there's really anyone I like. Akumu is resilient, true. But, like, there's not really anyone I like in this situation. Like, that's directly in the FCK. Like, I don't know. Like, they all were already annoying. Like, the fact that they did something egregious just already, like, makes it, like, obviously horrendous. But, like, I don't know. They already were, like, annoying with their double standards and shit. But you know what? I know I'm pretty like a chill numbers right now, but that's cool. It's whatever. We did just drop a second episode of this, The Art of Muddying the Waters. Speaking of like since we're talking about like in the podcast about and on the stream about like poisoning the well, they were talking about and shit, right? Hold on. Let me zoom out of that. So yeah, we got this new video that was uploaded a little bit ago, where we talk about some awesome art topics, Amos, Ant, and I. And you know what? I'm going to link it in chat for you guys. Because you guys deserve it. You guys earned it. Alright? Ah, dude. Fucking hell. Let me paste it here. Now this will be the new pin. Yeah. God. Yeah. You guys earned that. Alright. He literally just proved how much these guys are monsters. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Fucking sickos. Fucking bleh. God damn. But yeah, I would say that you guys, if you guys want to watch even more content, because who knows, maybe you're playing games right now, you're bored at night, you got nothing else to do, I would 100% check out this new episode. It flowed really well. It's an hour and 30 minutes long. It definitely will keep you guys occupied, whether you're gonna draw or whether you're just gonna play some games or just chill. Because I'm about to end stream anyways. But if you're new to the channel, my channel or this channel, just leave a sub and support and leave likes, dude. I always appreciate it. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. You guys have a good night. Take care.